What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the 62nd episode of the Hot Takes podcast. Very special episode, as always. I'm here with two brand new people to the podcast, but I know them. I've known them for a very long time. My brothers at Kane University. I have Harty Divinagracia here.
What's going on?
And I have Josue Ruiz here as well.
How you doing, guys?
I also have my cameraman, Jojo Critelli, as always. Thank you for being here and helping out. And today, we're doing sort of a reboot of an episode that we did earlier on when we were doing the podcast, and it was the top 10 animes of all time. This week, we're doing the top 5 animes of all time. Keep it short and sweet. It also probably made it pretty hard for us to choose a certain top 5.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we're all going to have honorable mentions as well, whatever you want to bring up. Mm-hmm. What I would like to start off talking about on the whole anime subject is something that you brought up right before the podcast of people that aren't sure if they should get into anime, the stigmas that there might be of it, and everything like that. I'll go with how I got into anime first. I was one that I was never thought I'd be a fan of. Literally never thought I'd be a fan of anime. And I really couldn't tell you why. I loved cartoons when I was growing up. I still like watching cartoons nowadays. Like, I love Rick and Morty, and I even like some of the stuff like Regular Show we were talking about beforehand and stuff like that. But it was something about anime I just couldn't get into. Something about it being too corny and stuff like that. The first anime I ever watched, My Hero, I loved it, probably because it had to deal with superheroes, and I'm a big superhero guy.
That was your first anime?
That was my first anime ever that I've ever watched.
Very first anime ever.
If
you think back,
excluding Toonami, even
Toonami, let's say if you remember back from when you were a little kid watching like Dragon Ball Z or like Pokemon.
Okay, so excluding Pokemon
dude.
Because you want to know what?
Counts.
I guess it counts. Yeah, you're right. It does count. So Pokemon, I guess you would say, is my first anime. But I never watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it was something about it. I think it was also like the drawing style of it too that I didn't like that much.
That affects a lot of people's
yeah.
Hairstyles.
Everything
too pointy.
Like that.
Too pointy.
That will, like the animation style itself will draw people away from an anime.
Yeah,
even if it has
true.
A great story, if it like looks like not pleasant to the eye, they're not going to give it a chance.
Immediately turned off.
Yeah,
immediately turned off.
Happens
100%.
a lot.
Yeah.
Talking about spiky hair, Yu-Gi-Oh's hair was wild.
Yeah, that means he's the main character.
Yeah,
Obviously.
exactly. Exactly.
Blonde, spiky hair, he's the man.
Yeah, that's the coach.
But Dragon Ball I was never into.
Really?
Never watched it when I was younger.
Never played the video games, nothing like that?
I did play one Dragon Ball video game for the PS2, which I was obsessed with, me and my brother Jesse, and that was Dragon Ball Budokai 2.
Budokai 2.
Budokai.
Yeah. Budokai 3 was the best. I put serious hours into that game.
Yeah.
Back in the day, hell yeah.
So that's the one game I did play, and I really enjoyed it. But otherwise, wasn't a fan of Dragon Ball either. So I guess you could say the first one I've ever watched was Pokemon. I loved Pokemon when I was younger. I collected the cards and everything like that. You know.
Do you still have your cards?
Oh my God, no, I don't.
You know that if you still had your cards, you could make a fortune off of them.
We could probably buy Kane University right now.
off of like one like shiny like Charizard.
Yeah,
like buy the entire here shiny Charizard, shiny Pikachu. All right, 4 years college education right there. Immediately, it's crazy.
I'm pretty sure my parents threw away my Pokemon
So did
cards.
mine,
Yeah,
I
so
was
did mine.
I was
So did
pissed.
mine.
The day that I was trying to look for them and I just couldn't find them, I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, they fucking
I asked my
threw it
parents
out.
the other day. I was like, by the way, you guys still have those Pokemon cards? They're like, what are you, goofy, dude? Like, we sent these to the trash like 20 years ago, man.
That was fire starting. It was cold that year.
Fuck.
But yeah, that was like my stigma of anime at first. I thought it was a little too corny. The character designs and just the animation designs, how they were drawn and everything like that. And even the way they moved, it almost seemed very choppy, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's still kind of like that today, but I kind of appreciate that now. But yeah, that was my stigma of it. Did you have any stigma of anime before you started watching?
So like, I'm clearly the elephant in the room. I was that Asian kid in high school, right? Like, but I was the closet anime watcher Asian kid in high school. Okay, so it was totally different from me. Like, I loved watching anime, and don't get me wrong, I love that shit. I never really understood what I was watching because I was just watching cartoons, you know, like after like, 10 o'clock on like a Friday, Saturday night,
on
Toonami
Adult
comes
Swim,
on. Yeah, Adult Swim. And I was like, okay, this is just late night Cartoon Network. What's really the difference here? It's
Right.
just I didn't know it was called anime. I just thought it was just like better drawn cartoons or something different. So I didn't really find it any different. Stigma wise, like especially compared to like today where everyone's watching anime for some reason, it's like so out there.
Yeah.
It's like so popular now too. Stigma wise, I wasn't really open about talking about anime that much. I didn't really find anyone to talk about anime that much back in high school. So I was kind of like my lone soldier about it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Interesting. I think it's going off what you were saying. I think it's become widely mainstream nowadays.
Has
at least,
been.
Oh, yeah.
At least
Has
certain
been.
animes have.
Oh yeah.
TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff.
Twitter, all of that stuff is
blowing it up,
super
dude.
anime.
Like,
Yeah.
you have like sports people like ninja running onto the basketball court.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that on ESPN. Dude, they do like all like Joel Embiid was watching. I forgot what anime it was, but they just said like all these sports people love their animes.
Yeah.
And there was like a slideshow of it, just like tons of people.
If you were to go like a Hot Topic or like a Spencer's, before we'd go in and it'd be like super like band oriented. There'll be like the band shirts on one side. The other side is all anime.
Yeah,
My
dude,
Hero
My Hero's
Academia,
everywhere.
Hunter x Hunter, like everything.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. Attack on Titan, all apparel, all that stuff. So it's really growing, honestly.
Yeah.
Stigma is starting to slowly go away.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah,
definitely
for
is.
sure,
I think
for sure.
I think because it's becoming more widely popular that people are just accepting it more, like
Yeah.
going right into it sort of deal. But yeah, the whole Zoomies and Hot Topic thing, like I went in there during Christmas time to get a gift for someone. It was a lot of it was anime.
Yeah.
It wasn't even just
yeah.
like one side of the store anymore. Like it was scattered around
Yeah,
everywhere
yeah.
of different animes, which I loved.
Sometimes you'll even see like I went into this one store. It was like one of those like hobby stores kind of deals.
Yeah.
It's not like like a big store like Zoomies or like Hot Topic, but it was like a local store. And I went in there and they had like Class 1A apparel. They had like Class 1A like hoodies, the hat, and I'm like, dude, this is sick.
Hell
like,
yeah.
And the entire store was like apparel, not only just like a t-shirt with like the anime on it, but like things like inside of the anime. Like if they had like a certain like uniform or like a certain hat that they would wear, they would sell that kind of merch. So I think it's really cool that it's starting to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. What would say your if you had any like stigma towards anime before you started?
So you guys brought up some really good points. As far as a stigma, I don't think I ever had a stigma that I realized. I think it just really comes down to the point that, you grow up and, when you're a kid, you're watching all of these animated shows, right?
Yeah.
And they just progress the older that you get and the more mature you get. So, when I was a kid, I was watching like, let's say like Arthur, Dexter's Lab or like SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Now like people,
Dexter's
they
Lab.
start progressing a little bit more. And in my case, I started watching like Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon. And then, the older that you get, I feel like you just phase out of that. And then you start watching like, like The Walking Dead. Like that's what I would watch in high school. Or like
Right.
Breaking Bad. And like, you start watching actual shows like in real life.
Right.
And you never think about like going back to it because, people think that, something that's animated is for kids. But like the reality is that in anime, there's so much more storytelling and like certain things that you can't do in like a live action. Like,
Yeah.
why do you think that all of these live actions, let's say like the Dragon Ball Z live action or the Attack on Titan
flops.
live action,
Flops.
Full Metal live action, they're all terrible. They're horrible.
Garbage.
We don't bring
Because-
up the Attack on Titan.
because it's impossible to do those things in real life. So there's just so much more elements in storytelling that you could do in anime. And the thing is that you got to give it a chance because there are like a lot of adult themes too. It's not just child stuff.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
it really just takes opening up to a good anime and seeing how how you're gonna like that, and you're gonna want to try a bunch of stuff after that, especially when it comes to like the production, like shonen. Like they're known
Oh, man, shonen.
to
Hell
give
yeah,
top
dude.
animes.
Bring it back. I just want to touch upon this because you just brought up a good point about like live action films. Did you see the Avatar one? The Avatar Last Airbender?
Oh, The Last Airbender by M. Night Shyamalan?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Did
it
not
good?
watch it.
Trash can. Trash
They're
can.
all trash.
Trash can.
I
Like,
haven't
I
seen
absolutely
a
love
live
Avatar.
action that was good or that had good reviews at least.
No, dude, don't do it.
Nah,
even
don't
bother.
do it.
Don't even
Yeah.
bother.
Don't even bother. It's a waste.
Yeah, it's a waste of money.
What I was going to bring up,
Waste
there
of
was a
time.
Full Metal live action?
Yeah.
No,
There's a
wasn't.
full-
Yeah,
Metal
there is. There
live
is.
action.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it because like obviously the impressions is terrible. So
Based off the original series or Brotherhood?
I'm
can't
pretty
tell you.
sure it's. Couldn't even tell you honestly.
Yeah,
Even
I
when
don't
when it comes to the live action, they kind of go off canon, right? Like they don't really stick true to like either the manga or the anime itself, because at the end of the day, it's a movie. So how much can you really fit?
Yes.
In there,
Right.
Especially if it's going to stay true to the actual plot.
And then they
so
have, like,
kinda
director's freedom,
some like BS story plot, and then it just ends up being a nightmare.
Whatever makes it work for
Yeah.
the movie, but at the end of the day, it didn't work because they were terrible.
No,
garbage.
didn't.
Yeah, right.
Garbage.
I know there was a Death Note movie as well that Netflix developed. I heard was trash as well.
Yeah.
I heard that
the
one at
attempts-
least was like the better of the other live actions.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's on Netflix, right? So I don't think they would put it out if they didn't think it was going to do good. Still trash, but
Right.
I think it did better than the other live actions for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
My best friend loved that one. The Death
Did he?
Note
The
live
live
action.
action?
I don't know how I feel about like Ryuk. Like his look would probably be so scary.
It looked insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude, like,
Just off
I
of
don't
like the
know.
Netflix preview, like it looks like it will give someone nightmares.
Right.
He was
Can't see it.
definitely creepy. I wish that movie ended better, honestly. It wasn't that terrible for what it was. There were a lot of things I didn't like about it, but I'm going to be honest. It really wasn't like completely like
Garbage?
balls to the wall garbage.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so
Okay.
maybe. What's funny, I actually have never even seen Death Note.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
man.
haven't seen Death Note.
I
Okay.
thought that
Haven't
was gonna
seen
be
it.
on your list.
Nah,
I
not
thought,
at all, not at all.
man.
Not at
Okay. All
I
right.
haven't even seen Death Note.
All right.
Okay.
There's something, I don't know what it is that's not bringing me to watch it, because currently I don't really have anything to watch. I'm pretty much all caught up.
Are
So,
you one of those people that was like, all right, it's so mainstream that I don't want to watch it?
I think in a way, but you know, I could.
Are you one of those people?
I am one of those
I could
people.
say that. I could say that about so many things, though. I could say that about like My Hero, and I still slam My Hero as soon as it comes out. I could say that
Okay.
about Dragon Ball Z Super, and I'll still watch it.
Okay.
But something about Death Note, I don't know. Maybe I think I'm judging a book by its cover here. Like I'll see, the like the snippets.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, this is not really what I'm looking for. Like, does it have like action? Like, what's the deal with that show?
Okay. Well, you know what? Like, it's on my list. So if we're gonna once we
is
get
it?
to that point, maybe
Okay.
I could enlighten you.
Let's
a little
save
bit.
it then.
Yeah.
Let's save it
I'd
then,
love
'cause
to.
I'd
love
definitely
to
like
enlighten
to
you.
learn a little bit more about that.
I feel like Frankie had a little bit of trouble going through Death Note at first.
Did you?
I did.
We watched
I
the whole
did.
thing together.
And I'm gonna bring that up as well. So we'll save
Okay,
it.
cool.
How many
for the
episodes?
list
How many
as well.
episodes are there for Death Note?
39?
37.
37.
Exactly, I
Yeah.
think.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
Just one season.
You know the exact number.
Yeah.
Just one
That's
season.
it's just
sort
the
of
shirt,
deal.
yo. It's the shirt.
Joe, I want to know your thought. Did you have like a stigma towards anime at first before starting
I never
watching?
Did. I grew up off Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
I never did. My first anime, my true anime, was Dragon Ball Z, and that was only like 6 or 7 years ago. I really got into it. I watched it as a kid a little bit, but I had no idea what was going on. I
Yeah.
had no attachment to any of the characters besides Piccolo. I loved them. I don't know why.
Yeah,
What the hell?
He's the only guy I remembered. I was like, oh, it's the green guy.
The green guy, right? Yeah.
fucking these things. Like,
Typically, someone would be like, "Yo, like Broly,
Yeah,
like, he's the man."
like even
Vegeta,
Krillin, dude. I would have
like,
said like Krillin, you know, like
yo, Piccolo's the man.
He had his time, bro. That Cell arc, he had his time.
okay, he did have his time, sure.
See, I think the most memorable thing about Dragon Ball Z, from what I remember when I was a kid, and like you said, like we don't know what we're watching, right? Like we're just, we're watching a cartoon where it's entertainment, there's flashing lights and shit. But the Cell arc, I remember that vividly.
To the
for some
T,
reason.
I think, yeah, to the T.
I remember like
So I brought
literally
that up, yeah.
like that feeling, like that first feeling, like for a lot of people when you feel like the man is when Gohan and Goku fucked up Cell in that like father-son
dude,
duo.
father-son duo,
That has to be
oh.
like a top. If it's not a top anime, that has to be like a top scene.
Like a moment,
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
Like
Like
a moment.
in
Yeah,
like anime
like-
history, yeah.
oh.
Because everyone will remember.
If it makes you feel something,
Yeah.
like that's a scene that makes you feel
For
something.
sure.
For sure, man.
You guys really got me thinking about that. I don't know why I said Attack on Titan earlier. The Dragon Ball Evolution movie. It was so bad.
The live
Is that the live action?
The live
Oh,
action
dude,
was
yeah, like-
terrible.
You know, like those wigs that you buy at like Party City, like a Goku
That's what
like
they
wig.
look
That's
like.
what they wore.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. You
That's
can
where
do
the
better than
budget
that,
went,
man.
dude. They lost
Like-
all the money to that.
Crazy.
Freaking Party City wigs. That's what they got.
A great point that you brought up before was that once you start reaching high school and stuff, you start watching like actual like live action shows and whatnot, like The Walking Dead and Breaking Bad, and then you don't know if you want to go back because they're kid shows necessarily, right? But when you do go watch like an anime with like adult themes and whatnot, at least for me, I appreciated it that much more because it's more serious. It has more of a deep story to it, than a regular cartoon would,
Yeah.
I mean, Jojo on one hand doesn't have the deepest story, but like other animes, like, you know what I mean? And I think that's something at least I appreciate more, and I'm glad you brought that up as well.
Yeah, I think the big thing is that it's realistically if you don't realize that anime is a thing and they have like adult themes or like they have like a lot of action, not like the childish stuff that we were talking about, that stuff isn't really available like on like TV or anything like that for the most part.
At least
right?
not anymore. Like
it used to be, right?
I mean, I used to remember watching Hamtaro. Like that counts, dude. Like freaking animated hamsters. Like that was the shit to me. I don't know. I fucking love that shit.
Is that what it was?
I could be the only person. I love that shit.
You know what it is? I feel like it takes someone to really put you on like. I started watching it again because my girlfriend at the time was big time on anime. Like I'm talking
Hamtaro.
Who?
You used to watch Hamtaro like again?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
No,
I was like, damn.
My girlfriend at the time
We could talk
probably
about it.
she was like 200 plus like animes deep.
Oh,
like she
wow.
can tell you the whole
Really?
she can tell you
She prays for Crunchyroll Premium.
Yes, exactly. And that's a good point because I'm like I'm not gonna watch this shit. Like, what are you, crazy? And she's like, nah, like watch this. We'll get like Chick-fil-A, get some beers. Let's watch this. Next thing you know, I slam like 60 episodes in a row, and I'm ready for the next one. But the thing is, it's like, you got to go through channels like Funimation, Crunchyroll, sometimes even like some pirated sites.
Yeah.
The good thing is that Netflix and Hulu, they're starting to build like a lot of more animes.
Yeah, their library is increasing.
Yeah, their library is really increasing, so it's being more accessible. But before, it really wasn't, so people didn't know about it.
Yeah.
And they didn't really think to, go back to like watching animated things. They're just watching like the real life things.
Right.
So it just takes like one person to give a recommendation, and then, their journey in anime takes off there.
100%. The only channel that really does show anime is Cartoon Network Adult Swim, right? There's really no other channel out there.
No, I don't think so, man.
That Nickelodeon doesn't do that stuff. It's
Not
Cartoon Network. I
anymore.
think they get the Toonami, and then Toonami just does that stuff.
And I think it's limited by like the production company too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't show like everything.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. They definitely won't show
As
everything.
far as
but
like rights and stuff like that.
yeah,
They
rights
even cut
is
things out of
everything.
episodes too.
Like from what I remember, I don't know if you remember any other ones from like Toonami, but I remember like Yu Yu Hakusho being on there, Inuyasha.
We'll get to that one. We'll get to Yu Yu.
We'll get to Yu Yu. I don't watch that one either.
We'll get to you.
But yeah, no, they show like definitely like the oldies, goodies, but oldies.
Yeah. It's for like Rurouni Kenshin. I think you said that. What's her name? They made a new adaptation of the Yashahime for Inuyasha. They made a new Inuyasha. Yeah.
Yeah, can't forget about my baby Sailor Moon.
Oh, damn.
Would that be your waifu?
Baby girl.
I was waiting for that word to come up.
Damn.
I'll tell you who my waifu is soon.
Okay.
I got a couple. I got one in each one that I'm gonna want to see. I got the waifu in each one.
All
right.
Yeah,
Think
for
about
sure.
that. Like,
Forgot about
waifu is an anime.
Let's that's how we're gonna close this
okay,
anime.
all right,
Who our
okay.
waifu is?
Who the waifu
the
is?
ultimate waifu.
Ultimate.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. And we'll see who takes the winner.
Yeah.
I think me and Harty definitely share a couple waifus.
Yeah. Eskimo waifu or something. I don't know what's going on here.
You can't make me pick just one, right? I mean, I can pick as many as I want, right?
Yeah.
You
Make me
can.
feel bad.
Yeah.
You're right.
You can't get jealous, It's not nice.
Alrighty. You want to get on right up to our top
Yeah,
five?
sure. Let's run it.
Yeah,
All right,
let's
run
do
it up. All right. So let's do honorable mentions first. Ones that didn't make it on your list necessarily, but you still love that anime to death. It just unfortunately couldn't make it to your top five. Maybe your top 10 if we did that, but not. So I've only watched 6 animes so far. I'm a beginner. I forgot to mention that too. I probably started last year, beginning of last year. I think
Just
I started
about
watching
right.
animes. Yeah.
With My Hero.
with My Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember you saying that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So it was only last year I started. Watched 6 animes so far, all to completion. That there's only there's 3 animes that are still going on right now, so not to completion, but still, I'm all caught up. And I have one honorable mention. This would be the 6th anime that I watched, the last one that I've watched so far. And it's a short one, a 10-episode Netflix anime, and it's called Devilman Crybaby. That show is crack. Some of you guys, I wouldn't recommend this as a very first anime to watch, but it's interesting, to say the least. It's very gory. It's very sexual. It's both of those two combined at some parts.
Yeah, on the topic of, I think Josue said it, like, on the topic of adult theme stuff, like, this is, like, adult theme.
You've seen
It
that
kind of
one
takes
before?
the cake.
Yeah, dude, like, this is no, please, God, like, set a password for your children on Netflix, because this is fucking, like, big. I think you said it before, dude, sex fight.
Yeah,
Literally,
sex fight.
They
Sex
literally,
fight.
They literally fight and fuck at the same time.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
There.
In midair. In midair.
If
Yeah.
sex fight
Do
wasn't
they have like
believable enough,
superpowers too, like some kind of like special ability? Like,
So the basis of it is that like demons are taking over Earth, and there are certain demons that still have their heart. Like when you turn into a demon, like you lose like your sense of loving someone and shit like that. But there are some people that still contain their heart, and they're called Devilmen, or you're a Devilman. And the main character is a Devilman, and he still has feelings for people and everything like that. And he's basically like the protector of the humans against these evil demons and shit like that. But it's so sexual, dude. It's ridiculous.
it's extremely.
The first episode,
extremely.
they go into a rave, and everyone is just fucking.
no
Yeah.
way.
Just
Yeah,
literally. Yeah.
everyone's
It's just a massive orgy. Like
Massive-
the middle of the
massive
fucking-
club orgy.
Holy
Like,
fuck.
imagine going to barcode, sex, just like immediately walk in.
Yeah. And
crazy.
I he showed me this anime, and I was like, I'm like,
It's like you need to put like headphones in to like watch this.
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Late
like,
night, like one earphone out, just make sure your volume's not too high.
and I'm just thinking, it's like if my kid stumbles upon this anime and I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh my god, my kid's poor eyes right now. Like, what is he watching?
Childhood trauma.
Yeah,
To-
or are you going to be
Yeah,
like,
child.
my son's cultured. He watched something very interesting that I watched.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Maybe if he was like a little bit older and
Okay.
I see
Yeah,
him
yeah,
watch
yeah,
that,
yeah.
especially if I've watched it before, which I have, I'll
Yeah,
be like,
yeah.
nice. All right, you're watching
Nice.
Devilman
Like, all
Crybaby.
right, he got to that point.
The only problem I have with that anime is that I don't really like the animation style that much, and the fight scenes could have been way better.
I
more
think the animation
choreographed.
More
is-
fucking.
I mean. No, I
Maybe.
think you're not wrong. Honestly, the animation could have been a lot better. I think they
Yeah.
could have used more eraser. You know,
Is this an older anime,
It's really
or-
like rough. It's really rough drawn. That's what I think about.
Rough drawn. It's a remake.
Really?
It's a remake. The
Jesus.
original Devilman Crybaby was not a remake. I guess like a reboot.
based
Would you say like early 2000s or like 2010s?
I think even before
No
that.
way.
I think this is an anime before that.
But the
Yeah.
remake is it?
The remake came out last year, Joe.
Get the fuck out.
I think it came out like last
So
Yeah, I
it
think last
probably
year.
wanted to follow true to the animation style from the original.
Maybe, yeah. That's
Maybe,
a good
right?
point.
Did you see the original?
I didn't see
Because
the original.
sometimes like that's like maybe the theme or the animation style they want to go for, like a retro-y,
Right,
like kind of 90s,
You want to
like
match
kind of.
what you did.
Yeah,
Well, I'll
right.
tell you
It's
what.
kind of like refollowing up on Samurai Jack. You know,
Yeah,
same anime
exactly.
style, maybe like a couple years apart. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 years, 5 years, something like that.
It's a very simplified animation, though. Would you agree with that? It's very simple.
Very,
It's
very
not,
basic.
They're
It
not
It looks a little like
detailed looking
staticky,
characters.
almost
Very
like very
staticky,
fuzzy,
yeah, that's-
kind
yeah.
of.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it
That
really
kinda-
could use an eraser to find the lines.
Yeah, you see those are like the animes that kind of turn me off sometimes and prevent me from like giving it a shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'll definitely give it a shot. I'll see what it's all about.
It's only 10 episodes.
Yeah, you go through that in one day.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally in one day.
Without spoiling it, did you like the ending of that show?
I thought the ending was okay. I will say it was very poetic.
So it's fitting?
It was a fitting ending.
Okay.
Did I like it
I
that
can't
much?
say if
No.
I didn't finish it either.
Oh, you
so
didn't finish
no,
it.
no.
All I'll say is that, and I'm stealing that word from our boy Chris, who also watched it. Like he said to me, is like, I think you'll like the ending, but it's very poetic, and I would have to 100% agree. So that's
like
what I'll say.
Cliche type of ending?
No, I wouldn't say cliche. I wouldn't say it's cliche-ish.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit, but I don't think so. I think it was a solid ending.
So
Okay.
10
Yeah.
episodes is very small.
Yeah, that's
honestly.
like
does it satisfy you when you watch it, or like do you wish that there was like some points where like you could have gotten more out of it, or like
Oh yeah, the fighting.
Oh, really?
The fighting could have,
okay.
I think, could have been so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that was part of their animation of it being too simplified. That the fighting wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. But otherwise, it was pretty good. I like the concept of it. It's just so obscene and crazy that it didn't make it onto my top 5, and it's on my honorable mention. So that's what I got to say about that for the
Okay.
most part.
Speaking of crazy, do you remember in the first episode when that girl's boobs just like jumped out and just started like attacking people?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, dude.
It's a lot of fan service, right?
It's
It's like a fan service. It's like it starts off as fan service, and they're like, "Yeah, you thought, right? This is what you wanted."
You asked for this.
Well, there was another part where there was a girl sitting down like I am. The guy is fucking her, and then her vagina basically opens up and gets teeth and snaps the guy in half.
way. In this show?
In this show,
What the
dude.
fuck?
Dude, it's crazy.
On Netflix.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's nuts.
Incredible, dude.
It's
Incredible.
yeah.
Earn that M rating, honestly.
It earned that M rating, absolutely. Yeah. But that's all I'll say about it. I don't want to spoil too much because if you do
Yeah,
watch
I'll give it a shot. Let's see.
you know.
See what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my only honorable mention. So, Hardy,
Honorable
what you got for me?
mention. All right, so damn, I have like so many to go off of, really. I guess honorable mention. I'm gonna have to say, Promised Neverland. Has anyone seen Promised Neverland?
I've heard
I was
of
gonna
it.
start it. I think Funimation like advertises that show. Like,
it's
it
literally in
always
the intro.
pops up,
It's
like-
in the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the intro of like Funimation's like oh, we have this show, that show, this show, that
Yeah,
show.
it's
like,
always like dead first. I'm like, what is this shit?
have you seen it?
Not yet.
No? You have never seen it?
No, always heard about it, but
Okay.
never seen it.
Do I have the liberty to give like a short synopsis?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely,
cool, that's cool.
absolutely.
All right, so basically, like the whole gist of it is, I don't want to spoil too much because like it's part of like the storyline, but there's these kids and they're on a farm, and they don't know that they're on a farm until one of them figures out where they are, and they have to figure out how to escape this area because they're being farmed to be like, so you know how we go and get like the best grade meat, right? It's like Japanese Wagyu beef is like supposedly something so
Top
nice,
tier.
yeah, top tier, like you pay like top dollar for this.
Mm-hmm.
If you can compare that to like really smart kids and they let them grow in age, and then they're supposedly taste the best, so they figure that out, that they're like, okay, so we've been here the longest, we're obviously the smartest in our class, so we need to get out with everybody or we're going to die. Yeah, and then they find clues of someone else who escaped. Oh, dude, absolutely incredible. And
No way.
I'm upset this didn't make it to my top 5.
That sounds very interesting.
Yeah,
It-
that sounds interesting.
Yeah, they just dropped the new season, like maybe I think last week, 2 weeks ago.
It's a nice animation style too.
oh
from what
yeah,
I've
it's
seen.
clean.
Yeah,
it's
it looks clean.
Very
Looks
clean.
Very clean.
Very clean.
How many seasons they got of it?
Only 2 seasons. Second season just started.
It's ongoing.
Yeah, it's
Is there a
ongoing.
manga?
I think so. I
Nice.
think so.
So that will probably stick around
there's-
for a while.
Most likely, yeah.
That's a
Cool.
question I was going to ask before we got to this. Who here read any manga whatsoever out of anything?
So
Have any of you
I
guys?
just started picking up manga. I think maybe it's like 6 months ago.
Okay.
Like
Same here.
yeah, about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Because like I started getting bored of like watching animes, and then I was like picked up manga. So it was something else.
Yeah.
Because you know what else is like? There's like some animes. The manga is always going to be ahead of the anime.
Yeah, and you want
And
answers.
yeah, I want answers now.
Yeah, I want
like
answers.
I fell through a really deep rabbit hole actually earlier this week. It's on my top 5, so I'll get into that.
Okay.
But I want to actually start getting into like physical copies of the manga. I think it's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
just as like a collector's item,
Okay.
almost, right? And I mean,
Okay.
I
have something to say after.
Yeah,
you
go
I
ahead.
have something to say. Oh no, I want you to
because
finish
like
your thought.
most mangas like that we read, it's online, but you know, I kind of want like the physical, you know, because I've never been like a reader. Like I hate reading. I've always been a watcher.
Yeah.
Something about like getting a manga and like just flipping through it and seeing like the different like art and stuff like that like really like is interesting. I'm like, this is pretty cool.
Absolutely.
And just like having like the issue and the physical copy is almost like a collector's item. So I'm trying to see how I could start getting some of these mangas, especially the ones that are in my top 5.
Okay.
All right, so I wanted to touch on that. Where do you read your mangas? Because I'm strictly like webtoons. I can't do black and white.
Really?
It bothers me too much. It bothers me way too much. If it's in black and white, I'm not reading.
Oh shit! I thought that they were all in black and white.
No,
to be
dude, they
honest.
have color.
Oh, yeah, they have
They have
color.
color ones, yeah.
I think certain animes, their website has the manga on the website.
I'm not entirely sure about that because
I
I only know
think
like
so.
a manga reader and webtoons, and if it's in color, I'll read it. If it's not,
I might
then
check it out.
Nope, not from me.
Yeah, I might check it out.
I'm surprised to hear that. Really?
Yeah,
Nobody
I'm
knows?
just so turned off. Like as soon as I saw that Attack on Titan was in black and white, I was like,
That's the one
Can't do it.
that's the one that I fell through the rabbit hole.
knew
I
it.
fell through the
I
rabbit
knew
hole
it.
so bad.
knew
Yeah, I fell through the rabbit hole so
I
bad.
I can't.
I
do
regret
it.
it.
It just turns me off too much. Too much. I need color, man.
I don't blame you. I feel like I would be that way too. I would like to get into the mangas as well. I don't really know if I will mind it that much if it's in black and white, but we'll see.
You know, there are some animes that follow true to the manga, so you really don't need to read it,
Oh, right.
right? But there are some animes, and I don't know if this is on any of your lists here, but I'm gonna name drop it because this anime really fucking pissed me off.
Just do it.
I'm gonna name drop it.
Okay.
Okay, do it.
Yeah, just do it.
All
Yeah,
right.
do it.
Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh, fuck! I didn't put that on my list.
It's
But
not.
fuck.
It's not on my list, and it's not even getting an honorable mention either.
Damn, you're that pissed about it?
Yeah, I'm pissed
Okay,
off.
wait. So, have you watched Tokyo Ghoul?
No, I
Have you watched
haven't.
Tokyo Ghoul?
Sadly, yes.
Okay.
Do you agree with
Damn.
me?
I wish I read.
I
the
never
manga,
read it.
Honestly,
is it really that disappointing?
It's very disappointing.
really.
There was supposed to be from season 1, right? Kaneki, whatever.
Yeah,
and then,
badass,
and then badass, right? He goes
edgy
through a lot of
badass.
shit.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
a badass. Season 2, even bigger badass.
Is this where we pick up like Tokyo Ghoul Re? Because Re made me
It's
feel
Re.
weird.
So
wasn't so
Re
sure
is
about Re.
season 3, and he comes back as fucking part of the Ghoul investigator
I was
squad.
so confused.
And-
They didn't
and
give
you're like,
any
what the
synopsis,
fuck?
background.
Like,
I
you
was
know it's
yeah.
Kaneki, but he looks
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
No,
why is he like that?
There is a massive battle between Kaneki and the head of the what the fuck was it called again? Like the CCG,
Yeah, sure.
something like that,
I wanna
right?
say
There was
Umbrella, but that's
there was a
totally different.
huge battle between Kaneki and the CCG, where Kaneki got fucked up completely. He lost.
So he like
And
is that how he loses
That's
memory?
he lost all
Like-
of his memory. He
Oh
lost
my
all his
gosh,
recollection,
dude.
his emotional ties to everything. And they brought him into the CCG. They put him into the force. They trained him. He was in boot camp, everything, and he was an agent. But all we see is like some random. Remember, we saw that clip of him carrying his friend in season 2.
Yeah.
And just like walking into the void, and that was the end of the episode. Episode 1, season 3. He's just another fucking personality. Some agent.
Wait,
of-
so okay, I'm gonna because I don't know. You read it, so that you know more. But from like me watching Tokyo Ghoul Re and going through it, it's kind of like poetic. Sorry to say that, but take that word. But it's kind of like poetic because you can see him literally go through the phase of him remembering. You literally observe his hair change to black.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It's all like cinematic and everything like that. Like oh my god, he's Kaneki again. So I'm upset, but like I feel good inside to know that the anime did not do it justice. Like it did not. Like I think I have to go back and read this.
Yeah, you do. Because that
Fuck.
character, I forgot what. That's the thing. I shouldn't like forget who that character was. It was the head of the CCG. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
I think I know exactly who you're talking
It
about.
was like the head. He was like
guy,
the head honcho, like the
yeah.
strongest fighter. There should be more on him. And there
Is he the guy that like trained Kaneki?
Yeah,
that
he
guy?
was the
yeah,
one that
yeah,
trained
yeah.
Kaneki. They
Yeah,
got
yeah.
into a huge brawl in the center of the city. Kaneki lost, and they brought him back in, and they trained him to be CCG. That's why they started incorporating ghouls that are agents as well. Because Kaneki's a part of that first squad.
Dude,
there was so much that they
so
left out, and that they just came in towards the end of Re, and they just said, all right, here you go. And then the ending, you're like, what the fuck? Like, we lost so much backstory on literally everyone.
Damn,
I
livid.
was literally, I couldn't be more disappointed in an anime.
That's a fucking
And
shame.
I liked season 1 and 2. I thought it was great.
I'm livid.
And how
Yeah.
many? And it just went downhill after that. How many seasons were there?
3 seasons.
Oh.
It ended about like 2 years ago, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
As somebody that watched the, I guess the first 2 seasons, I can't really remember at this point. I love the first season, how it went.
Yeah, it was great.
Would you recommend?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
manga?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone says the manga was far beyond what the show was.
I mean, you'll always get like those instances that like an anime followed true to the manga and everyone's happy. You know, manga, anime, everyone's happy. It was good. And then there'll always be a couple of those animes that the manga would blow it out the water.
Right.
And that either the production company fucked up somewhere or they were too lazy to really follow true. There's always a disconnect between the production and the manga.
Absolutely. And you could say that about anything. TV shows, movies, all that stuff.
Yep.
If they come from books and everything like that. Absolutely. Yeah. My brother Jesse has...
Is that a shame, though? Isn't that a shame?
It's such
It
a
is
shame.
a shame.
They
It's
literally give you the guidelines. Like, here, just follow this. No. And they just do something else. Like, I don't
Easily,
get it. Well,
easily could have been like a top 5, if not honorable mention, but because of that...
Shit the bed.
It's not, yeah, shit the bed. Shit the bed big time.
That is a shame. Yeah, absolutely. But like we were saying before, like some things just it doesn't fit the criteria of a TV or movie production, whatnot. Like only certain points they'll bring into the production and everything like that. Like it's they can't fit everything at once. I guess. I guess that was the case with this.
And it's such a goddamn shame too, because like realistically, these writers put all of their effort and their soul into making these stories.
Yeah.
And, they agree to let a production company make it into an anime. And when there's like a disconnect and they try to rush an ending or rush like certain things that never happened in the anime. That's how, for example, like Full Metal, the first one, it goes off canon. That's why they made Brotherhood again, because that one stays true to the manga.
Yes.
But I think that they need to do a better job with communication, trying to follow through with the manga and what's like actually being written in the anime.
Now, I wonder how that works when a manga gets turned into an anime. Do they own the rights of that manga now, which means they get to do whatever they want? They could change whatever they want? Because Harry Potter, they did it right. Why? Because J.K. Rowling always owned the rights to that character, and it was all up to her in deciding of what they were going to do with the movies. Everything like what they're going to do with the theme parks, she's the one that gives the green light. I wonder how the rights work as far as that. And
it's interesting you bring up Harry Potter, because where did it go south with Game of Thrones and with George R.R. Martin?
Yeah.
Where did that fuck up? Well, like we got like 7 beautiful seasons. Maybe like one was like a little bit slow. We got 7 beautiful seasons.
Yeah.
And they fucked everything up.
I know.
The book didn't end, like there's that, right?
And I think George wasn't heavily a part of this.
I don't think he was heavily a part of it. I don't think maybe he didn't probably, I don't know how that works, but he probably didn't have like certain rights that he could have put a halt to it.
Yeah.
And try to fight, to take a break at least and not rush an ending.
Yeah.
Really wonder how that works.
Yeah. I don't know.
Game of Thrones, man, still disappoints me to this day, man. I know everyone hates those 2 showrunners, the guys that
they
made
do.
It nowadays.
They do.
Yeah, fucking assholes.
My argument with it is that like they gave us 7 beautiful seasons. I think all 7 were beautiful until that last one.
Yeah.
And you can't just blame.
I don't know if you guys agree with me on this one, but anyone that wants to get into Game of Thrones, I literally tell them watch all of it into the long night, and then you're good. Don't watch anything.
Yeah,
long night. Use your imagination. See you later.
Yeah.
Don't even watch the rest, because you'll literally waste all of your time for nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was the long night again?
The fight against the Night King
with the White Walkers.
The
fight with the White Walkers
at Winterfell.
When they take Winterfell.
No, when they killed all the White Walkers. Arya killed the Night King.
Yeah.
Oh. watch up until that point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, like-
after the long night, that's it. Like once everyone's happy, hooray, everything like that, that's it. Don't watch anymore. Don't watch
I
anymore.
feel like maybe you can even
because
cut
then
before that.
then you know what and you know
I feel
side
like that- I
topic
feel like
side
that
topic
ending-
from
okay, go
anime.
ahead.
You know then. You all of your time watching, like we said, 7 beautiful seasons. Everyone's character development. Jamie's goes to shit.
I know.
Daenerys' goes to shit.
Yeah.
John,
That's what I'm
the
saying,
fuck,
like-
man? You come back from the dead to piss everything away.
Does nothing.
Does
Yeah,
nothing.
There's absolutely nothing.
My queen.
Everyone's character development
my
just
queen.
7 seasons of just growth and like action and development, and then after that, once they go back to King's Landing, just goes to shit.
Yeah.
And then you have Bran that sat in a fucking chair for
Why do you
7
think I'm here right now?
for 7
That's it.
seasons.
Yeah, it's like
Bran said,
I had to do absolutely nothing to get here. You sack of shit.
So stupid.
Let me just have a seizure in my chair. And
Bran must have said like maybe like 20 words like throughout, like when he
He
got
wasn't
into
even in one of the seasons.
And he got a fat paycheck.
Yeah, he got a
Hey,
check.
bad
He got a
paycheck.
check.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
hell,
he did.
dude.
Yeah.
Fucking
He did.
hell.
But
Going back to anime though,
Yeah.
thank God that a lot of animes do stick to the manga and whatnot. That seems
Yeah.
the one that you were talking about seems to be a very rare case of where they kind of go.
it was a bad case.
That made
yeah,
me
and
so
that's
pissed.
that's like a fan popular opinion. Like if you read up on Tokyo Ghoul, you'll see that a lot of people are pissed off with the anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to
hell.
read the manga, like if you're gonna watch an anime and then read the manga after, do Tokyo Ghoul. Yeah,
All right.
What else you
convince
got,
me.
Hardy?
but
Oh man, we're going back to me. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Okay, so I just said, what did I say again?
I forgot, honestly.
said Promise Neverland. So that's what I said.
yeah.
I'm gonna put Demon Slayer on.
okay,
my
okay,
honorable mention list.
honorable. Wow, okay.
Okay, so you haven't seen it. No?
I'm gonna watch it.
Okay,
next.
okay,
Yeah.
but you guys have seen it.
Of course.
Okay, so thoughts. Let's. I want to hear from you guys.
Beautiful anime.
Beautiful
Yeah.
anime, beautiful animation style, beautiful story.
I think the storyline is absolutely phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
But it's kind of a little cliche. Like, yeah, the sister, I don't want to ruin anything,
Mhm.
but like, sister, did that deal. And then, but like, he obviously does his best to be the best brother. And plot armor is so thick, obviously, main character. But aside from like storyline, I think the art is absolutely A1.
A1.
A1
A1.
art. The way they draw the characters, the way they emphasize the villains, the way they emphasize like the super antagonists.
Yeah.
So like, if you can just imagine like, okay, so the main character is like freshly just joining like the squad, and then there's like the super squad.
Okay.
So like those guys, you can tell that they're just like OP as fuck.
OP. They're big
they
leaguers.
just have-
They're like the
they-
Avengers.
yeah,
like all.
They don't even drug test them, but they're that good.
Yeah.
A1.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one thing that you got to take away from that anime is the animation style. It'll catch your eye immediately.
yeah.
Like, if you
Immediately.
like flip through like the the like the bits, like the pictures, the previews.
Yeah.
You'll be like, this looks sick. I need to watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fight scenes worth it. Like you're so enveloped in the entire moment where like, is he gonna make it? You obviously know he's gonna make it, but like, is he gonna make it?
Yeah. Right.
So it's really like in capturing the moments, the art, the scenes, everything.
Yeah.
It's really
For
really
the
good.
record too, you know that this is a good show when it's a rookie anime.
Yeah.
It's been out for
Oh,
what,
really?
a year
Really?
on its first season, 24 episodes. The manga is already in like the top 5 for best mangas of all time.
Real. Okay.
Yeah. Like with like the 91s, with like animes of all time, mangas of all time.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer is competing for like the top 5 spot.
Wow.
Yeah. They have
Wow.
millions of copies sold.
That's amazing.
And they're literally just started.
That's
The second
wild.
season is coming soon.
That's wild.
Yeah. I looked it up the other day. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, they deserve it, honestly.
I haven't seen a single picture, a single frame, nothing of Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
So when I go to watch it,
Yeah.
I'm going to be going in completely blind, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
Be
Should be.
excited.
It's a great one.
Like,
Yeah.
It's really good. Like
And-
I can vouch.
And I'm happy that, and going back to like the different stigmas like we talked about before, realistically, back then there were amazing animes, right? In the 90s, like when all that started, that really, paved the way for these new animes to come out.
Yeah.
But if there is ever a time to start watching anime, it's now. These animes that are coming out, man, are going to blow those old ones out the water.
Yeah, dude, they're like,
these ones that are coming out and that are currently
incredible
releasing are like already like topping like the top 10s of animes of all time.
Wow.
Yeah. And you'd think it'd be like the opposite, right? Like the old would always be better than the new.
Yeah.
And like people would complain about the new. No, it's like the new is it.
The new stuff.
The new stuff.
Like,
yeah.
Like
I'm
only excited for like what potential children are gonna watch in the future.
Yeah.
Because like the stuff right now, it's getting so much better and better and better. Like the ideas that people have, like the plot twists that come out of nowhere, literally screwdrivers in your brain. It's incredible.
What's sick to think about is watching with your kids.
Oh yeah.
You know,
it's like,
and both be hyped.
Just be like, yo, watch this, dude.
Yeah.
Incredible. All right, I'll drop maybe one more and then we can move on.
Cool.
Okay.
Let's see. So I said Promised Neverland. I said Demon Slayer. Let's go with. Okay, so in Japan it's called Danmachi, but here it's called How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon.
I did see something like that.
Okay, so it's literally one of those that are like, okay, yeah, fan service,
Fan
sure,
service, yeah.
but it's one of those where just watch it, dude. Like it's great.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Is it like what would you say like the theme is? Like,
Okay,
is
so
it
like
actiony.
So like this is like, so like this is kind of pertains to like the whole like like dungeon fighting kind of theme, where like the main character goes into like a dungeon and like he has to keep getting further and further and further into the dungeon, levels up, gets better drops, stuff like that. But obviously his main power, it gets revealed like in like the third episode or whatever. His main power is that he gets stronger with emotions, right? And obviously with the main character, that's just going to be extremely powerful. Like he's just gonna have emotions out the ass about everything he does, and then he meets the girl who he absolutely loves, so his emotions are just gonna get even further.
Right.
If I have to like explain this in any other way, also like a side thought, like they're also like, so they work for technically gods, like, but they're Greek gods. So they're like they reference like Hephaestus, and they reference like all those people.
That's
Love
pretty
the Greek
cool.
mythology.
Yeah,
Love that.
mythology. So like,
Yeah.
if that's something that'll draw you into it, actually most of the Greek gods are women too, which is like fan service, but it's
A lot of tits, probably, right?
Dude, hella tits. Like the small main girl, huge knockers, incredible.
Hestia, right?
Yeah, Hestia. Yeah, the one that he works.
Oh, you
for.
watch that shit then?
Oh yeah, of course.
Like, it's like you're gonna look at it and be like, yo, like what is that shit? Like fuck that. No. Trust.
It's a title like that. I just don't.
Right, that's why.
You know?
Like, dude, they give it such a shit title. It's called
There's
Dan
a lot of
Machi.
shit titles. There's
Yeah,
a lot of shit
it's
titles.
A shit
like,
title, dude. Like,
you'll see a lot of shit titles like what's that one? It's like I don't even know. That's how much of a shit title it is. I'm like, fuck.
What's the one where it's called? Is it weird to open up a certain shop with my stepfather or something?
I don't even know.
It's a long title like that. Is it weird to open up a coffee shop with my stepfather in law? Like the title just keeps on going
like
on
that.
and on and on, and I'm like, just looking at the title, who the fuck is gonna? I mean, I guess just for the joke they'll watch it, and it might be good. Like some of these titles that have stupid ass names, they're probably really good.
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
or somewhat good. But yeah, something like a title like that, How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon. I just don't. I don't know.
It turns off a lot of people. Trust me.
Yeah.
It turns off a lot of people.
I
Like,
can't tell you how many weird looks I got from my boys.
yeah, like
Like, yo, what are you watching?
him
dude?
included. Like,
Yeah.
what are
it's
you watching?
called Dan Machi, and don't like. Oh, the title they gave it in America is so shit.
It's
That's
So
shit.
shit.
Why? That's
Exactly.
shit.
Like who? Like fire that guy. Fire him. Like, fire that guy.
Does
I mean, there are probably people that like see a title like that and
Yeah,
they're like,
like-
yo, let me get into
I want to pick a girl in a dungeon. Who doesn't want to know? Is it okay or not?
Oh man. All right. Got any honorable mentions, Joe?
Yeah, after thinking about it, I think I have like a lot. I want to start off by saying Fate Zero. Anyone ever watch that? It's made by the
Okay,
people
I never
that,
got into the Fate series, and I
I've
know
never
that there's
either.
like a certain order that you have to watch it in if you want to go chronologically. But other than that, that's like my only info.
It's animated by the people that do Demon Slayer. They're the same Ufotable,
Really?
I believe they're called. I guess to give a short description, there's something called the Holy Grail War, which happens every like 50 years or something, where mages, it's like a magical world where mages summon heroic spirits from the past, like mythological King Arthur, Achilles, Hercules, all that. And they summon them, and then they have to fight it out. The mages and their heroic spirits have to fight it out with the others to see who gets the Holy Grail, which can apparently gift any wish to the person.
Okay.
And I guess I want to start off by saying like the art style is beautiful, as Demon Slayer showed. That company.
Nice.
I mean, they have
does.
like X amount of like adaptations. It's like Fate Stay Night, Fate
Yeah,
whatever,
Fate
you know.
Stay
So
Night.
like,
It's
I
like you gotta
imagine.
find like the order almost, or like the right
it's
way
like
to
watching
watch it,
Star
kind of.
Wars, bro.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
like 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
like crazy
Right.
shit.
Well, yeah, Fate Zero is the I guess you would call it the prequel to Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blades War, because I can't even say it. Oh my god, it's really good as a standalone anime though. Just I loved the way it ended. I loved a lot of things about it. Of course, there's things I didn't like too, but I love the King Arthur as a girl. I think it's so funny.
I feel like the liberties that they do take in animes are actually okay. They don't like stretch them out too far. Sure, they might give him like a humongous pair of tits, but like aside from that, they kind of like portray the character in the way that they're expected to be. Like she's still noble, is she not?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, the liberties are okay.
Right.
So no fan service on that one.
I mean, it might be some titties.
Maybe a
but-
little.
Might a little bit of clavage, but it's okay.
Yeah, not too much fan service. I guess I want to go right into my next one, which was something I watched recently. It was like my first like slice of life romance.
Those are
anime.
great. Those are great.
Toradora, you hear about that one?
I thought you were gonna say Barakamon.
Never even heard.
Whoa,
of it.
dude. Okay,
To be
you guys
honest.
just dropped like, whoa. And
I'm
I
like-
thought I liked slice of life like that. Yeah,
Yo,
So let me hear about Toradora.
yeah please.
Toradora is about this guy who likes his girl, who's best friends with this other girl, and that girl is in love with that guy's best friend, and like you're rooting for him, the whole time. You're like, but just the way it all went down, I thought it was poetic and it was beautiful in its own way. I've never watched like that type of anime before.
Okay, so without spoiling the ending, did it end how you wanted it to end, or did they
Yes.
just? Yeah,
It did, and I was so down.
That's pretty much like
That's what you want.
that's what you want, right? When you watch like a slice of life.
Yeah. I mean, like there have been some where they don't end. Like, have you seen A Silent Voice?
No,
No.
not yet.
I mean, not to spoil it, but it doesn't end how you want it to end.
That's the
And-
worst.
But it's really good. Like, it's really good. And, like, your heart kind of, like, cringes a little bit. Just a little bit. Because you're like, oh, like, damn. Like, it's fucking, like, damn.
You know what the beauty with anime is too is that it's not always going to end the way you want it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the times you watch like for our real life shows, it always ends the way we want it. Or like for some other shows, like yes, the good guys, like they did it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? In anime, it's a roll of the dice.
Yeah,
you
100%.
you might be very happy, or you might be like, I don't know what to do with my life anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Tokyo Ghoul, I was you know, Kermit the Frog, like in the shower, like with the water in it, like now what, you know, like and that's realistically that's like the beauty of it too.
Yeah, dude.
That's the beauty of anime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Got any more, Joe?
I guess I have like one more I'll say, and I feel like it might be on somebody's top 5 just because of the hype. One Punch Man. Anybody?
Never watched
It's
it.
not- what?
Never watched it.
Really?
I
Yeah.
tried watching
What?
it, and
Never
I
watched it.
couldn't get into it.
Dude,
I couldn't
I
either.
thought that
Yeah.
show
Yeah.
was such a meme that I had to finish it, and it was hilarious.
I loved it. He's
Yeah.
just the strongest guy. Like nobody can.
There's no fun in that. I feel like.
That's the
It's like-
point.
it's like a
though.
story.
It's like
like a Superman.
I watched one scene. This is the most brolic motherfucking monster I've ever. This motherfucker took like fucking like 10 minutes to transform in final form. Like, wind is gusting everywhere. The side characters are like, flying.
Yeah.
This dude is doing the most dramatic transformation, right? Like, yeah, like ready. This dude bald dude just walks up, touches him, and he goes flying. He's dead. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, the
side characters just go flying.
It's like you took Super Saiyan Blue Goku and dropped him into like My Hero.
Yeah,
it's
and you just
even that motherfucker will tap the one tap of what's his name, Goku. He might want that.
And like, how far have you guys seen like into the show?
Like one episode, and then
I got like 3 episodes deep.
Okay, have you seen the scene? There's like one scene. I don't know if it's like within that span, but there's a scene where he does like a test to see like where he sits as like a superhero. Have you seen? Do you remember that scene where he does like the physical assessment?
Yeah, like the third.
Where he has to like do like a jump, like a standing jump.
Demolishes everybody.
Dude, like by a long shot. So like you go to the
way.
Columbine, the NFL Columbine, you want to do the vertical, right?
Yeah.
You go like someone jumps like whatever feet high. This guy jumps so high his head gets stuck in the ceiling. Like he just breaks absolutely everything.
Wait, so it's not only his fist that's OP, it's like his whole being?
His physical fitness is beyond the world. Like it's just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
He's got to be the strongest.
Like literally, like it's OP man. Like just get rid of the title.
And he just looks so fucking goofy too.
Goofy.
He's just like,
He looks goofy.
goofball.
He's the
Like,
average. He could be
you
a
just get
music
a
teacher in high
goofball
school.
that-
Like,
yeah.
this is so.
You know what I mean?
strange.
Just a goofball that walks up and one shots you.
Yeah, literally.
Like-
But the problem that I have with it, and I guess this is a part of the joke, is that he's just so bland. Like, it would be something else if he was, like, taunting his enemies. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm going to dodge this. I'm going to dodge this. Look, I can only hit you once, and you're going to be fucking done. Like,
that's
you know,
all
it's
you
like,
got.
It's like
Like,
his
that's
whole
all you got.
nothing.
Shit like that.
Yeah,
nothing.
his character. He was like
Just
when he
bland.
gets hit, he's like, "What am I buying at the grocery store? Did
Yeah,
Did I
right.
forget to close the garage?" Like it's literally that.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
So
bored.
Yeah,
it
he's
seems
bored.
like a big meme of a
It's
character,
like a
right?
huge meme.
It seems
Yeah,
that
big
way,
meme.
yeah.
It's like if plot armor had armor. It's the armor of the plot armor. And
Okay.
It's just that.
Gotcha.
I can't see anyone ever taking him down in that
No,
show.
dude,
Like,
like-
I literally think whatever the final boss or whatever the hell happens, I'm pretty sure he's just gonna hit him at one.
Yeah,
punch. It's gonna be-
that's how
No, it's
every
gonna
fight
be-
goes. Every
Yeah,
fight goes.
yeah.
It's like, boom.
It's
and that's
like
it.
what you watch, like when it goes into a fight, is like you want to see the enemy's spiel and you want to see like his transformation,
Yes.
but then like there is no fight.
Yeah.
Like the guy comes through and one taps
Yeah,
him. You know what I mean? Like that
blows on him. Like,
Don't get me wrong though. Like there is a good amount of actual fighting, and it is fairly like good
With
to
other
watch.
characters,
with
right?
other
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
his,
okay.
like his. Okay, so he has like a secondary, like a sidekick, I guess you would say, or more it's like a student. I forgot his name.
Genos.
Yeah, Genos, and he's like a
The robot guy?
Yeah, the robot guy.
Yeah, I've heard
Like
of
his
him.
fight scenes are badass. Like they're dope.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to the One Punch Man, it just like it's literally that.
Right. The last
They're great,
season's
though.
just
They're
going to be
great.
a whole arc on the bad guy, just him getting more powerful and powerful.
I mean,
and it's
like-
Is
just
it still
gonna end with the
ongoing,
one
or-
punch.
I'm not entirely sure.
How many
It is
seasons
still
are there?
Ongoing. The manga is just ridiculously far ahead.
Is it far ahead?
They're 2 seasons in right now, but
Shit.
Oh, it's one of those.
what I read had to have been at least some like season 4 bullshit. I'm
Oh,
gonna be
okay,
honest.
okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
From the same studio though, have you seen? Maybe same studio, same writer. Mob Psycho.
I have not, and I hate myself for.
I hate
not
myself
watching
as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Mob Psycho?
No.
Oh,
Hate myself.
my gosh! Like take the character, right? Take One Punch Man, bland,
Yeah.
boring, whatever. Put that into a high school student who has literally zero confidence in himself, but he's ridiculously strong, and he just does not know. Like he just doesn't like. He's just like afraid.
Hmm.
He's just like so shy, afraid.
His powers, right? They're like a
He
psyche.
so
He's a
they're
psyche.
like yeah, so like they're psyches. What's the word for it? They can like the people who can like bend spoons and shit with their brain.
Like
Oh,
telekinesis,
telekinesis.
kind
yeah,
of.
telekinesis,
something
like that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like they to the next level. Like they can bend fucking spines and shit, or they can like cause things to happen.
Yeah.
Crazy, really great show, great concept.
Yeah, I heard it's really good.
Yeah,
That-
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I
It's
love
really
about animes too. Like everyone has to have everyone always ends up with some sort of power or something like that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they're not called superheroes. Like that's what I love about it. Like they always make it different. Like how
Yes,
they get their powers
exactly.
and like they're not depicted as superheroes. They're depicted as something else,
Yeah.
sort of deal. I love that.
And I love the approach that they always take when it comes to like a certain ability. Like it's a superpower is like super black and white, right? Like
Yeah.
telekinesis or like flying or like
Right.
or whatever. But like they always like kind of like find a way to like give them a power in a different aspect,
Yes.
right? Like for example, like you know, My Hero, those are quirks. Those are like, you know, they're born with those attributes.
Right.
Or I don't know if you guys are familiar with Black Clover.
Hell yeah.
Black Clover, you know,
yeah.
it's a grimoire that opens up, and then you know they have a limited amount of spells that they could do, right, and that they
until
can
they
use.
maybe find more in
Right,
there,
exactly,
right?
unless they like evolve and find more. So it's very interesting, and I love to see like the creativity when it comes to making new animes and the way that they're going to like, you know, execute like giving these characters like a certain like power.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's hear some of your honorable mentions you got.
Yeah. So I think I picked a good 3. I'm gonna mention 3 here. The first one I'm gonna go with is Blue Exorcist.
Heard of that one?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. So I have a problem with that.
All right. Let me hear.
I only like the first season.
I agree.
Okay, then there's no problem.
I agree. There's no problem.
That
That was easy, right?
I
think that season 1 was so good that season 2 shit ending. It just went over my head. So I gave it benefit of the doubt. I was like, it's watchable. It's worth to watch.
Really?
You should
Like,
watch it. Yeah, you should.
Really? I was just like, wow, this is not the first season at all.
After you watch it,
Trash.
no, yeah, it gets really good. Towards the end fight, it gets good. But
Okay,
after you
fair.
watch it, you're like, this deserved to be like Hall of Fame, and they cut them from the team.
Really? It's one of those.
It's
like,
one of those.
They just
like,
didn't
why,
give it the time.
Why
like,
didn't
budget
you?
got lost,
you know, like
type of deal.
it just got lost. Maybe people were lazy. It just they were destined to be great, and they just fell off. They ended it right there. They set it up perfectly to keep on going. Right? They set it up perfectly for like even more seasons and more content, but they just cut it off right there.
So
But season 1 was so good that I gave him benefit of the doubt. I was like, fuck it.
it did have a definitive. I didn't watch season 2 yet.
It did have I don't want to ruin anything like that, but it pretty much set him up, right? Because pretty much you've never watched it, so I'm not going to ruin anything. I'll give you like a quick like synopsis. So,
Okay.
Blue Exorcist. I forgot the main character's name.
I don't even remember. It's been so long.
It's been a long time since I
It's been
watched
some time
it.
since I watched it. I don't remember.
Ren.
Okay, sure.
So his name was Ren. He is the son of the devil. Okay? So he's the son of the devil, and he was adopted by a priest. Okay? And, you know, the villains in the world are demons, and only people with like a certain ability could see them. So, you know how in other animes there's like officers that take on like those, you know, those villains and stuff like that. In this anime, it's like the church. Those are like the officers, like the priests.
Oh, like are you watching like Fire Force or like?
Yeah, exactly.
Jujutsu?
Like Fire Force, exactly.
Okay,
like, you know, the people that are taking on evil are like the firemen, the fire department. So in this anime, it's the church. So they go to a certain school to like, you know, be trained in being like a priest, like officer kind of. So this one character, Ren, he was rescued by the head father, even though he knows that he's the son of the devil and he has devil abilities. And he raised him with his stepbrother, you know, the father's actual brother. He raised him together to someday, you know, fight evil, fight devil, save the world from that, and someday take down the devil who's his actual father. Right? So that's, you know, you're putting the son of the devil into a church school to take down his father one day.
Wow.
So it's unreal. It's really good. It's really good.
Concept's crazy.
Concept is crazy. Very pleasant animation style. Good fighting scenes. Season 2 just didn't do it justice. They literally, it was like watching someone, you know, going off a ramp and then just cutting off.
So there was a manga for this?
There's a manga for that, yeah.
That goes on further?
No, I think it's just all over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It is all just over.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
over.
Wow.
Good watch, though. Good
Okay.
watch. Reason that it didn't make honorable mention, though, is for that reason.
Can you go to the bathroom?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thanks.
It definitely could have used more, but they just cut it way too short, in my opinion.
Gotcha. Black Clover is a anime that I've heard for a couple of times, and that sounds very interesting, so I think I might have to give that a shot as
Yeah, Black Clover is good for sure.
well. All right. You want to move on to another one you got?
Yeah. I'll wait for Harty on this one, though, if that's cool.
All right, yeah, that's fine.
He's going to like the ones that I got.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I was going to say about animes, though, is that I'm all in it for the fight scenes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's most important. That's what people look for.
That's what people look for. And, like, you know, I've watched Death Note before. Like, not a lot of fight scenes in that one, but I still enjoyed it. But it's, like, obviously not my number one and whatnot. I'm always in it for the fight scenes. This is, like, my anime shaman, basically. He's the one that suggests animes for me to watch. I'm like, listen, there's got to be good action in it or else I'm not going to watch it.
So you're being pretty humble at first. You're saying, oh, I'm just a rookie with this anime stuff. He's knocking out all these big league animes to watch.
Oh, yeah.
You're
yeah,
definitely
basically.
on the same league as yeah.
I'm definitely a weeb, man.
You're a weeb? Yeah. No, you're definitely a seasoned anime guy. You got a couple waifus under your belt, I bet.
Yeah.
No, but that's good. I mean, hey, at the end of the day, really, it's all up to recommendation, right?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, absolutely.
And I have a really good point on that. Once we get back into the top 5, it's going to be a good conversation going off of recommendations. But pretty much that's really all it takes to get someone in.
Yeah,
just
100%.
a recommendation of a. But you know, you also have to keep in mind is that, like, you know, a lot of the times for like the real life shows that we're watching, there's just almost like kind of a limited a genre, if you will. Like, you know, it's either like horror or it's a crime, you know, action. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With these animes, it really depends on what it is that you want to watch, right? And that's what we're gonna recommend you. So that I like to ask people, what is it that you want to see from an anime? Do you want to see fighting? Do you want to see action, gore, even sexual shit?
You could even say sports, because I know there's basketball and volleyball ones and stuff like that too.
Absolutely. Do you want to see like kind of like, you know, military or like almost like Sparta kind of themes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Slices of life. You know, a good slice of life is always good once in a while. Just to throw it in there.
That word, that phrase has been thrown a lot throughout this podcast, and even before the podcast, you two were even talking about it. So, slice of life, is that basically a rom-com?
Slice of life is more of like the realistic type of deal. That's why it's like literally a slice of life. So it kind of it like appeals to like real life scenarios.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, well said. I think, for example, and I threw this name out here. It's an anime called Barakamon. And my girlfriend at the time, she watched this shit like 10 times. There's only like 24 episodes. Watch this shit all the time. And she's like, watch this. I'm thinking it was a rom-com, right?
Yeah,
like slice of life. Like, you know, the front thing is like this one guy, flowers, and I'm like, I'm not going to like this shit. I want to watch like gore. Well, I gave it a shot.
Blood, murder.
And it's about this guy, right? And he is a professional calligrapher. And you guys know what that is, right?
Yeah,
it's like very, very precise, fancy writing.
Think of like script on roids.
It's like
Gotcha.
it's something. It's an art almost.
Like when SpongeBob writes the T.
It's like that, right? So this guy, he's like an expert professional calligrapher, but he was like born into that life because of his father. His father is a professional calligrapher and kind of forced him into that life. So his whole life, he went to school for this. It's an art too, so he went to art school, and that's all he cared about. And he spent all this time like coming up with a piece, and he went to like the gala. He brought it to the gala, and the head judge rated it like straight shit. He just said this is the worst piece in the entire thing. He punched the judge in the face, got arrested, all this shit. His dad is like, "You're crazy! Like, you lost your way. You're out of here." He sent him to a remote island somewhere random, and he's like, you're not gonna do this until like you learn like what life is all about. He sent him to a remote island, to a small village where they greeted him, and he pretty much had to learn like the life of like, you know, a local villager, like that doesn't have, you know, modern privileges or anything, but just enjoys life and takes life, you know, and lives it to the fullest and enjoys life to what it is, instead of all of like, you know, the overthinking and the expensive clothes and being a professional calligrapher and all that like Hollywood stuff. At the end, he was able to come up with a piece that he held true to his heart. The judge still, you know, rated it better than before. It didn't win like the top dog like he always strived to be, but he was content because it was a piece that island inspired him for, and that's how it ended. So it really is like kind of like it pulls on your heartstrings a little bit.
And
like
at the end of the day, he was happy with it.
And he was happy with it.
Like a personal growth,
like a personal growth thing.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I like that.
Those are great. Yeah, Brockmon,
wow.
very good.
I want to watch that.
Very
shit.
good.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, very cute. Like, you know, those villagers really took care of him. He was like a big like antisocial. He was like a hermit. Didn't like anybody. Just wanted to be in his room and draw. And then at the end, he was a different person. So
wow.
Yeah.
That's a very
it's
heartwarming
nice.
like,
really
story.
good.
Yeah,
That's
it's
that
good.
Sounds really good.
It's good. It would have made my honorable mention. I'm just not a big like slice of life guy.
Yeah.
I do watch one here and there,
Yeah,
but you know, I'm not. That's not my first genre to go to for sure.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah. So Blue Exorcist was one. For my next one,
I heard you say sports when I was coming back. Did you see Haikyuu? Have you watched?
is that the
Haikyuu?
volleyball one?
Yeah.
I heard it's really good.
Fuck yeah!
Is it good?
Watch that shit. Okay. Oh my fucking gosh! You should fucking watch Haikyuu.
Okay.
It makes you want to like buy their apparel. It makes you literally want to be a part of the fucking team. Like you're like, yeah, I want to fucking play volleyball tonight. Like, mom, buy me shoes tonight.
Like you wake up in the morning like I'm ready, bro. Like go to the rec center.
You're doing fucking. I'm gonna go to YMCA tomorrow. Just do pow, like on the geriatric people, just like spiking and shit. Yo, it's one of those animes that makes you want to play the sport.
Nice.
It's really really good.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah,
I'll check that out.
I didn't
for
want to
sure.
cut you off.
No, not at all.
Sports.
Thanks.
Fuck
I'll
yeah.
definitely check that out.
Hell
So,
yeah.
I'm not sure if you guys watched this one though. This is personally one of my favorites. Didn't make my top 5 just because I think it, you know, it might have a little bit of fan service, not in like the sexual way, but I think it's just a little bit like on like the cheesier, childish more side. But I'm gonna go with Sword Art Online here for one of my honorable mentions.
Okay.
I think the concept was phenomenal. I think it was executed pretty well. I mean, you know, season 2, once it got into like the whole like, or season 3 rather, or 2 actually, both. Once it got into more like the fairy world aspect, I'm like, like they kind of lost me here. Quick synopsis though is like it's way deep into the future, and you know how we have like virtual reality games and stuff like that. So they have like top of the line virtual reality. They put on like almost like a headgear thing, and they just lay in bed. Their whole soul goes into like a video game.
Like Ready Player One?
Like
that
Ready,
movie?
something like that. Yeah, exactly. Their
basically,
whole soul goes into a video game. And so everyone's playing this game called Sword Art Online, and the creator, the CEO, creator, the biggest brain of this whole thing, is a crazy guy. He's a sociopath. He decides to lock everybody in the game, right? And the only way that you could escape that game is if you reach like the top level. So if you die in the game, that headgear is going to shock your brain. You're going to die.
Oh.
So
It kind of reminds me of Spy Kids 3D. When
it does, yeah, it does remind me.
a
Yeah, kind of, a little bit. Yeah.
That's like a softer version.
It's like low key, like Spy Kids was like sort of like live action.
George Lopez comes on.
No, it's a good show. It really is. I think what I like about that show is you always like hear about like anime duos.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
like there's
yes,
always
yes.
like those like anime duos that even if you didn't watch like the show, you'll know like, oh, that's that's like Asuna and that's, whatever his name was. I'm blanking right now, but it's a good show. Like I said, it gets a little bit corny and sometimes because they go into like different game worlds, right? And one of them is like a fairy world and shit, and it gets a little bit corny, especially with the duo. There's like a lot of like lovey-dovey shit like going on.
Like
It gets from like season 1 being like straight up action, like this is sick, and then like season 2 is like rom-com.
It's more lovey-dovey. Like they
Very
escape to a different
lovey-dovey,
world.
like-
They got a cabin by themselves.
Yeah, like
they got a daughter.
friendship, and it's like that's all good and
Friends,
everything.
fuck
But
that
like once you go from like something that's like hardcore, like action and fight scenes and shit, and then it transitions
And then they
to something
switch it up
soft.
like
and then,
that,
I
yeah.
will say though, season 2 was kind of a bump in the road. Season 3, it went back to like the fighting.
Was
and shit.
season 2 the season where she gets caught in the cage?
That's
or is
still
that season 1?
So season 2, they go into another world that is it's
Is that the gun world?
It's the gun world.
Okay.
That one is badass.
Yes,
Gun
okay.
Gale,
I
yeah.
remember the gun world a little bit.
That one's badass.
And like the fairy daughter who gets like she gets in trouble.
Yeah,
like, in
so
IRL,
the fairy shit is like kind of like on the side of like that gun world.
Yeah.
You know, but that whole fairy shit, like it kind of got a little bit like out of hand. Especially with like the lovey relationship between like both like characters, but that's just season 2 though. Once you get through that bullshit, season 3 it picks back up.
Okay.
Great animation style, season 3.
Okay.
Phenomenal animation.
I stopped
style.
watching after after the cage. I was like, all right, like it's
you're
too
like,
much.
all right, this is ridiculous.
I'm done. Like, how the
Yeah.
fuck did like
I powered
number
through.
1? Like she was the second OP person in the game, and she gets stuck in a cage. So like, whatever.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely one to watch if you want to like really. Season 1 is great. I would definitely watch season 1 when you get the chance. So save the best for last when it comes to the honorable mentions. This one really pulls on your fucking heartstrings. Akamika Kill.
Yes.
Love that one, man.
Yes.
Akamika Kill.
Never
Fuck
watched
yeah.
that one.
Oh,
Yeah, I knew you guys were gonna like that one.
That's
I knew.
a good one.
I just don't know how to explain it. It's a couple of waifus actually, but this is the one. This is the one that like you're literally watching. You're like, I love this. Like this is sick. Like give me more. And then your life is ruined. After every episode, like a different piece of your life just chips away. After every episode,
Shit.
It does not end the way you want it. Nothing ever goes right. Like, there's nothing good about this anime. It's phenomenal, though.
You really hit the nail on the head.
I did.
Nothing ever goes right.
The fighting is it's ridiculous. The abilities that they have, the way they go about giving them their abilities is very unique. Really cool to see. You really you like every single character. There's not like one character that's unlikable. Even the villain in it, she's badass. Too short. 24 episodes, 1 season.
Really?
But I feel like those are kind of nice though.
They are
'Cause,
nice.
like,
They are nice.
You get so invested in things like One Piece,
Yeah.
and you're just like, dude, like I'd rather drive off a cliff
Yeah.
than finish the fucking this shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, 24 episodes, fantastic.
Yeah.
One
So-
Piece, man. I sorry to.
No, you're good.
Man. I have so many people telling me One Piece is the greatest anime of all time.
You think so?
It's still ongoing, bro.
I haven't watched it.
I haven't
really
either.
haven't.
Yeah.
Like, it's freaking
It
ridiculous.
intimidates the shit out of me.
Dude,
900 and something episodes.
It's like trying to watch
Yeah.
Naruto all over
They're
again. Fuck
almost
that.
on they're almost like pushing like almost their 1000th episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, I wanted to say one more honorable mention. If you were done,
No, you're good. Yeah, I'm done.
have you guys seen Bleach?
Yes.
Just started watching it.
Yes.
Really? Okay.
So
There,
you go first.
Okay, so there's a lot of backlash in the community about this anime because the anime
lot.
did not finish how they wanted it to finish.
Which is a shame because there's like almost 200 plus
Yeah.
episodes.
Right.
How the fans wanted it?
Yes,
to?
yes.
Okay.
But at the same time, I liked it. I didn't mind the way it ended. I liked the new concept that was brought about. Had I not seen the comments that people made, I would have been okay.
Yeah.
I would have been like,
Okay.
yeah, dude, like it's like if they did their own spin-off in their own thing, right? Where
Right.
like they had their what is it called? Like not Bankai, where I forgot what they do.
So it's not canon to the manga, the ending.
See, I didn't read the manga.
Oh, okay.
But like what's going on and what I'm hearing and what I'm reading, and the people are just very upset by the ending, and the ending didn't do justice to what it could have been, and
Happens.
I didn't know that. Yeah, it happens, right? Like we were talking about that before. It happens. But had I not even read that, I was like, wow, this was great. This is fucking awesome. I love this shit. Like,
Yeah.
This anime is fucking amazing.
I need to change the battery for this real quick.
Sweating like a beast over here.
You're killing it over there.
Yeah, you're killing it. This dude, I literally called him out before. I'm like, you said that you were a rookie at this animation. Man. Like, you're killing it. Frank, can't take a swig of that bad boy over there?
Oh, absolutely.
You want to just
You pass me
finish
that,
this?
Johnson?
You want to finish this?
Nah,
Dude,
I meant
this
the
is
Joel.
strong as fuck.
Is it? Yeah, I'll take a swig.
Yeah, you just finish it.
Yeah, I'll
It's
finish
like
it.
too strong.
Is it?
Like,
Let me see this shit.
Dude,
Let me
I
see the
finished my
hype.
first one. I'm feeling myself like hardcore right now. I'm like really fucking drunk. It's a 10%er,
kidding me,
dog.
dude?
Like
What does it taste like?
It tastes like Brookstone pomegranates. Chocolate covered.
Yo,
you ever
those
had
are
those before?
banging.
Dude,
Yo,
Yeah,
those
yeah,
are
yeah,
actually
yeah.
that's
I'm
supposed to
drinking
taste like
this right
chocolate
now.
covered cherries.
Yeah, that's
Yo,
exactly what it is.
can I
Dark.
try it?
Dude,
Yeah,
here,
Do you want to
rip
try
that
this?
shit. No, dude. I'm like,
I'll try that
Right,
thing.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah,
I
what's
am
this?
drunk.
This one's all right.
I'm
Was
drunk.
this good? Great job.
I'm drunk right now. I can tell you right now. I'm fucking drunk. It's supposed to be chocolate
if we're
covered
partying,
cherries.
I might just grab another.
Yeah, we're fucking partying, dog.
I'm
We didn't even get
excited.
to the top 5 yet. Like we.
I don't mind
You
this.
guys don't mind though.
Dude, no, here, fucking someone else take this from me. Like, all right, I'll take it.
Yeah.
No, these were really good honorable mentions though. I did like all of them.
I like how we're all like different. We all said different things, and I was expecting some of us to intertwine, and we didn't.
Oh, we're definitely gonna intertwine. I think when it comes
With
to
the top
actually
five?
probably not.
Maybe
Probably
not,
not.
maybe not,
Maybe
maybe
not.
not, maybe
I don't
not,
think
maybe
so.
not.
I mean, you know, we mentioned before, like we watch anime, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we know what's good and what's not.
Right.
So
right.
even though it might not be like, you know, a certain place in the list, I'm sure we're gonna agree. But let's get to it, right?
When it
I
comes
want
to
us
these,
to disagree. I want to disagree. I want to.
I want to too. I want
to too.
I want to be like, why the fuck is that on your list?
Right.
Throw that shit away.
When we all went through these honorable mentions, especially you three, it makes me realize that, you know, I think I'm so into the anime game right now when I'm not really a seasoned anime player at all.
Oh yeah.
Because
No, you get
I
that.
haven't watched as much animes yet still, you know. Even though I feel like I've been watching it like for a very long time
Right,
now.
right.
You know what I mean? Like I just haven't watched a lot of them yet though.
You'll
You know
come
what's
to
funny
a
too,
point.
Harty?
What's up?
It's sorry to cut you off. It's like
That's all right.
there's very few things that I keep a list of. Mm-hmm. My anime watch list is one of them. Like on my notes, ready to go. Like, yo, you watch anime, bro? I was like, yeah. Look. You know, it's
yeah,
like
that would too.
I feel like accomplished. Like when I finish an anime, I'm like, this was sick. Like I like this one a lot. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's definitely a
I
feel
like
good
that.
moment.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
It's great.
Yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say, but I agree with you. That's great. That's fucking great.
All right. With that being said, we are going to move on to our main 5, our top 5 animes of all time,
Let's
our
do it.
personal opinions, of course. Like I said before, how we're going to do it, I'm going to say my number 5, Hardy. You're going to say your number 5, Joe, Josue, and then me. So I'll do my number 5, and it's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. JoJo's the second. All right. Pokemon will count as number 1. So this would be my 3rd anime that I've ever watched. My boy Matt Ellis, who has been on the podcast before, gives some of the hottest or coldest takes out there. He's been convincing me to watch it for so long, even before I was into animes at all. Finally watched it. I enjoyed the shit out of it. Being one of the first animes I watched and not knowing how many other great animes there are, I really enjoyed it. Now that I have watched animes that have more of a deep story and a more continuous story, JoJo just slowly keeps on going further and further down on my list because, JoJo does have a story, but it's like Scooby-Doo where there's a different villain every episode, basically. You know what I mean?
But I feel like they branch off of each other, no? Like, I thought, to my understanding, is like everyone's related to Dio. It's literally like it's A versus B.
It's continuous in that sense where they're all related somehow.
Right. It's
So
like,
I've actually never watched JoJo though. What kind of genre would you say it falls under?
ridiculous.
No way. Just like put everything on a blender and
Like,
So
drink this.
The concept behind it is that, like we were saying, how their superpowers, it's all different ways and forms of how they get them and everything like that. They have these things called stands, and it's basically another being that comes out of their body and fights for them.
A ghost, I would say.
Yeah.
Like a ghost in a
pretty
sense.
much. Like, if you were like, pretty much a ghost.
Okay.
Yeah.
And people can only see their stand if they have a stand as well. Something else that was brought up before on the podcast as well. And it's interesting. It's really interesting. Have you ever played the game Persona?
Like Persona 5?
Persona 5?
Persona 5.
Have you seen Persona 5? But that's the sidetrack. But like, anyway, get back to you.
Well, I'm saying it's similar.
I've heard of it.
It's similar
Yeah?
to Persona with the stand
Right.
factor
okay.
of it.
They can like bring out like certain beings.
Play the new
Yeah, they
Smash?
could bring out a certain
No,
being.
I
Yeah.
haven't.
there's a character I would say that's similar to a Joker.
Yes,
character.
Joker. Yeah,
Joker?
yeah.
Which is from Persona 5.
From Persona 5. Yeah.
Okay.
But under a category, pure ridiculousness.
Like absolute ridiculous.
Absolute
You like
ridiculousness.
everything you could
You're
possibly.
just like the way they react in the show is just like exaggerated, and you're just like, really? that's.
Is there some comedy involved?
Oh, the whole show is comedy.
Oh, okay, perfect.
The whole
perfect.
show is
Yeah, no,
comedy.
I like watching shit like
Yeah,
that.
It's
some of the
hilarious,
villains are
dude.
hilarious. The best is old Joseph Joestar, and the star
Oh
does,
my
"Oh my god!" And the best is the Japanese clips that I see on YouTube. Holy shit! It's amazing,
Dude, they're
it's
so
amazing.
funny.
Yeah.
And what band is that? I think it's
Oh, AC/DC?
Yes? No, yes. Who plays Roundabout?
I don't know who does, but I
it's
know.
gonna bother
I know,
me right
I know
now
the song you're
like
talking about.
hold on. I gotta look it up right now. It's by Yes. Yeah, the band's called Yes. Roundabout. They play that song as their outro. They have good music. Like,
They do.
Aside from that one song, they have like really like funky music. It's really good.
And I love for their outro songs, it's always a mainstream popular song that they choose. I'm assuming that's what you're referring to also.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And but even their main like original soundtrack music is fantastic.
Yeah.
Jojo.
Yeah.
You know, that's fantastic.
Golden Wind was like really good. Trust me, like I've seen so many piano covers online. Just like
Now that's
covering
a
that
topic
stuff.
you don't want to get into because we'll be here all night. Soundtracks to
Oh,
animes.
dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my
You
God,
just
bro.
wait. Maybe you
That's-
go through my top 5.
Yeah.
Trust me, like there's. Dude.
The soundtrack also heavily influences me to put this
Yeah.
on my top 5 as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
for sure.
It's
great.
Once you hear JoJo's theme, like, like immediately,
You know shit's going
yeah,
down.
you know, like it's fucking like, oh damn, next episode's fire. Like,
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So if I had to rank the parts, I would have to
yes,
go.
That's my next question.
So there's 1 through 5 right now. They've in the manga, it's continued over to like part 10, I believe, or something like that. It's that far.
Reading.
So if I had to rank them, it would probably have to go. This is actually pretty hard. All right, number 2, part 2 is probably the best with Joseph Joestar, young Joseph Joestar, before they even had stands.
Oh, educate me. Like, is this the one that he has the tattoo on the back of his shoulder? Or
No, that's Jonathan. Jonathan Joestar is the first JoJo in part 1.
Okay.
That has the star on his
back.
shoulder blade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's part 2?
Part 2 is Joseph Joestar.
Okay.
How is he related to Jonathan? I don't remember.
That's his son. Right?
It might be his son.
Okay.
Yeah. So Joseph Joestar, they don't have stands yet.
Oh, okay.
Stands come.
Yeah, no stands
come in
yet.
part
I remember
3.
you
Right.
telling me that.
Grandson.
Grandson. Yeah, that makes more
Okay.
sense. And he fights off those like Mayan guys, right?
Oh, man, I love those guys. Yeah, I want to say like Egyptian zombies.
Yeah, like
almost, but
Egyptian zombie sort of deals. They come back from the dead. He fights them.
Man, I
and
don't remember this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember he like trains with
Misa?
Misa. No. Who the fuck does he train with? His partner. I forgot. But anyway.
Speedwagon?
No, not Speedwagon.
Oh,
but
dude,
Speedwagon
they're
gets brought
all
up
named
all the
after
time.
bands. Like
I know.
REO
That's why I said.
Speedwagon?
That's why I said ACDC because that's a villain's name
like,
in part
what?
4.
What?
Yeah, they're all
dude.
named after
Oh,
bands.
no way.
It's ridiculous.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool as hell.
but it's-
Like,
it's
there's like
so
a
funny.
Speedwagon like service, and the guy's name is like REO, like REO Speedwagon.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
Like part 5, they're in Italy, so like some of their names are Gelato and
No
shit like
way.
that.
Dude, they're hilarious.
That's
great.
ridiculous.
It-
Hilarious.
This is all JoJo?
This
yeah,
is
it's
JoJo.
all
Oh,
JoJo.
shit.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
so funny, dude.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Nice.
But remember part 2, he was training with like the Hormone. It wasn't a stand.
No, I want to remember
yeah.
this.
You don't.
I
you
don't
don't
remember.
remember.
I don't remember,
Okay.
no.
All right. All right.
Bother
So
me.
part 2, the best. After that, part 3. After that, part 4. And then I'd have to go part 5 and then part 1. Part 1 is like the weakest out of all of them, I would say.
So how did you get into JoJo? Did you get was it through like a recommendation or you saw it on like Netflix?
It
or, like,
was
something
through
like that?
it was through a recommendation,
Fucking.
a very persistent recommendation. You should watch this. You should watch
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
You should watch this. Because it's this kid's favorite anime of all time because of just how ridiculous it is. So yeah, that's and then I finally watched it. I was like, all right, fuck it. I watched My Hero. Let's give another anime a shot.
Yeah.
It was JoJo. It was on Netflix. In English, which the whole English-Japanese thing I'll get to later on in my time. Santana's another one.
So what's next? Like Rammstein is like in that
show. Dude, this show is absolutely
that's ridiculous.
That's
great.
Definitely something. Oh man, I'm glad
that's pretty cool though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's the animation style look like? It's good.
Ooh, it's good.
It's very good.
Yeah,
it's very
it's good.
good. It's really like flashy. Lots of flash.
Nice.
Lots
Nice.
of like, oh man, it's like really like fabulous type of type of
okay, nice.
style.
See, because like I'm not a big fan of like the fuzziness when it comes to like
fuzzy.
some. I hate fuzz.
This is defined lines.
I hate fuzz. I kind of hate like
Muscular.
1D almost. It looks like they look like you know fucking.
We're playing Minecraft.
They look like flats like from SpongeBob. You know, like they turn around like this, and I hate that. Like, you can see their lining like on their body. I don't like animes like that.
Gotcha.
So
it's not like that though. It's not like that. It's good. That's my number 5. Hardy, I'll leave it up to you.
So I put Death Note as my number 5.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I put Death Note as my number 5. It might conflict with other people's lists. I put Death Note as my number 5. Is anyone familiar?
Never
I know you're
watched it.
familiar.
Yes, I'm
You've
never watched it. Never watched
really?
it.
That's
Yeah,
a surprise
never.
to me. Yeah,
That is a surprise to me as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I've seen your Death Notes literally. Like I know you have them.
I have a legit Death Note.
Do you really?
I do. I bought it off Amazon. Yeah.
This is by far. So this one was actually a tough one for me to get into. Like I think you said that Frankie had a tough time getting into it. I also had a tough time getting into it, and so I can understand how you felt. I literally watched it and then stopped watching it, and then I was like, all right, like this is a staple, like it's mainstream, whatever, but like I think this is definitely one of those things you have to watch at least once.
Yeah.
So I started watching it, and then as soon as I got past the point where I couldn't stop watching it. It was just such a mindfuck battle between like the antagonist and the protagonist, and at that point you don't even know who the antagonist and the protagonist are. You kind of mix them up between each other. Like, are you really rooting for whatever his name is, the entire time? So
that's such a good point.
Yeah, are you really rooting for him, or do you want him to just get caught?
Yeah.
But like by the end of it, you're kind of just like, wow, I was kind of rooting for him.
Would you say that you were satisfied with the ending of this anime, or do you wish that it ended in a different way?
Yes and no.
Okay.
But I don't want to spoil
the way they kind of ended it was like a Band-Aid over the wound.
Oh,
like,
okay.
They kind of like, it could have been better, but they patched it up.
So do you think that there could have been more? Does it leave you with wanting more to the anime, or are you satisfied?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like, by the end of it, you're just like, okay, I had my like my fruits and vegetables.
Okay, yeah, ran its course
I'm
and
good.
like
Yeah.
it's good to end.
I'm good. Like, this is great. I have to tell my friends that I did this.
Yeah, there's 2 seasons, right?
Just one.
Just one. Oh,
And
20
like,
6
like,
episodes or something like that?
30 something, right?
Oh, really? Okay. So that's solid.
Library,
That's solid.
37?
Yeah.
37.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Great.
That show.
Cool. Yeah,
man,
definitely.
That show is it's something else. I wish personally that things turned out differently around a certain point. I'm sure you might know what I'm talking about. Maybe I wish certain. I can't even say that. Like, the show ended well, but I see where a lot of people were maybe like disappointed or angry with.
Do you know the synopsis?
No.
Okay, so basically, so there's this thing called the Death Note.
Okay.
Right, and there's this one really really smart kid in school, and he gets his hands on the Death Note. Like, I'm kind of like cutting corners here for you. And basically, this one.
Where did he come across the Death Note originally?
Kind of just
it kind of dropped from the sky.
Yeah.
Right. He picked it up, and this book, is you're literally able to kill someone in this book.
No way.
You write their name, and like if you don't write like what the cause is in X amount of time, they die of a heart attack. So he can literally control who dies and who doesn't.
Wow.
And he goes on like a spree, and then it becomes into a battle between him and like the world's Japan's number 1 best detective, and it's just a back and forth chess mind game. They get interlocked between each other. they end up like actually like being in physical contact with each other for like, you know, a good amount of time, and then they don't suspect each other. But at the end of the day, they really did.
So do you think that there are a couple names on that book that were unjustifiable?
So that's one thing I wanted you to bring up.
Okay.
They are all names that were criminals.
Okay.
They were all people that deserved.
Yeah, it's not like he wrote like oh, my
You
ex
know?
is dating that guy. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
right. Nothing,
okay.
nothing
Yeah.
stupid
No
like
pet.
that.
Kind of reminds me of like Dexter almost.
No, he
like,
was literally
these
like
guys
he
are
was literally like Robin. Yeah, kind of like Dexter.
Yeah.
kind of like a Rob,
kinda
like a Dexter, right?
Yeah,
he
kinda
will
like
go
Dexter,
after
like,
guys that like
people
deserve
who
it.
did bad.
Yeah.
See, it would have been a plot twist if there are, you know, if like the power got to his head and he went after some people that they didn't deserve it or they were like unjustifiable. That would have maybe been.
Well,
I don't know the anime.
Well, Sway,
So.
maybe there were people.
Oh, maybe.
that got
Hey,
their
I, mean,
hands
I
on it.
guess I'll just have to find out. I mean, you guys aren't the only ones that tell me that it's a great anime, so I have to.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is also an anime that's like advertised. Like as soon as I open up, you know, Funimation or whatever, Death Note is the first thing that pops up.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I
Along
agree
with-
with you.
yeah.
It's a staple. It's a staple.
It's one of those
It's
where
staple.
like I can understand it if you're like, yo, fuck the mainstream shit.
Yeah.
But once you start watching it and really like get into it, because it's really slow at first, but like
Okay.
once you get past the slow hump, it really you're going downhill.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You're fucking going, and like it's rolling.
Yeah,
so
I'm in. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
in for that. Yeah, I like
Very
to
psychological.
It's lots
Okay.
of psychological,
Yeah, yeah.
lots
Yeah.
of like thinking, mindfuck
Yeah,
business.
I need an anime like that because right now I'm like very jolly, like watching like, you know, like very like fan servicey stuff, like
It's like,
that like, makes you
boom,
feel
boom,
good. Like,
boom.
yeah, that fight was sick. Like I want to watch something that like I'm like, you know, in bed like this, like at night, like what the fuck did I just watch? Like I want, yeah, those are the best, honestly. You know,
Yeah,
you always
man.
got to sprinkle
The
those
ones
into
that
the
make you
diet.
think.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely,
yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
And like just going back really quick, like that's what a lot of people don't realize. Like when they have a stigma of not trying out animes is like. They probably think that just because something isn't like a real life thing, that it's not going to have a real life or like an adult theme. Like a lot of these animes are very dark, very psychological.
Yeah, do they make you think?
They make you think,
They
and
really twist your
at the end of
brain.
the day, it's something that you can't reproduce in like a live setting,
Right.
With like live actors. It has to be, you know, the storytelling has to be done through animation.
100. I
Yeah.
100%
Oh,
agree.
yeah.
And we've seen it. We've seen them try to do it in live form, and it
Doesn't
just,
work.
And
It
it
fails.
Just
Doesn't
work
work.
out.
Miserably.
Right.
Fails.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Joe, you're number 5. Hardy, were you done?
Yeah, I was done. I was
okay.
done. I was
All
done.
right, cool.
My number 5 is one we probably don't have to talk about much.
Okay.
Dragon Ball
I mean,
Z.
let's touch on it.
Hey,
Yeah.
no, let's touch on it, man.
I
For sure.
specifically mean Dragon Ball Z because I gotta be honest, I don't even consider myself a true Dragon Ball fan. I didn't finish
Okay.
the first. I didn't finish Dragon
So,
Ball, the OG, which
That's
apparently-
where
You didn't see-
I'll disagree with you.
okay.
Because
Gloves are off.
I think if someone is going to start with Dragon Ball Z, they have to do Dragon Ball.
Are you one of those
Dragon-
people who are like staple?
No, I'm
season 1 only
Nah,
or
no,
bust?
I'm not like that. I'm not like, you know, I could pick off like Dragon Ball Z is something that like, you know, when we were kids, we'd literally just put it on and it'd be entertaining, right? Like we didn't
Yeah.
know what the fuck was going on. We didn't even know that there was a whole storyline to it. I just think it's very interesting though because I'm a big guy on backstory. And you know, in Dragon Ball Z or like Dragon Ball Super, like we already see Goku as the fucking man.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people like overlook like and they don't enjoy seeing Kid Goku like literally start up from nothing, and like literally you know, starting his journey with Bulma. Like literally, Bulma's like the first girl that like he ever had like contact with
and held him down.
and held him down, or like Yamcha or like Krillin, like that. Those are that's his squad,
Right.
Yeah, and I think Dragon Ball.
Wolfang Fist.
Yeah, exactly. No, Dragon Ball. I think it's extended a little bit too much though because I put Dragon Ball Z as like one of like the long-term animes, right? And that's a chore because Dragon Ball itself is like 200 plus. Dragon Ball Z is another 200 plus, and then you get into GT, then you get into Super. So some people just don't want to go through that.
Yeah.
They just want to go straight into Dragon Ball Z and then take it from there. I think if you're a guy, excuse me, if you're a guy that is into like backstory, then I would definitely start off with Dragon Ball so you can enjoy like Kid Goku because Kid Goku's funny as fuck and he's pretty cool.
There's
too.
a lot of like innuendos that like will
Yeah.
go over your head if you don't understand.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, I would say, is the most known, though. Right?
I would say it's the most celebrated.
When it blew up, maybe?
Yeah. I would say Dragon Ball Z is probably the most celebrated anime in history.
Yeah.
Like, probably not the best or rated the best by, like, anime watchers. Most, like, celebrated, like, culturally, though, definitely probably is Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
Yeah. But sorry to cut you off there, but I want to hear your take on that 5.
I can't even say this because I didn't watch Dragon Ball, and you made me feel bad. The progression of Goku. Now, when he was a kid, we're gonna omit that part. The progression of Goku and the other characters, really, their power, they're just like, you know, Dragon Ball is one of those shows where it's more or less like, who are we fighting? When are we fighting?
Yeah,
it's really like, yo, your homies, like, all right, like. So, you're fighting? Okay, let's go beat up that guy then. Like,
right.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
The story was never anything
out.
like crazy, but it always felt at home for me. You know.
Yeah.
It was something I can just put on and just watch it.
Just watch it through.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can respect that.
I'll put on clips on YouTube sometimes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But you know that's the thing when it comes to Dragon Ball. It was like very. You know, it's not like there wasn't any fight scenes or anything, but it was like very casual. It didn't get into like the you know the legendary like scenes that Dragon Ball Z had, like the Cell games and shit like that. It was just very like a very long introduction to like Goku's progression, but it was like his nice like backstory, you know, and like how Master Roshi, you know, came about and how he met his wife. What the fuck's Chi-Chi, how he met Chi-Chi and like Chi-Chi's father, you know, and stuff like that. So it was a nice like little backstory, but realistically you could probably just jump into Dragon Ball Z as is and be satisfied like through there.
Yeah, you could. That's true.
Yeah.
That's a true statement.
I think though, my personal opinion is that Dragon Ball Z, the animation style is way ahead of its time.
Definitely.
Way ahead of its time.
Absolutely.
I'll watch that shit now and I'll be like, this probably came out like in the early 2000s. Dragon Ball Z aired in 1986. Dragon Ball did. Dragon Ball, yeah.
Really?
1986.
Dude, I thought that was like late, like early 90s.
Yeah,
maybe
nah,
even
man.
Like mid 90s type of animation style. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's
it's
really
crazy.
good.
Yeah.
That's really fucking
crazy.
good. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely ahead of its time.
Wow.
I feel like I could talk about Dragon Ball forever, but everyone knows about Dragon Ball. We all know what it's about.
I mean, I won't take away from Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z. Like it's the most celebrated anime out there, and I love it. I really do. And you know what's funny? Side note, and I'm sorry to take away from you really quick, but I have a really good friend of mine refuses to watch anime.
Yeah.
Refuses. I'm like, yo, watch this. He's like, no, I'm not gonna watch that goofy shit. This dude sat through every single episode of Dragon Ball, every single episode of Dragon Ball Z, GT. He's on Super right now. That's the only anime that he will watch. Refuses for everything. Doesn't matter
that kinda
how
makes
many.
sense,
like,
though.
upset, actually.
But it kind of makes sense, though, because it's the most popular fucking...
Right, but that's like saying you're only going to watch Game of Thrones forever. Like, that's it.
Yeah,
I'm only going to watch that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Or like you're only going to watch Naruto. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like there's just more out there, you know what I mean?
You're only gonna watch
and
Fairly
I don't-
Odd Parents. Like, is that what you're gonna do?
Like, you know, SpongeBob is sick. I'm gonna main SpongeBob.
Yeah,
SpongeBob is the meta. I'm just gonna main SpongeBob
forever.
You know? Like, yo, watch this, nah, dude. Like
SpongeBob only.
I've thought about
Angry
getting into
Beavers
Dragon Ball.
only.
Yeah,
Angry Beavers
that's
only.
it, right?
Only.
I've been thinking about getting into Dragon Ball, but I really wanted to start, I guess, with Super. Because I like the whole concept of them being in this tournament.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
last person standing sort of deal.
But I would do the same. It's just like I can't do it knowing that there's a like miles of a journey behind me.
See, I probably can do it
Yeah?
with Super because I know there's
Fuck you.
gigantic
Like, yeah, fuck.
because I know that there's gigantic amounts of backstory and everything else to it.
But that's also the thing when it comes to, and when I decide like what to watch, and this is gonna surprise you guys, and you know things like Death Note or Akamika Kill even was very short. Those are like 26 episodes and stuff like that. It's honestly a commitment to start an anime that has 500 plus episodes.
Absolutely,
And
dude.
there's a good amount of them too, but like you really have to like pick which one it is that you want to commit to and like stick to it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Because like, even after doing it, you're just like, wow, it's a fucking marathon.
You're like, fuck, like, how much more like do I have left?
Like, please,
please,
I can only live
please,
for so long.
Right. How many episodes of Naruto are there?
Holy fuck, bro.
Fucking Shippuden has like 300.
Yeah, and
in
like,
total probably like 700 maybe. Like
Naruto,
plus, plus with Boruto and shit like that. Yeah.
Do you guys know anyone that have watched both Naruto and fucking
Shippuden?
One Piece?
So let's save it.
Okay.
I have
I'll
a nice
save
little
it.
surprise. My girlfriend at the time, she watched all of Naruto. That was her main.
Okay.
Yeah, that was her main.
I could admit that I've seen all
personally-
Naruto, but I know someone who kind of watched all of One Piece and Naruto, but we'll get on.
Yeah,
that.
we'll
When we
get
touch
onto
on
it.
you,
Yeah,
when we
we'll
touch on you.
yeah.
'Cause
we'll
I'm
get onto it.
curious.
I got a
I'm
nice
curious about
surprise
that.
up my sleeve. Yeah.
All right.
Got a nice surprise.
Okay.
You got the floor right now.
Got the floor. All
Yeah.
right. So where are we with
top five.
Number
Top
five.
five.
So I decided to go with a little different approach. I hope you guys don't mind with my top 5.
I hate it.
The cool thing is though is that it's made by the same production company.
Okay.
Okay. So these kind of go hand in hand, but my top 5, and it was a close draw. My top 5 is going to be the fifth is going to be Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
That was your number 5.
That's my number 5. The close comparison to it was Samurai Champloo.
Ooh, wow.
I hear they're both
dude.
very similar in a sense.
Fantastic.
Okay.
So-
I am in love with Cowboy Bebop.
So Cowboy Bebop is my number 5, and Samurai is very similar. They're very similar, and I'm kind of contradicting myself because I mentioned before that I hated fuzziness. These two animes are kind of fuzzy. They got a very retro, like 90-ish vibe to it.
Well, they're older, no?
They're old. Yeah, they're older.
They're
Yeah,
literally
they're-
the ones. If you look up like anime lo-fi hip hop, that's the background.
Yeah,
Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
yeah. Cowboy Bebop. I think the characters in Cowboy Bebop are one of like the most celebrated in anime. Like Spike
absolutely.
Siegel. Is an absolute
Fucking
beast.
Space
I
Cowboy?
think Space Cowboy, like that whole, like that story plot and like creativity is way ahead of its time. Being like a space cowboy, like a space cop, like these guys travel on a ship to planets and like solve shit.
Think of Dog the Bounty Hunter, but in space.
They're bounty hunters in space.
but that's not Mando.
But the thing is
But
that
it's not Mando,
it's
right,
the-
not
you know
Mando.
it does without like all of like the jazz. Like there's not like all this like superhero
The music's
shit.
great,
and like
bro.
music is great. Music is awesome.
the intro is
Is
phenomenal.
great. It's just it's very like I don't even know what to explain it as, like very retro, like the vibe, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
even like the bars that they would like walk into and like the jackets that they would wear and
the
like,
way like they would go about every scene, the way they close out every scene, like they're
It was-
to be continued. Like the ending scene is always like a to be continued type of deal, but it was always just like, not that it was different, it was just you wanted to see that.
Yeah.
Like,
it was just
it was great.
it was just black and white. No like ridiculous outro, like nothing. It was just black screen at the bottom. See you, Space Cowboy.
It was like see you later.
You go to the next show.
Yeah,
it was just the whole vibe of it was like I like this,
Every
and the
episode was
music
different.
and the music
so
to
good.
it like really went with like the scenes, and there's a couple themes, like adult themes, that people would really like in that show.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that I would watch this like as a little kid. I had no idea what the fuck I was watching. It's just the music and like the scenes and like the way that like Spike had like swag and shit.
Heavy swag.
Heavy swag.
Heavy swag.
Heavy swag.
He's the type of guy that would just you could shoot
And-
at him and he would just stand there.
And like Faye Valentine, like she'll remind
Faye
you of like the
Valentine.
modern day girl, like the way that she is.
Faye Valentine.
Faye Valentine is like definitely a top 5 waifu. Would you
Yeah,
agree?
oh,
Would you agree, Faye Valentine? Yeah.
That's a heartthrob.
and,
All right.
And
Oh,
Cowboy is definitely number 5 for me. The reason why I said Samurai Champloo is because the take that they have is a little bit more like Japanese like punk pop kind of like vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
Like,
kinda-
it's like
very
very
punk,
like
very punk.
graffiti-ish,
Very punk.
like rap freestyle, but it's also like, you know, it focuses around like the Japanese culture, right? Like the Edo era. Little synopsis about that. I'm going to let you watch Cowboy and find out for yourself. Little synopsis about Samurai is that there's a girl, she pops into a restaurant randomly, right? She's looking for her father. Supposedly he's like the samurai of flowers. And there's two other characters. There is Jin. He's a traditional like samurai, like from a Jojo. Right.
Yeah.
He's traditional, by the book samurai, born into it. Textbook. And then the other one is forgot his name.
I think I know exactly about
Mugen. Yeah, Mugen. So Mugen is just like street raised. Like he was raised by the streets.
Very unorthodox.
He was very unorthodox. His technique is unorthodox at best. Just a very aggressive, sick fighter. So these dudes come together and they find themselves a challenge. They're trying to kill each other, but they can't. Right? Mm-hmm. So this girl walks in and she gets in between them. They're like, you guys are fucking tough. You're coming with me. Because these two guys don't have anything going for them in life. Like their entire life was fighting.
Yeah.
One is by the book. The other one is by the street. So they're like, all right, in one condition, once we do this quest for you, we get to fight each other for the death. So she's like, fine. But you guys are coming with me. And they're like, all right, fuck it. So it's just like their quest on like, you know, going to find this girl's father. And it's the same like animation style, very good fight themes.
Yeah.
Fight, you know, scenes that happen there. And the soundtrack is great too.
It's just like so like, the way I picture Samurai Champloo is like so 2000.
So 2000.
So
yeah.
2000. Like,
so 2000.
It's just like flowy, super like kind of like I think of like graffiti for some reason.
Yeah, it's a lot of
just,
graffiti
like,
kind of vibe, like rap,
like
freestyle-ish,
like thug type of street
funk
style. It's awesome.
But then like you tie that in with like Japanese like Edo era, you know what I mean?
Right.
But the good thing is that, you know, they were both made, Cowboy and Samurai, they were made by the same production company, so it kind of follows like the same animation style. Cowboy is just so smooth, like it's just very smooth, like jazzy kind of thing, but like also like space cowboy, you know. Put
like
all
that.
those three together and you don't even know what you're gonna get. You just gotta watch.
I've heard a lot about it, and I am planning on. I think what throws me off is that it's older anime. I think that is
they're
what throws
both,
me
and that's what
off.
threw me off too. That's why I'm surprised they made my list, because they're both two of the older animes.
They're definitely older. But,
they're older.
But they're definitely
They're
really
good.
good.
Yeah,
they're
they
really
deserve
good.
that spot.
They're really good.
Yep.
Like I'm glad I like sometimes like would peep that on Toonami, and it was just totally worth it.
Yeah.
Totally worth it.
And it's like, you know, it's stress free, no frills. Like 26 episodes, you know, you can get through that like
Super
2
chill.
days and
Super
you know,
chill.
enjoy it too. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, you don't gotta commit
That's
to
like a
anything
breeze
crazy.
almost.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a breeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, add that to the list.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, my number 4 is My Hero Academia. You know, I'm gonna forget about Pokemon right now. This is like the first true anime that I've watched that got me into anime. I actually suggest My Hero Academia for anyone who's just starting anime. I think it's an easy anime to follow. I think it's similar to what they've seen mainstream-wise in superheroes and stuff like that. I think it's just an easy blend and transition into the anime world. The whole thing with the quirks, fantastic little twist that they've added, you know, to make it their own, basically. You know, and a lot of the powers are different in it too. I mean, you have the girl that's a frog. You know, she has frog powers and whatnot.
Froggy.
Yeah, right. Like there's there's a lot of different cool and unique powers that I at least I've never seen before.
Yeah. And you know what, I actually, just to go off of that, what I like about My Hero is that, you know, realistically, like in some of the other animes, it's like a select few that have like these superpowers and like the rest are like civilians. My Hero, it's like fair game. It's like whatever you're born into the world with, whatever quirk is, you that's what you got. You're gonna dominate. Like you just have to use your ability to your potential, right?
Yeah.
Like Asui, she's a frog.
Yeah, right.
And she still kills it.
Yeah, she
right?
still kills the game.
She still kills the game.
Absolutely. And you want to know what? It's because they're in a school.
Yeah.
because of their culture and
Yeah.
whatnot, that they're able to figure out what they can
They're
do with
being
their
constantly
abilities and
pushed
whatnot.
to their potential to
Yeah.
find out what they can do with their powers.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly.
So I wanted to ask you, actually, now that you say that, who is your favorite character that you feel like you would vibe with, or maybe you would resemble the most?
Ooh.
Because I know that this is like your like anime. This is like, because I remember talking to you and you would always be like My Hero Academia. I was like, yeah, it's a good one. And then this, but now that I know that this is like your upbringing into like anime, entering the scene, I want to know what brought you, what character
Make it right.
made you be, or what character you resemble the most. We can like edit that shit, but like,
Okay,
what
yeah,
character you
yeah,
resemble
yeah,
the most?
yeah.
I was like distracted.
Yeah, go
It's
ahead.
like-
Go right ahead. Yeah. Let me just make sure that's good.
yeah.
I feel like
Alright,
Frank's an
you're good.
Eraserhead guy.
Shoto?
So you want to know what some people actually said that I would be if
Who?
I had a quirk? And it kind of pissed me off because it's a lame ass ability. The guy that just shoots out cameras, not shoots out cameras, but he could make camera lens
I
out
feel
of
like
his
they're
hands
just
and
taking you
whatnot.
for fucking face value. That's not you, dude.
No, I don't think so either. I don't
No.
think so either.
I
Yeah,
would think of like something way more crazy. I think you'd be the tape guy.
the tape guy would be sick as.
I think you'd
fuck.
be the tape guy.
All right, you know what? I'll have to agree with you with that. I think so
Yeah,
too.
like, that's-
but I wouldn't say he's my
Dude,
favorite
like,
character
whoever
out
told
of it.
you they think you're the camera guy, that's just because
It was actually my brother Jesse. I'm like, Jesse, I'm not
if you're listening to this shit,
Yeah.
you're excommunicated. Like, we're getting rid of you. You suck at Smash.
Nah, dude. The tape guy, I could actually probably vibe
I think
with
the
a
tape
lot.
guy is like honestly, like if you think about it, like Scotch tape guy with a duct tape guy, like how is that useful? No way. He's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like he can bring you back. Like you can send yourself. I'll just bring you back.
Yeah, right,
Like,
exactly.
That too. Like he has uses. He's pretty cool.
If I had to choose a person who's like my favorite character in My Hero right now, it's a villain.
Really? Okay. Enlighten me. Go for it.
Overhaul.
Overhaul is
He could literally touch someone and just
okay.
splatter them. He could. He
Like, change their
he
chemicals,
changes.
like their makeup a bit.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's not the guy with all the hands on him,
That's
right?
sugar.
No.
Okay.
He's the guy with the plague beak on.
Plague. Yes.
The main villain of
Yes.
season 4.
Yes.
Yeah. He is by far,
That's
and I love that arc.
That's actually that's a good arc.
Yeah,
That's a
I
good arc.
love that
Wow.
arc.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like the way that anime is going, I'm like pretty excited to see like how it progresses.
100%, and that's another thing I love about the show too, because all these main characters, they're young.
Yeah, dude,
you know,
they're in high school.
They're
you
in
know?
high school. Like
they're just starting.
They could show them grow up all the way.
Yeah.
And be full-fledged heroes and everything like
Right,
that.
right.
Like way after All Might passes away and everything like that. You know what I mean? Like, not that I know if he does pass away anytime soon or whatnot, but like
you can
still.
only imagine where like Midoriya's going. You know, like
Yeah.
where Deku is going. He has the potential to reach All Might's power.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's just
and
like, can he hone that? Can
Eh,
he own it? Can he make it his own?
Exactly. And that's another great thing too. He's just at the beginning of what he could do with his
fledgling.
abilities.
He's literally a fucking pledge. Like he's getting there.
Yeah. And the other thing I love too is that they make a movie just about every year of My Hero, and the movies are fantastic.
I'm pretty sure they're canon.
They say the one thing that pisses me off is that the creator said about the last movie
wasn't
when Deku gave Bakugo All for One to help defeat the villain.
Yeah.
The creator was like, canon or not canon, you decide. No,
Wait,
listen.
Fuck off.
I was
Is this for the movie or
the new movie. What was it called? Two Heroes, the latest one.
How
Was
many
the latest
movies
one
are
called
there
Two
for
Hero-
My Hero?
I think there's 3 movies out
Really?
so far of My Hero.
2 or 3.
I gotta
2 or
start
3.
fucking watching
I gotta
Yeah.
start watching the
Yeah,
movies
I gotta
because
start watching the movies. You
I saw the
fucked me
latest
up.
one in theaters. It was fucking
No way.
fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. And all right,
Where does it really fall in the storyline though, or does it not?
no, it definitely
Oh, it
does.
does?
It definitely does. The last movie they went on summer vacation. All the students went to work at a summer camp, and I believe it happened those events happen between season 3 and season 4.
Okay.
Because season 4 hasn't like premiered yet, or like season 4 was in a mid-season finale and then the movie happened, sort of deal.
Okay.
Nice.
But yeah, the creator was like, you kind of decide if it's canon or not canon.
I think maybe
are you kidding me? So many big things happened in the movie. How are you not going to tell me if this is canon or not?
I feel like maybe he'll write the show differently.
Well, I think so. If this fell in between season 3 and season 4, I think we could probably like put it over our heads because season 4 was fantastic.
Season 4 was phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
I don't give a fuck what happened in the movie.
So-
That could be a little side joint.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
season
yeah.
4.
And it was a
got
side
it.
joint. The only thing I'll say about the movie, though, it's a little bit of a spoiler, but I think you guys would like this.
Yeah, let me hear.
All right, so the doctor that tells Deku he's not going to have powers is the same person that helped create a main villain in the movie.
What?
Which makes me think this doctor has a bigger role to play
I think he might.
than we actually think.
So he could have just cucked fucking Deku from the start. Like maybe he did, and he just was like, "Yo,
Well,
maybe you're useless, and I don't want to have you. I don't want to deal with you later."
Yeah, yeah, that's true too. This is true too.
Yeah.
So that
Maybe
doctor,
Deku's
I think,
late
is going to
bloomer.
be a big part later on in the series. But you missed out before. Overhaul is my favorite character
He's
of
a
all
savage.
time right now.
Savage.
In,
I asked him
Savage
season
villain.
4.
I asked
Savage
him. I was
villain.
like, Frank, like what character do you think that you fit with the most? Like who would resemble you the most? And then he said Overhaul. And then he went on to say that people say with like, yeah, he's a camera person. He's the camera guy. And I was like, no, like I think you're the tape person. I think you can shoot out tape. And I thought that was badass. So I want to ask you the same. Where do you reside? Who do you think that you resemble the most? And then I want to reveal who I think I should.
All right, who I think I resemble the most. So I don't know if I'm just going with the OP route here.
Okay.
I think when it comes to my personality, I could be either two people.
Okay.
And they might be OP. I might go one with Todoroki
Okay.
because
Todoroki's badass. Dude.
not only just as Todoroki, he's very humble in a way. He's born into talent. Obviously, his father's the number one hero right now. He hates the fact that his father's the number one hero.
Right.
But, at the end, he's I wouldn't say shy, very conservative. Mm-hmm. But when he has to put on, he will put on.
Yeah.
Right? It seems like he uses his ice a little bit more when it comes to having to put on.
I feel like that's more of like a personal thing, right?
It's
I
more of
think
a personal
so.
thing
You
with
notice
his
that,
father.
right?
Yeah.
You notice
I
that?
noticed
Yes.
I think he resents his father, so he doesn't use his fire
Exactly.
quirk.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's just it's the aspect here is like I could sometimes be really hot or I could be cold. So I think that I definitely identify with Todoroki in that end. Another one would be Mirio. Mirio is probably my favorite character.
Who's Mirio again? Is he
Mirio?
the electric guy?
No, Mirio is the one
Throws
that
the balls on his head?
no, Mirio is the one that literally, he could control his body to just fall through the ground. And his body is his permutation. Like his body could just go through shit,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
He got cucked over, bro.
you want to all right, so you know what? This is a nice little spin if you guys don't mind. So you're on your fourth, right?
Yeah.
If you don't mind going this opposite way, okay?
Yeah.
My fourth is My Hero Academia.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. Lead it
Okay.
off.
So
yeah.
let's kill two birds with one stone. The competitor to that was Demon Slayer. We already talked on Demon Slayer a lot. Fantastic anime. It's going to compete for one of the best animes of all time, manga of all time. It's still in its rookie phase though, and it still only has one season, so that's why I'm putting My Hero over it. So My Hero is definitely the fourth. So unpopular opinion though is that I find myself I don't like the main character. I don't think Midoriya is the chosen one. I really don't.
Do you think it's because he cries too much?
It's not because he cries too much, because everybody cries too much. Like you're always gonna get that one, a main character that's just a crybaby in the beginning, then just turns a beast.
Yeah.
Midoriya just doesn't have it. I mean, it doesn't matter how hard you work. It doesn't matter, the effort that you put in. He's working hard, but like people just don't respect Midoriya. He doesn't have the the willpower. He just mopes all the time. Like, he doesn't have charisma. People are resenting Midoriya for All Might choosing him. I think that if All Might never ran into Midoriya, it would be a different story. I think Mirio should be the one to take on All Might's power, because Mirio comes from the same shit.
Dude, yeah.
Mirio was a loser. He was the worst of his class. He had the worst power. People bullied him, and he always kept a smile on his face.
Yeah.
Never went home and cried. Just always kept on pushing forward, and some way, somehow used his power to be OP.
Dude,
But he got fucked over.
Like All Might.
He does look like All Might, and that's honestly why. That's why. That's why. What's his name? Is it Nighthawk?
Yeah.
Nighthawk. That's why he resents Midoriya. I mean, he's obsessed with All Might. That's his mentor, so he's not going to question his decisions. If he thinks that was the right move, he's going to follow it. But he resents Midoriya because he thinks that Mirio should have been the successor, and I think the same way.
Honestly. Okay, go ahead. You first. You
Okay.
first.
I'm going to strongly agree with you on that, but I'll also disagree with you on the fact that, like we were saying, like, they could go on and on with the series of them growing up and everything. I think it might be a little bit too early to say if he actually earns
I thought so too.
that power.
And you know what scene really did it for me? It was when Bakugo, lured Midoriya out into the alleyway, and they got into that huge brawl.
Yeah.
And in the end, Bakugo ended up fucking him up.
Yeah.
Even with the power, and Midoriya is finally able to control that power and really like excel past his limits like he used to, and can control it a little bit more. Bakugo is still talented, still has more charisma. He was more disciplined, and he still overpowered him in the end. And at the end, he's questioning, why did All Might choose you? Like, you just don't have it.
Yeah.
You're just not talented enough. Like, doesn't matter.
I
Doesn't
can agree with
matter
you,
on
dude.
your
I can
work
agree with
rate.
you.
Like, you could be the hardest working person, but if you just naturally don't have it, then there's nothing that you could do about it.
I agree.
I just don't think that
Midoriya
Midoriya's answer.
is
I
tier
don't.
3 at best.
He's tier 3.
Tier 3. He's
Tier
not
3.
even tier 2, bro. He's tier 3.
I think if there was one person that should have inherited All Might's power and that could have used it a lot better, it should have been Mirio.
Mirio would probably made the show better.
Because he's
But
more of a
But
likable character. Once
He
the
is.
big three come in, you're like, these
Oh,
guys are
yeah.
badass.
Are you
Like,
kidding me?
I'm
Mirio-
sick of listening to, Bakugo scream at Midoriya, and then the grape head guy, those guys are the worst. Once the big three come in, you're like, all right, now we're talking. Like, now we're gonna see some sick heroes.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
But all in all, fantastic anime. Deserves the top 4 spot, and I think it's got a long run left. So
I think
season
it has
4
a very
is
long
almost
run.
absurd.
I'm sure
Season 4 was absurd. The only
so
problem
much
I have
hype
with
on
season 4 is I wish they went. What was the guy's name? He wanted to be like internet famous with his crimes.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
The villain,
the guy with the mustache.
So
Yeah.
So
Mustache.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I've been a good villain.
No, dude, he didn't play it out at
What?
all.
Yeah.
They pieced him way too quick.
They
I
pieced
think.
him way too. All right, yeah, kind of, but say they kept his length in the show.
Yeah.
They should have put that in the beginning and then made Overhaul
right?
all the way at the end.
Yeah, because you're gonna start the show with a villain like Overhaul, which honestly he could probably compete with top 5 villains.
Yeah.
Right now in anime, and then you piece him, and then you just put this bozo in. I mean, we didn't get enough on this guy, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean,
right.
he had a cool quirk. He gave him a run for their money, and him and his partner, that was a pretty badass quirk too. Like, the more love that she gave him, the stronger he got.
Yes.
They were giving them a run for their money.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
you're right. It should have been that guy first, little challenge, and then a real challenge.
Yeah.
And really push the limits that way.
Because that whole music festival thing
Yeah.
that they were doing, I thought something was going to happen at the music festival.
I thought something
Nothing
crazy.
fucking happened.
Yeah,
Nothing fucking
thought
happened
something
during
crazy.
the music
Nothing.
festival.
Nothing. Just that guy in the woods. Whole music festival went about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What
That
else is
was
left,
it.
man?
Yeah. All right, Joe. Let's hear your number 4.
I feel like
Okay, hit that real quick, Frank.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna spoil.
Are you gonna spoil a lot?
of people's lists just by putting Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood in my number 4.
Not at
Okay.
all. Very respectable.
When we're talking about anime, that anime is right there always.
Agreed.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is it's got everything. It's got hardships. It's got brotherhood, literally. It's got just wholesome. It's just a wholesome show from the beginning to the end.
Agreed.
And it's so good, and it just gets every episode's better and better.
Agreed.
I used to call it the Game of Thrones of anime, but
And you know, a little side note here, actually, and my first anime from years. You know, my girlfriend at the time, she recommended an anime for me to watch, and I always told her like, no, I'm not gonna watch this until, like I said, we like sat down and we watched it. It's Full Metal Brotherhood.
and it was worth it.
Yeah,
Right?
it was worth it. That was my
worth it.
first one, you know, back in the game. Was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And like you said, it has everything packed in it. You've watched it, right, Frank?
Brotherhood. I
Yeah,
watched.
Brotherhood.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got everything that you need.
Yeah.
It's got action. It's got a great storyline.
Yes.
You know, I mean, and going back to the duos, remember I said, like, for example, like, you know, Asuna in Sword Art Online, Asuna and, you know, the main character and whatnot, or let's say, like, you know, Goku and Vegeta and stuff. You know, people always identify, like, two characters when it comes to an anime, and people are always gonna identify, like, they're gonna know who the Eldritch brothers are.
Right, Ed and Al are right there with those
That's it.
guys. And
You missed it, Hardy.
What did I miss?
Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh,
Number 4?
Who's number 4? Was that?
His.
That was your number 4?
It was
I didn't
so.
stick you.
Don't worry, he's fine.
I'm worrying. I'm fine.
You know, just my list from here on out is so tight for me, man. Like I can't even. I had to take out a show that I couldn't believe I took out. I gotta be honest.
Okay.
And-
was it your honorable mention or?
I didn't even put it in my honorable mention.
How could it take
No
out
way,
your
how could you
top
do-
5?
It probably just didn't meet the criteria compared to
met the criteria.
Oh, did it? So I'm curious. What didn't what didn't even make it to the honorable mention?
You wanted it to be
'Cause
on. Yeah.
what didn't even make it?
It was,
That
like,
you
good
wanted
enough
it
for
so
top
hard
five,
to be,
but
but it
not
didn't
honorable
make
mention?
it. What was it?
I'm offended for that number.
Let me hear.
You guys are gonna laugh at me.
What-
Death Note. It was Death Note.
Oh, what?
Death
Oh,
Note.
I mean, no, I respect that because, no, I respect that.
I feel like
I've never watched it,
I
but
feel
I
like
can see
it's
why.
better. Okay, fine, right? Like it's top 5, but you didn't want to give it the honorable mention because it was just above that.
I honestly figured you guys would be all over Death Note, which you know.
I threw it out there, you know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, yeah,
yeah.
Frank and Hardy.
Highly suggest you watch it. Though.
Yeah, I will. I definitely will give it a shot.
The slow burner that just.
Oh, dude. Oh.
I mean, like, you know, the good thing about those animes is, like I said, it's stress free. I could just, you know, take a full off day and just watch the entire thing.
Yeah.
You
And,
need
you know,
to like. It's one of
Just
those ones
watch
you have
it
to pay
straight
attention
through,
to.
so you know all the information sticks, and I'm following the story all the way along,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's not like something crazy that'll take me weeks. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll give it a
It's
shot.
worth.
Yeah.
But Full Metal Alchemist, where were you?
You know, I feel like I have so much to say with so little to say at the same time. Just I was talking more about how it was so wholesome, how everything just was right. Everything that happened in that show, it fit together so perfectly, like a puzzle, like the greatest group of friends, like they just fit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Sick villain.
sick villain.
A
villain.
whole
A
bunch of
couple,
sick
a whole
villains.
bunch.
Yeah.
Villains.
One of my
Yes.
personal favorites there. I don't even know if I want to say who it is for people that didn't watch it.
Did you
I
watch
think
Full
we
Metal?
all
Yeah, we
watched
all
it.
watched it. Yeah,
we all watched it. Yeah.
King Bradley's
ago.
my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, it's sick villain. I mean,
love that
it's
guy.
it's like you're watching the anime and you think that this guy's like the man, like you think he's the truth, and then his character unfolds and it's a complete twist.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, how it all went down was crazy. And oh man, those final episodes were something.
I also really like the take that they had on the 7 deadly sins.
Yes.
I like
Yes.
that those were personalities and those were the villains.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
strongest one of all was King Bradley.
Well,
Pride or Wrath.
I think-
Bradley or-
Yeah.
wait. Pride was the one that with all the shadows, right?
Yeah,
I think he was the strongest in my opinion.
Oh, you're right. Because wasn't Pride like the original
Yeah, the
Yes.
homunculus?
Yes.
Yeah, it was Pride. And then Wrath was pretty much just like the face.
Yeah.
Pride was always like in the back. He was the kid of Bradley.
I
Yeah,
couldn't believe that.
I
when
could not
first
believe
watched
it's
that.
it's like that show just takes you on a fucking loop.
It
Swear to
does.
God.
It does.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
so good, man. It's really it.
All right. Cameras are dying on us here, so I mean, I don't want to rush at anyone with their topics, but just go ahead. We'll run through the rest of these.
So we did. That was 5. Number 4.
Unless you guys don't care, like, of me just putting a picture of you guys while you're talking, and we could go on for as long as we fucking want.
I could go
Alright,
on.
yeah, so
I want to rip
I
this
don't care.
entire list, man.
All right, yeah.
I mean, like, I
If
didn't
you gotta
prepare
take a
for
break
this for no reason.
If you gotta
yeah.
take a break to charge up, I'm good with that too.
All right, yeah. I mean, we'll keep on going on
Yeah,
for right
so
now.
So
and then,
let's
yeah.
hit this one. So my number 4 was Hunter x Hunter.
Nice.
Another one that's on my list. It was either Demon Slayer or Hunter x Hunter. I was starting
So
next. and I
this
think it's
one,
Hunter,
I will
Demon
give
Slayer.
some backlash. I will give backlash to this one. I loved it. I really loved it. But there were just so many loopholes here that could have been filled, and they were just ignored.
Yeah.
Absolutely ignored.
In what arc would you say?
They never really finished Kurapika.
They didn't.
They never did that. They never
Didn't.
really finished the spiders. Like
They didn't
they
either.
just left.
Yeah,
just left.
they did.
Have you seen Hunter
I only
x Hunter?
watched 25 episodes of it, and I meant to keep going.
It's a
but,
long one, man.
Dude,
it's like about like
it's not-
130
yeah,
episodes.
It's pretty long.
It's long.
Every arc though, I really loved. The main character Gon, absolutely amazing. Like his entire search for his father, just like get to his point. Amazing. He meets like one of the most evil families, but befriends their son, their youngest son, makes him like a cool person. It's totally dope.
Going back to anime duos that are like most celebrated, Gon and Killua are one of the two most celebrated
absolutely,
anime
dude.
duos.
These
right
guys are like literally peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
These two,
now. Yep.
dude. If there's one anime that I had to tell you to watch, this would be my second one to tell you to watch.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is
You've never seen Hunter x Hunter?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you're working on it, right?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
That's coming up.
Yeah. It's
For
on
sure.
Netflix. Totally worth the watch. I don't know if they finished the full series on Netflix.
Not on Netflix, but you could find it.
Yeah.
I think Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll for
has
sure.
it, yeah.
Crunchyroll. I need to get a
Finish.
subscription for.
No, this one's free. You could finish.
Oh,
it.
all right. Say less.
This
That's all.
one's free.
Yeah. All right. Word. Okay.
Hunter x Hunter, by far. I know it has some backlash. I know it hasn't finished the way people wanted it to finish, but this one is really good.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, I didn't want it to finish the way it did. There's so many answers, so many loopholes that need to be answered, but it's okay. It's good.
You're content. You're not content.
Am I content?
But like,
No, not at all.
I'm not
But-
content.
Yeah, not at all.
Well, a little disclaimer here is that the manga goes forward.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it continues. Yeah, it's still.
It's
I
going.
don't know if it's still going, but it's way past the anime.
Oh.
The anime,
It's been on hiatus for like almost 10 years.
that. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's more. There's a lot more. I don't know
That
who is
kinda
going to step
doesn't-
up.
That doesn't make me happy.
It doesn't make me happy either.
That doesn't make
Doesn't.
me happy about
Doesn't
that.
make me happy.
That's what happens, man.
Oh man, that
Yeah.
stinks. All right, but at least it was good though. While
It's
It,
good.
it was good
an
enough for me to
anime,
put it on
though.
my list at number 4.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
like,
yeah.
It's I loved
Yeah.
it. I really did like it.
Okay.
And it's a remake too. The original, I believe, is from like '99 or something like
Really?
that, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
that surprises me.
Yeah, the
Wow.
new one is like from like 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a remake.
Okay.
The original was very like fuzzy, very retro looking,
Oh.
and they changed up the animation style. You should see the original. The original is cool.
You
But
watched
the,
both?
I didn't.
watched
I watched a couple segments from the original, but the most viewed is definitely the remake.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
it's the better one at the end.
okay.
I'll
Yeah.
put some time in there.
Yeah.
That's
All
worth.
right.
That's worth to me.
I'll move on to my number 3.
Yeah.
Do it up.
All right. My number 3 is Death Note. We talked about it a little bit already. What I'll say about it is that it definitely is a slow burner. L is one of my favorite anime characters of probably all time. So I really want you to watch it.
Yeah, I want to watch it too.
Yeah.
I really do.
I-
I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna watch it this weekend.
Yeah,
Honestly,
entire
it
thing,
might
honestly.
make you want to tattoo either the protagonist or antagonist on
Really?
your body. Yeah. It's one of those.
But here's the thing, though. Like, it's up to you to decide who the protagonist and
You
the
think so?
antagonist is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So, like,
Does it leave it like up in the air to, you know, some people might pick a different side.
yeah,
Because
definitely.
There are
definitely.
some animes that like everybody is pro one character, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So this anime is really depends on like preference on like which side you think is right or like
Yes.
Yeah,
you
throughout the
who,
entire
who
thing.
you
Oh,
think is right, and just who your favorite character is. Because both of these two characters, Light and L, are fantastic.
You're flipping
They are
both sides.
fantastic.
Flip the
No
entire
way.
thing.
That's sick.
Yeah, they are fantastic.
Yeah.
You're flipping sides throughout the whole thing. Even the point of view is flipping sides through certain parts of the anime. And, dude, it's fantastic. Very psychological. Another thing, like, he basically has a power with this notebook. It's just a different way of bringing this power into this guy's world kind of deal.
Yeah.
He even gives it up at one point and
Does
gets
he?
it back. It's crazy.
So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
chooses him in a way.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a drop. That was a drop
You're
right
like,
there.
whoo!
Yeah,
He
yeah,
gave it
yeah.
up and got it back. Dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's
it's
intense.
crazy.
Definitely, if you are gonna watch it this weekend, like, just binge through that.
Yeah,
shit.
I'll binge
simp
it.
over him. Oh my god.
But
dude.
oh my god, yes, yeah. What's her name again?
Waifu or what? Waifu?
Misa.
Kind
Misa.
of no, she's like an annoying.
She's an
Oh,
annoying
okay.
waifu
But, like,
kind of deal,
annoying?
but she's still
she'll
like a
do
waifu.
it.
though.
She'll like literally help him do anything for him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
It's like
okay.
that.
She'll do anything for the
Yeah,
guy.
she'll do
Nice,
anything
nice.
for him.
Yeah, that's all I'll say about Death Note. It's fantastic. I do want to watch the live action one just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Just for the hell of it. Especially because you were saying, too, that, like, if anything, that's probably the best of live action animes that there were. So maybe I'll give it a shot. But, yeah, such a good show. It's a great one.
Yeah,
that's my number 3.
Yeah, I've heard only good things all around, so I think I fell through like the trap, like, oh, this is like too popular, like too mainstream, like everybody talks about it.
Yeah.
So I probably like pushed it off to the side, but definitely on my to-do list.
I'm like that all the time,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I was like that with Stranger Things. I didn't watch it until last year.
Yeah.
A lot of things that were like way too mainstream, I like stayed away from
Right.
for a little while. Also, Death Note was a title I've heard before I even knew what anime was.
Yeah. I think
It's
everybody,
that
I've heard it too, right?
well-known.
Yeah.
It's that well known.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely give it a shot. So number 3.
Yeah.
number 3.
Number 3. So we're just gonna do like a full circle over here because my number 3 and for my first 5, 4, and 3, I kind of did like a different take on it. Very close competitors here. My number 3, I'm gonna go with Hunter x Hunter.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Hunter x Hunter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
The very close competitor was Full Metal.
Okay.
And little side story is that I was telling Frank that Full Metal was like the first anime that I watched, like coming back into the anime game. And like you said, like it gives you everything. And I think that's when I realized like anime isn't what people think it is. Because in my opinion, this was very dark. It was dark. Right? There was a lot
really
of there was a
shady,
lot of darkness involved in that. There was a lot of really crazy fighting scenes, like, that just like kept you wondering, like, what the fuck? Like, this is anime.
Yeah.
Like, this is not cartoons. Like, there are some storylines in this and some fight scenes and some characters that you're not going to be able to replicate in like a real life show or like in any other kind of cartoon.
Yeah.
I think the story itself was well written, and the brotherhood, which was great for manga readers because it followed through the canon, unlike the first one. Animation style was great, and all around I think it's a good starting point. But like people that are trying to go into it like slowly probably shouldn't start off on this anime. They should probably be warned like this is like an intense one.
I think
almost.
this one, this is one of those ones that really like hits your heart. Actually,
Yeah,
a
it
little bit.
does. It's
what they did
intense.
to Kite was absolutely like horrible.
Yeah.
Like this one guy who had such an influence on the main character's father.
Mm-hmm.
They kill him, and they turn him to a puppet, and it's oh man, like I don't want to spoil it any more than that. It's
Hunter x Hunter is definitely going to take my top 3 because, like I said before, like Gon and Killua is probably one of the most celebrated anime characters in history.
Dude, there are designers
They
that
are
put
so
him
badass.
put his face on clothing.
On
Like,
clothing, yeah,
crazy.
he is so badass. Like, I think their friendship and like they're two different kinds of people, and like they're just like best friends, and they just go through. But honestly, similar to what you said though, I wish. It's kind of good and bad because I like what they did with Kurapika. because realistically, when they were on the boat to head over for the hunter exam,
Okay.
they were all on the same level. Like
Yeah.
they had basic skills,
Yeah.
but they weren't hunter material, right? And you would have thought that, like, Gon and Killua were gonna end up on top, but once they went their separate ways, and Killua and Gon went over to go train on their own, and then Leorio, he went to med school. And Killua,
dude, crazy.
Like, Leorio's, he will always be a bozo. He'll always be a bozo.
He's so out of place.
He's got no skills. No skills.
guy is,
he's somehow a hunter.
He's in
but
for the money, bro.
He was literally piggybacking off of like Kurapika, Gon, and Killua's like hard work, like the piggyback.
This is the
But
guy
he
who
made it.
only
He made
gets
it.
chicken fingers and fries at dinner. Like, this is that guy.
But some way somehow he got his hunter exam and he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go I'm gonna go train. He comes back, he's the same bozo. But the plot twist is that when they all like came back together, in reality, Kurapika was the more OP one out of all of them.
I feel like it's because
he literally took down like one of like the toughest spiders.
Yeah. He took down one of the
But
toughest
we
spiders.
don't really get a lot of like his training or like how the fuck he got to that level of skill. We don't really get any
I feel
of
like
that,
it's
right?
because they gave him his resolve so early in the entire series. Like, okay, like his resolve is this. He can only use it against the spiders.
But we don't know like
That's
how it is that because with Gon and Killua, we see them like learn every single step of Ren.
Yeah.
With like Killua, he just comes back and he's a master of Ren.
He comes
And we're like,
back
what the
and
fuck?
you're just like, yeah, I can make you a sandwich.
And
Like,
realistically,
it's
like
ridiculous.
he wasn't really like that flashy during the exam. He didn't really
Very
display like
conservative guy.
any kind of like PO skills.
Yeah.
Overpower skills, I mean. And he just came back and he was a fucking animal. He was like the more skilled out of them all.
Yeah.
And what else was missing out of that show actually? Besides that, I think everything else was pretty well written. The Chimera Ant arc was phenomenal.
Yeah, I
I
thought
hear so much about it.
Phenomenal,
it
dude.
gets a
I'm
lot
not
of
gonna-
backlash.
I'm
really does.
not gonna. Does it get backlash?
Yeah, it does. There's a lot of
Yeah, you
hate
think
towards
so?
like. Well, no, the Chimera Ant arc I thought was phenomenal. I thought it finished great. Like the person you thought who wasn't gonna be like the most harmful was the most harmful.
Yeah.
The butterfly guy. But like after that, right? Like when Gon goes to meet his dad, it was just like, I'm gonna go meet my dad. That's it. Like that's.
But
the,
you know
like,
what pisses me off
that's-
about that
that's
is
the
that
entire series, him
the entire
him his dad.
show, 140 plus episodes or 130 plus episodes, it's about Gon literally training his fucking ass off to go meet his dad, who supposedly is like a high tier hunter.
Dude, this guy's
And we
like
meet him,
Indiana
and
Jones
he's
of the fucking show.
He's kind of a bozo.
Yeah, he's
like,
just
at the
like,
end,
yeah, you got spare money to buy a sandwich?
He's
like,
a deadbeat. Like he's
Yo,
just,
for
he's
So spoke so highly of him.
spoke
and
so
Well,
highly.
but at
Everyone
the-
speaks so
literally
highly. of
everyone
him,
in the entire show,
he's-
like side characters, like C tier characters, like, oh, your dad is like the most
like,
amazing
oh, your
person.
dad's the man.
Yeah.
He's like a has-been. Once you meet him, I'm not going to give too much away, but once you meet him, you can see that like Gon is the more superior,
Yeah.
and it was his resolve to go find his dad with the help of his friend Killua to train and to go through all this shit to find his dad. And at the end, he's like, you know what, like, I didn't have to do this because you suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm better than you.
His dad's
you know?
been dodging fucking child support for years.
It's one of those guys. Yeah, but
Right,
everybody
right.
on the street is like, "Yo, your dad is the man." Like, but
Ridiculous.
I think it ended in a very funny the way it ended. To be honest, it was fucking comedy. It was so funny. Yeah, I'm just gonna let you watch. I think that Chimera Ant arc though did get like super dark. A lot of action in there.
Yes.
And then afterwards,
Lots
what
of
it
people
what
dying.
it was though, it was like it like climax, and then it like went down, and then it was like a
Plateau.
it was a plateau. It kind of went to like a comedy kind of arc, and then after that, it just like ended. But the manga is still going, and it shouldn't have ended where it ended.
Yes,
because we want more of that. Like,
want- Yeah.
it's not enough for
Yeah.
the 100 and whatever
100%.
plus episodes that we watch. It's not enough.
maybe they'll
Absolutely.
bring it back.
Maybe
you think
they
they'll
will.
bring it back?
I mean, it's up to whoever wants to step up to the plate, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
there has to be a a production company that's gonna take the manga and be like, all right, we're gonna finish what wasn't finished.
I
Right?
think they should. From what you
I
guys
think
have been
they should,
telling
but-
me, I think they should.
You know, one complaint that I have with anime is that it takes too fucking long, man. Like, it's already 10 years that this anime has been, you know, remade. So,
Yeah.
You know, if not now, then when?
Well, has the original anime? Oh wait, they couldn't have. 'Cause
Well,
the
no, they
manga still
couldn't have.
continued.
So the original
Right.
anime was in the 90s, I'm pretty sure, and then they remade it. I want to say around like 2011. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Because that's what it says on like Funimation and Netflix.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that ran all the way through, but it stopped at a point that the manga is still going, and no one picked it up yet. So I don't know if we're ever going to see it, or maybe one day, hopefully, but
Right.
still, at the end of the day, great watch.
Okay.
Great watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said,
For sure.
Demon Slayer and Hunter x Hunter were my next two on my list. I wasn't sure which one I was going to watch first. I think Demon Slayer's first, and then definitely Hunter x Hunter
I agree.
afterwards.
Demon Slayer should be first.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Joe, you got a number 3?
Might as well be my number one, honestly, because that's how I feel about like these 3 animes that are coming up. Has
Okay.
anyone heard of an anime called Monster? No.
No.
No. Monster on its own, no.
All right, so it is about a doctor named Kenzo Tenma, and they live in a post-World War II landscape. He goes from Japan to Germany at some point, but we'll talk about that. In the first episode, this man saves a boy's life, and this boy turns out to be like the next Hitler. Like, I have no words to describe it. Like, he is a
Probably
Wow,
feels
okay.
like a scumbag.
He's a
Like,
murderer. He's a killer. He is just horrible.
He saves this person's life, and
He
he's Hitler.
saves this guy's life as a kid, and the guy, the crazy guy, the killer, is so grateful and everything. He's grateful to the doctor, but he's just going around. He's just messing everything up. He has his own agenda, but I don't want to spoil anything because I really want people to watch
what
it.
platform do you watch it on? Like
Crunch-
Netflix,
Crunch-
Kiss Anime?
Country,
Kiss
Kiss
Anime.
Kiss Anime.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
You
Nice.
know, it's
No, because I
just-
want to look into this. Like,
Yeah,
this
this sounds
seems
great.
legit.
Yeah.
Concept.
These are some takeaways.
The concept of this show was so good. It's 74 episodes. It just goes everywhere.
You know your numbers.
I can't even comprehend how crazy it was. Like, the ending was just phenomenal to me. And
Phenomenal in what way? Like cinematic?
Or-
like,
it
Were-
was cinematic.
were-
It was something that made you think.
Like-
So were
Something
you
really
satisfied with the story plot, with the characters that were involved,
all
with
of it,
with
all
the
of it.
progression,
build up,
the-
progression.
you
build
know, the
up.
character development and the ending itself? Were you satisfied all the way through?
What I was most satisfied, yes, but what I was most satisfied with was just the build-up of this character, Johann, who is this murderer, Hitler friggin' type of guy. And these people, these Nazi sympathizers are trying to build him up to be the next Hitler, but he has his own agenda.
Would you say he's like Dio from JoJo,
No,
or worse?
He's his own. He's his own.
Oh, different
monster.
character,
He's literally
different
the
breed.
monster. You know.
Okay.
There's no, and it's crazy. Like, there's explanations for everything. There are plot holes, but it's more or less like they do explain. most
Okay,
of the
okay.
things, either through a flashback, or the whole basis of the show is that this doctor is trying to prove his innocence after
Saving him?
he saved this boy's life, but this boy went around and he just started killing people nearby, and they think the doctor started killing people, so the doctor had to go on the run, and he's just out trying to prove his innocence, but he's not the only one that's kind of seeing this sketchy shit going on with the government, and it's so hard to explain.
How would
I'm not good at explaining it.
side note here? How would you explain like the animation style? I'm trying to
90s,
picture
90s
style?
90s
Okay.
style? Okay.
Is it kind of like Berserk almost? Like
Berserk style
Ooh.
Is it
animation,
Berserk style? Oh, okay.
definitely.
Berserk is a good
In a
one.
way, definitely,
Wow.
yeah.
Didn't even
Yeah.
think
Okay.
about that one today.
There's just so much. Like, I don't even know where to continue with this. It's just so crazy. I'm not really that surprised that you guys haven't heard of it because it's a little under the radar. But Monster is just something else, man. I highly recommend it to anyone who really likes watching anime because it friggin' goes, man. And it's like a slow burner, like Death Note, I would say. There is some action, but that's not the focus of the show, you know?
Yeah.
The focus is the story, the plot. Like, it's really like a murder mystery almost. It's murder mystery, not really a love story, I would say.
Is it very like psychological? Like, does it have you
100%.
thinking
One of the craziest anime. The ending itself is just so psychological and weird and cool and just it's not paranormal or anything like that. It's supposed to be realistic to the
climactic.
Some people say the ending was a little anticlimactic, but once I kind of figured out how, like, what was going on and how it affected everything, I really loved it.
Nice.
Loved it so
All right.
much.
Okay.
Nice.
And that's all I'm really gonna say.
I think you explained it pretty well.
Like,
you did.
Without breaking, like, details.
I'm trying here. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
That was
hard.
good.
It's hard to explain like something when you don't want to spoil it.
Is it very like fictiony in terms of like do they have like supernatural powers?
No, not at all.
No,
I
okay.
would say it's quite realistic.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like stuff
the
like that.
characters have a nice realistic tone to them. Even the monster himself is realistic of what you would expect of a guy like him. That's really all I gotta say.
All right.
That's my
Nice. That's your top one.
That's my number 3. Baby.
That's your number three. Oh, okay.
All right. So we're on number 3. Okay.
Yep.
So I don't think this will cross with anybody else's list here, but my number 3 is Your Lie in April.
Never heard of it.
Me
No?
neither. No.
Nobody. Have you
I
heard of
haven't
it?
watched it yet, but I have.
But you know it about it. Okay, so we were talking about like slice of life stuff. This is by far the only show I've ever seen. Doesn't matter what it is, Disney movie, show, whatever. I will admit that this is the only show that has made me cry.
Yeah?
Really?
Yes. This show, by far, is one of the most like touching shows ever. And like this might be maybe more personal to me. Like, so without like spoiling too much, so the main character is like a classical trained pianist. That's pretty much who I am. Classical trained pianist. He meets this one girl who's like a classical trained violinist. And like he's like, wow, like this is the only girl I could ever like be with, really, and like we don't really match, but somehow she like wiggles her way into there, and so what happens is in the entire series is whenever he plays the piano, he can't hear the keys. He'll play, and then after like a long time or like a few minutes of playing, it's just like it sounds like you're just like stepping into snow. Just like that one sound of you just like that crunch or
Him or the audience?
No, himself.
So
the audience can hear him play.
Deaf.
Not necessarily going deaf. It's just like he becomes so I guess deaf to the scenario.
Okay.
Right? Like he's playing the piano is playing, but he can't hear the sound himself.
Does his like fingers go on like autopilot though? Like
No. It's not like he can play without like just like subconscious playing. He's playing and it just sounds like shit.
Oh, no way.
It's just trash. Absolutely trash. Like he'll play like the most like perfect Chopin piece or Tchaikovsky piece. He'll start going, it sounds phenomenal. But then as like he gets into his own head and it just sounds like garbage.
What the hell, man?
Trash. And like the
What
girl
the hell,
that
man?
yeah, exactly, right? Like
I'd be
what the
pissed
hell?
off.
Like, when he was a kid, like he was like grade A, like he was gonna be like traveling the world. This kid, his mom literally beat him to be perfect. Like think about like your parents beating you to be like grade A. Like why aren't you being good? I'm gonna beat you till you're good. That's exactly what happened to this kid, and I can relate to that shit. But he just like had that whole meltdown, and he meets this one girl who changes his life, and then this one girl like forces him into it, and then like something happens to the girl. I don't want to spoil it. By far, this is one of the like top animes I will ever. It's really short too. It's not too long. It's really like one season. That's it, and it's all about music.
All music oriented.
All music oriented.
Say, yeah.
All like classical music oriented.
Yeah.
And it literally makes you want to sit down at your piano and be like, "Fuck yeah!" Like,
right.
It's totally worth the watch, and it'll make you cry. I promise.
Yeah, and like I said, like I always like to sprinkle in like a slice of life, like here in between like anime. So
this is it.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a good one.
Mm-hmm. This is it. This is it for sure.
For sure.
100%.
What is it called again?
Your Lie in April.
Okay. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. It's worth it.
Seems very deep.
Yeah, it's really deep. It's to the point where like I pulled out the sheet music, like not even the song that they learned, like the real classical pieces.
Yeah.
I pulled out just their like soundtrack pieces, like they're all like like their intro pieces.
Oh yeah.
Or like there's stuff like that. I learned all of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I
love
it's
that.
worth it.
That's great.
It's worth it.
And you know, a side note here, and why like other people should really start getting into like watching animes is because like I feel like there's a big like, you know, creativity gap between, you know, animes like that and like real life shows. Like, you know, these shows are so creative in their plots.
Yeah.
And it could be something so simple as that, like a, you know, a slice of life.
Yeah,
and they can, and you know,
small.
it's just something like that. That's a short show could like you probably have like such an impact, you know, enough to make it on your top 3, your top 2. And we don't really see that much, honestly, nowadays in modern like TV, real life TV, right?
I would agree with you with that. Yeah, absolutely.
I think this is one of like by far the most realistic animes that I've seen that can apply to someone else's life. So this is totally worth the watch.
All right.
I could like vouch for this.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah,
this
I'm
is
glad,
like a personal anime that I'm willing to share with people. Like this literally made me cry, and I guarantee it'll make someone else cry. So fucking watch this shit.
Now, would you suggest this to someone that is just getting into anime, or someone that's been into anime and be like, hey, you want some real shit? Watch this.
Okay, so yes. Okay, if they've been into anime,
Yeah.
and they obviously like they know what the world is like in the anime world, this is something I would recommend. If it's someone that's new to it, probably not. I think this would be something that would, unless this was their type, this was their flavor, right? Like
Yeah.
I have like a music background.
Yeah.
You know, like unless they had like a music background that they could like resonate with this anime, I don't think that this would be for them. I think this honestly might turn away from them unless they're very into their like maybe feels and they can like understand emotion and like can pull that out for this.
Right.
Unless that, no shot, not happening.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I like that one a lot, actually. That's
Cool.
a good
Thanks.
one.
Appreciate that.
All right. My number 2 is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It was at my number 1 for not that long of a time, actually, because I just went from anime to anime to anime. But it was my number 1 at one point. What a fantastic show, man.
Fantastic.
Oh man.
Like,
yeah.
so
Oh,
fantastic, so wholesome. And, you know, the ending was very wholesome, too. And, you know, going through the series, I didn't think it was going to be such a great ending, to be honest with you.
I didn't think so either.
But it ended up being great. You know? The music is fantastic in it. I have a anime music playlist on YouTube, and I have at least 4 or 5 of their songs from the soundtrack on there, so that heavily influences my spot for the number 2. You know, the Elric brothers, man. They are
Powerful duo.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Powerful
dude.
duo.
That's another peanut butter jelly type.
That's another
Powerful duo.
PB&J.
That's
Yeah.
it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you hear Full Metal and you know about the Eldritch brothers.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
brothers.
Edward is one of the most celebrated, you know.
I think so
main
too.
characters. Yeah,
I think so too. Yeah. He's one of the more memorable, if you will,
yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
characters
Yeah.
out there. And you know, the Fuhrer, man, what an amazing character. I think he's an amazing character.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. He's fantastic. I just love the part where like him and they fought on the train.
Kimberly.
Yeah, Kimberly. Yeah, they fought on the train. The Fuhrer goes away for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, the good guys are like in the lead. They're about to win the battle, and then all you hear from the microphone or whatever it is, "I'm back," and it's the Fuhrer fucking running up with his fucking swords, and he's just ready to go, ready to fight.
How about Scar, man? Scar was a cool character.
Oh, Scar's fantastic.
His
Scar.
transition as a character was something.
Scar's transition was fantastic. He reminds me of a Terminator-esque kind of character. He has a target, he's going to go after them and kill him. And who wasn't he able to kill? Fucking Edward Elric, which was kind of awesome. And they ended up teaming up together, which I thought was fantastic too.
And I think like the powers that they have in terms of like alchemists, like going back to like the uniqueness that some of these animes have when it comes to like giving these characters powers.
Yes.
I've never seen anything like that before.
No.
That was so cool, dude. It was so cool.
So cool. And even the villains, their background with what was it? The 7 Deadly Sins?
Yeah.
I thought that was fantastic.
Thought that was fantastic too.
What a great thing to go off of.
I even like the
make
fact
powers.
that one of the villains kind of like, turned cheek like towards the end. Who was it?
Are you talking about Envy, maybe?
It was Envy.
Envy.
It was Envy.
Yeah.
It was Envy. He had like, a positive like ending.
Yes.
Right? And I just think like, those incorporating like the 7 deadly sins like as villains and fighting all of them off was ridiculous. Especially that one scene, and I remember watching this and I was like, what the fuck was this? It was when the guy that had like he had like the fire alchemist.
Oh, Colonel Mustang, right?
Colonel
Yeah,
Mustang, when he
Colonel
destroyed who was it? Was it
girl?
was it Lust?
Lust, yeah.
It was Lust, right?
yeah,
It was
Lust,
Lust.
yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Destroyed her. That scene was incredible.
And then he almost also destroyed towards the end. Who did he almost destroy? He kept on snapping his fingers at him. Am I thinking of something
Was
different?
that not Envy?
Was it Envy?
I don't think it was Envy.
No,
Envy
I
had
think that's
Envy had
someone
a
else.
couple of lives, honestly.
Wait.
he had a good run. Like he just kept on reviving himself. Like
Oh yeah.
right?
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, it's been a while since, like I said, like Full Metal was like the first anime that I watched that brought me back into the game after years.
Oh, okay. Right.
Right.
I
So
remember you saying that.
I
yeah.
thought it was phenomenal. I think that, like you said before, it just gives you everything that you're possibly looking for, right? It gives you, character progression. It gives you a beautiful story with the brothers, right? Alphonse and Edward. And it also, like, the darkness that
It did have its darkness.
it had its darkness.
It did.
And that's when you realize, like, all right, this is what anime is and what could be.
Yeah.
And this isn't no child shit. Like,
No.
this isn't a cartoon.
Not
This
at
is
all.
like real storytelling.
Yeah.
So I think that's what really opened the door. I recommend it for someone that has a stomach for it,
Yeah.
and that's watched similar things. Phenomenal show all around.
I would put that as one of the staples.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
it would be.
I think that's one of the
Yeah,
staples.
it is.
I mean, I would say the same now that I've watched it. I don't know if I would have said that
At the
not
time?
watching. Yeah, not at the time, just because one of the only things I've really heard of was like Death Note at the time. I've never really
Okay.
heard
Right.
of Full Metal Alchemist or whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
But I will say my second waifu would be Edward's girl.
Oh, Winry?
Winry.
Winry.
Ooh.
It's fine. I like Winry a lot. So,
Who's, man?
You gotta have them here. Like, oh,
Yeah,
she's
absolutely.
badass.
yeah, Winry was awesome, I think, in the show.
You have the
Yeah.
sickest
She's cool.
memory, dude. Like you're like
This
we'll
kid's a
just
seasoned
look at you.
anime watcher, man.
We'll look
Like,
at you and be like, yeah, what's that one
This
thing he
kid's
said that
seasoned.
one season? Oh yeah, it's this, and it just
He was trying to bullshit us in the beginning.
Yeah,
He's like, yo, I've only watched
like
like
he
2
doesn't know.
animes. Like,
Guys,
wait,
the fucking
wait,
dictionary.
he's
No,
like,
you-
nah, bro, I only watched like 5 animes.
I realistically don't know how many I watched. I don't know about you guys. If you guys...
I couldn't put a number on it.
Yeah,
Couldn't put a number on
nah,
it.
I don't remember. I honestly, after a while, you think back and like, I should probably watch that again.
Yeah.
Because like,
yeah.
you watch so many and like, you just like really forget like what happens.
Details, right? The small
Details,
things.
yeah, you miss the small things. So there's a lot like after this, like I'm probably going to consider going back and watching for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
for sure, for sure.
It annoys me that I already forgot some things from like Full Metal or like Jojo, and it does make me want to go back and watch them again, because they were just so good. It's like almost like a sin to me that I forgot certain things of it.
If we're gonna talk about
It's
it,
just
you might
like-
know, you want to, you want to know about.
Yeah,
it,
right.
And
Exactly.
you know what's the crazy saying about that is like, you'll sometimes like forget like exactly, exact things that happened, but you'll never forget how it made you feel.
Yes.
When you were watching it, right?
You'll
and
never
like,
forget
You'll never
that.
forget
Right.
it. And like I know when I was watching it, I was like, this is fucking phenomenal.
Yes.
So I definitely got to go revisit like a couple animes that we've mentioned and watch it again.
100%.
Yeah, that'd be a great
and
refresher.
new ones that we've all mentioned.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, exactly.
At least for me so far, it's been pretty eye opening with some of the animes that you guys have been explaining and shit like that.
Of the ones that you've been hearing from us, trust me, like you're not gonna miss with anything that we've said.
And you could probably see a trend. Like we already, we haven't really had like any head bumping so far all night. Like
I want to bump heads.
At some point in time, I wanted to bump heads. I hope once we get into the ones and twos, we will.
Yeah.
But realistically, our lists like are kind of like starting to like intertwine a little bit. Like we're mentioning a lot of things.
Really
so yeah, it's a good sign.
Right,
absolutely.
We can totally watch anime together.
Yeah.
100%. I'm down.
All right, Sway, you're on to your number 2.
Number 2. All right, so enough of the bullshit. Having to pick sides and stuff. Straightforward. You guys know what the deal is. Attack on Titan is number 2.
No, wow, that's your number 2.
Titan is on my number 2.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right. Okay, so
and
I know
what?
Okay, go ahead.
I love this because someone that hasn't watched anime and they jump, nosedive right into Attack on Titan, they'll be like, what the fuck is this? And why did you send me to watch this, right?
Yeah.
But no, this is the first one that I recommend them to watch. I've already converted 4 friends into the anime realm just off Attack on Titan. And as soon as they got through like, oh, what the fuck is this big thing is eating? As soon as they got through that, they're like, dude, I need to read the manga. I was like, what do you mean read the manga? They're like, dude, I finished season 4 yesterday. I'm like, it's only been like 3 days. They ran through the entire thing. I've had 4 people that their first anime was Attack on Titan. They ran through the entire thing in the first like 3 days. I think, in my opinion, Captain Levi is one of the most influential.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
one of the most influential. Literally not even the main character of the anime. One of the most influential characters in anime history.
Yeah.
He could tell me to jump off a cliff, and I'd be like, that's a great idea.
I'd do it. He is so badass. We get a backstory on him.
Yes.
We see like his almost like a character development in a way. Like we just see like his level of skill. Like he is just natural skill.
Yeah, dude.
And he's just so smooth.
He like breathes like the lifestyle. He just
breathes swag. Like I don't know what it is with Captain Levi, but like
does. And he's so stern and everything like that. He like whatever comes out of his mouth, he's thought about and like he knows precisely what to do and shit like that.
And what I love about that, and you guys are all caught up with Attack on Titan, right?
So I am not because I am refusing to watch.
Explain it.
I will explain. All right, because I talked to you about this before the podcast.
You did.
All right, so I only watch animes in English.
Really?
I do, and the reason because of
crazy,
this,
right?
Really,
the reason because of this is because I don't mind hearing them talking Japanese and everything like that. I don't like the fact that I have to concentrate more on the subtitles more than what's actually going on in the scene.
You're concentrating the entire time.
Yes.
But I mean, I hear what you're saying 100% because sometimes like I'll run an episode, I could turn my back for a second and hear what's going on. I could turn back and I don't have to go back because I heard what was happening.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have to see the scene.
Even though that's not me on an anime though, my eyes are glued on that anime. Yeah. But that's just me, and it takes me out of it a little bit. It does take me out of it, and that's not like I love being swarmed in the culture of it all. I really do. I love it. Like I appreciate the Japanese culture so much because they make so much great content for us to watch and everything like that. What's up?
This is by far probably the longest podcast we've done.
Maybe. Yeah.
You think so?
I just want to say, I think it.
Yeah, it might be. We might be setting a record here.
That's awesome. I love to hear that shit. Yeah, I love to hear that shit. Are you kidding me?
I could keep going.
I could keep on going all night, to be honest with you.
This is great. I mean,
this is fantastic. We have great
We're really
content.
going at it.
100%.
But let me tell you something, though, Frank.
Okay.
It's going to get to a point where
let me tell you something.
You don't have a choice.
So, all right. So listen to this. I hope I'm getting what you mean by that, because we got to a point in season 4 where it's done with the English as of right now, and Japanese has like maybe 4 or 5 episodes ahead. So, me, Joe, my other friend Chris, were like, fuck, man. Like, all right, fuck it. Just put on the next episode in Japanese.
Yeah.
Whatever. We watched it in Japanese. I wasn't taken out of it fully, but I am still going to wait for the English episodes to come out.
Fair. Well, the good thing is that for every new episode in Japanese, the last one comes out in English.
My problem...
You know what I mean?
My problem with animes is that they should release the English and Japanese version of the same episode the same day.
It would probably take... Because the Japanese version will always come out first.
Yeah, it's always first.
And it probably has to do with a lot of the translating.
Respectfully,
I feel like it's rights issues.
Respectfully,
maybe.
it should be that way. Because it's
their content.
It's their content.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
But it's still
still they have,
because
like,
you want to know what?
English
I go on
viewers.
YouTube without searching anything. I'll get spoiled shit.
Yeah.
And it's annoying.
A bunch of shit. It sucks.
It's annoying.
It's like, honestly, and that's the problem with Attack on Titan. Like I told you, I fell deep through the fucking rabbit hole because I just needed to know more. You got to stay away from social media when it comes to Attack on Titan on episode day.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be spoilers. Like that right now is like top dog in anime is Attack on Titan.
My problem is I listen to Attack on Titan music, so that's probably why it pops up on my algorithm feed.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Which sucks.
It sucks.
Like, yeah, Aaron did this, and you're like, fuck. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
I didn't want to see this.
Yeah. Exactly.
I wouldn't let Frankie use my YouTube at all.
Whenever we're on his PS5 or whatever, and we go and and we go on
Got some
YouTube,
content?
Joe's like, Frank, don't look. I'm like, all right, I'm not looking right now, because he looks up stuff for Attack on Titan and stuff like that. And like, obviously, those spoilers are gonna appear right on the feed.
And you know what's so crazy is like in my Discord, right, where we like game and like watch anime and stuff like that, and we have one of my buddies. He's like you. He wants to watch it in English, and he's also in the way that he doesn't want to watch all of it and then just be like, fuck, I need more. Like, he wants to wait until they're all out, and then he could just binge them.
Yeah.
And it'll get to the point where, like, everyone else is caught up in the Discord on Attack on Titan. So we're all talking shit, and he'll, like, pop in like, hey, what's up, guys? And someone will be like, yo, can you believe Aaron did this? He leaves, like, right away. And you're like, yo, did you see what you did? Like, he fucking left. And he's like, text him back and tell him to come back in. But, no, it's like that. I mean, and that's, it should be like that. It should be like, sub and dub should come out at the same. But I think if it were to go that way, it would just take way too much long for episodes to come out.
I agree with you.
Yeah. It would be like an episode like every 3 weeks.
The only time I ever watch dub is if I'm doing something else. So then I can listen to it. But at that point, I've already seen it. So it's just running in the background.
Yeah.
That's just like my personal thing.
Now my thought process is, all right, maybe I should just watch all of them in Japanese.
I mean,
see
like,
if I
I'm not
get
trying to
used
call it
it.
original.
Honestly, that's
not discounting you.
No, not at all. Because,
I'm not thinking that.
Going back to what I said is like, there's gonna be a time where, I mean, you'll get lucky and you'll be able to find dub, for the show that you want to watch. Like, for example, I had to watch for the Chimera Ant arc in Hunter x Hunter. It was all sub. I was lucky enough to find it in dub, and I watched the entire show through in dub. So I was like, nice. But there's gonna be a time where you won't have a choice. If you want to watch that show, you're gonna have to do it in sub.
Yeah.
But it's not that bad. I mean, it takes a little getting used to, but like after the first couple of episodes, you'll be like, all right, this is not that bad.
I think I just need to get used to it.
You got to get used to it.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna
force
myself to watch the rest of the episodes of Attack on Titan so far in Japanese.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I know in the back of the mind I could always watch them in English later.
Yeah. Tell you what though, where Attack on Titan is right now in English dub, you're gonna want to keep on going.
I know.
You're going to want to keep on going.
I know.
You're just going to say, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to keep on going, and I'm going to watch it in sub.
The last episode in English, until Sunday.
Yeah.
Eren pops the fuck out.
Yep.
In front
That's
of the
it.
whole crowd.
Bro, that's fucking
and
it.
it's like, this is where we're fucking leaving
Yeah,
off at?
this is it.
Oh,
Like,
there's
you know what I
this
mean?
is
like
fucking it.
4 or 5 episodes more.
Yeah,
No, I
you
know,
got like,
I
you got like
know,
4 or
yeah.
5 to go. So
like-
once you get to that point, you're like, all right, fuck it. Let me just watch it and sub.
Oh,
And you'll get used to
man,
it. You really
dude,
will.
like,
You
it,
really
like,
will.
Oh,
It's like at least you're not like in like a filler like episode gap
No,
where
there's
like you have to.
no
watch
I
fillers.
wouldn't
it
think
sub
there's
anyway.
any filler
There's no
episodes.
fillers in
Yeah,
Attack on
yeah,
Titan.
yeah.
There's
there's
no
no
fillers.
time
wouldn't
for
think
that.
No
Last
fillers.
season.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no time.
exactly,
There's no
exactly.
time. The one thing I don't want to get too deep in this because I love Attack on Titan. I will say though, manga is a little bit more detailed. We get a lot more background on Zeke, a lot more on Zeke,
Really?
and Zeke is supposedly, put it this way, I'm not going to spoil too much, but if I were to compare Zeke to like a villain, Zeke is pretty much like Thanos.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Zeke has a fucking
He's
powerhouse
got,
of an arm.
He's got a ridiculous ideology that is very similar to Thanos, very similar to Ultron.
No
And
way,
yeah,
really?
Yeah, Zeke. Hell
There
yeah.
are Jaegers that I didn't even know they were Jaegers.
Yeah. Zeke, you're gonna
What?
find out. And the thing is that I was able to find this out about Zeke is
glad that
because
happened.
I went through the manga and I went to his backstory. I was like, fuck, like Grisha really fucked this guy up. So, you know, I would have loved a little bit more background on Zeke. I remember, you know, we have a lot from like his childhood, like from when Grisha was in Marley, raising Zeke with Dina. Not even, you know, we don't have that before he came to Paradis. We only have what happened there with Eren and what he did to Eren and then sent Eren off. But in the manga, we get a lot more background on Grisha's time in Marley, raising Zeke and like how Zeke grew up. But we don't really get that in the anime, which is not that big of a deal. It's okay because the anime is still phenomenal. But if you go back and you read a little bit more on like everyone's backstory,
I think it's still a big deal.
It is a big deal. It is. It's like, you know, realistically, we know that this is the last season. They advertise that, right?
Yeah, it's literally like the final season.
Right. It's literally, they say the final season. You know, I'm not going to put too many spoilers out there, but realistically, based off what is on the manga, we should have at least like 40 plus episodes
I
left.
said the same thing.
But
man.
there's not going to be that many. They're going to really compact it up, and it's a shame.
That
But
is
I
a
hope
shame.
that they're able to really put a lot of content in there and not like pointless dialogue. You know how in some
Yeah,
episodes are
yeah.
like, you know, I will say last episode was trash, pointless dialogue.
Really?
And you'll have those episodes, but with the amount of content that is left in the manga, I really hope that they're able to squeeze as much as they can with the episodes that are left in Attack on Titan. Because this is the last season. This is all we got.
Yeah.
My brother thought the first couple of episodes, not the first episode, because the first episode had some pretty good action in it and whatnot, but a couple of the episodes were trash, pointless. But I disagree because it's showing how the Marleyans live and everything like that, making them seem like the good guys also and everything of
Right.
that nature. And you know, also the backstory of how I keep on saying it wrong. It's Reiner, right?
Reiner. Yeah, Reiner.
How Reiner and Berthold, how they went over to Parody and everything like that.
Yeah.
And one of the best lines, two great lines in that, two great lines that I love. One of them is Eren saying, "We're gonna do the same thing that you did to us."
Yeah.
That's a great part.
And when he was shaking his hand, he literally said like, "Me and you are exactly the same."
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna keep on going forward.
Yeah. Right.
That's it. And you know what? Honestly, when Willie Tybur was doing his speech, in my head I was like this could stop like right here, like this could end right.
Yeah.
It really can. Like, you know, Eren doesn't have to be there. He could just literally like what happened. Just if you want peace, just go back home.
Yeah.
You know. But then Willie fucked up, and he's like, "No, we're gonna keep on going. We're gonna take the founding Titan." And literally, when Eren heard that, he's like, "All right, like you guys will never change,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna stop, like because if it's not you, it's us."
Yeah.
And it's a shame, but that's the reality of it, right?
It is
Wow,
a reality.
yeah.
That's like, if you could like really round it down, that's exactly what the story was.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Nice.
And
That's good.
and I was like, literally, I was thinking to my head after the episode, I was like, you know, and the saying is like you live long enough to see like the hero become a villain. I was thinking to myself like, I I love Eren. Like, I celebrate him a lot, but like, I think he's wrong here. Like, he shouldn't be in Marley. I think he should just go home and take his loss. But after, you know, Willie said that and everyone in Marley was celebrating that, I'm all for Eren doing what he's doing right now. Because at the end of the day, if he were to just tuck tail and go home, they're just going to, you know, what's going to happen is, you know, Gabby's going to take the armored and she's going to go fuck up Paradis because she's already brainwashed because she will do it. And she's a sick fuck. Reiner's a bitch compared to Gabby.
Yeah. Well, Rainer's fucking fucked
sucks.
up in the head.
Yeah, fucked up in the head.
Gabby will fuck you and then take your socks.
Yeah, take your socks. And
shit.
she won't even have any kind of split personality to sort of just sleep beautiful at night.
Yeah,
like Reiner was fucked up mentally.
Sick in the head.
Yeah.
Sick in the head.
So honestly, you know, I thought about it, but then I'm like, I'm on Team Paradis with this. Like, Marley sucks.
Marley does.
Marley suck.
Marley does suck.
They suck.
I never.
Paradis didn't even know that Marley existed.
Exactly.
No, dude,
exactly.
Well, like, that's kind of not their fault though, because they were all like they got their memories wiped and shit. So like, it's not really their fault.
Well, that was on that was because of King Fritz.
Yeah.
Because he built the walls for one separate reason, and it was because of that.
Yeah.
But like the thing is that realistically, and what a lot of people don't think about is that Berthold, Annie, and Reiner were like 12 years old when they showed up to the walls.
Yeah, they just like showed up like, yo, we're gonna take this place over.
What the fuck? Like, we, you know, once we saw in episode 1, we're like, what the fuck is this just destroying everything? Those were like literally 12-year-olds. Like, they were probably brainwashed by Marley government, brainwashed by their ideologies there. They have no explanation, no reason why to go infiltrate over there. They're just sent on a mission and they fucked everything up.
Yeah.
And they still have that. They still have that mentality to this day, according to Willie's speech.
I never switched sides from Eren to the Marlians.
Really?
Yeah, never. No. I mean, I was never buying. I was not buying it. Like, they could show as much backstory and they could show as much point of view to the Marlians as they want. I was always on Team Eren. Because, realistically, the Colossal Titan and the fucking Armored Titan killed millions of fucking people by opening that wall. There's no forgiveness in that.
There is no forgiveness. And then slept in the same bed, ate the same exact food, no remorse. I mean, Reiner was fucked up mentally. Berthold, no remorse. Annie, no remorse.
Yeah.
They did it.
And Berthold fucking always worried and shit like that. You would have never expected it either. But at the same time, you know, like, crazy shit. So
I think all in all, when it comes to Attack on Titan, it's fantastic storytelling.
Yeah,
like
it is
the way that they really, like, we didn't know shit in the beginning, and we're watching all of these episodes, and it just unfolds, and it's plot twist after plot twist, and fantastic show.
Yeah,
definitely number 2 for me.
How about going back and rewatching Attack on Titan? Isn't that something else? After reading the manga, especially.
Yeah. Something else.
Something else, man.
It really is. You're like, you pick up on so much shit.
Yeah.
There's a scene actually, and
I hope it's the same one.
It was the one where they're at like the tower, and Amir is the only Titan protecting the scouts.
But you see
Berthold was about
to fight.
I can't do it.
I saw that clip on YouTube. I'm like, how did I miss that?
I was like, yeah, you fucking take the hand back, boy.
Yeah,
like you're in this entire thing. Oh my god.
I told you to pay close attention.
No, I know.
Like, what the fuck, man?
Ridiculous, man.
And you know what's funny is that my boys that I put on to Attack on Titan, they already went back and watched it a second time. I haven't even done that yet. That's how invested they are with this show.
I'm gonna.
I think it's great. Yeah, I'm gonna do it again.
Once this is over, I'm gonna.
The entire thing.
Watch it over again. Yeah,
I will too.
It's worth.
It's worth it.
Yeah,
it's worth it.
Yeah.
I watched it too many times already, man.
Did you?
I've been leading these guys through the show forever, man.
Yeah, it's true.
Fantastic show.
Yeah.
What a guide.
Yeah.
What a guide.
Number 2.
Let's do it, Joe.
ReZero.
That's your number 2?
That's your number 2?
Life in Another World, baby.
Wow.
I love that anime, man.
That's good stuff.
ReZero?
No, you told us a little bit about it, but
dude, ReZero is such a mindfuck. Here, go ahead. That's your number 2.
Let me hear that one. That's your number 2, man.
You get transported to another world. Well, we, meaning Natsuki Subaru, gets transported to another world. Everything's fucking different. Nobody knows. I mean, he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. he later on that day he gets into a situation where I believe he got stabbed in an alleyway, right? In the first episode, he dies. He comes back. He's like a little bit like earlier in time. He literally comes back like a save point, like a respawn point kind of deal. And they kind of center the show around this character trying to fix things that are. Some of these things are just unfixable. You can't fix some of these things.
You can't change the way it's supposed to be. But go ahead.
It's something else, man. My waifu Amelia's there, like my other.
Oh man, there's like 5 waifus in this damn show.
Characters are good. I watched the movie.
Oh yeah, me too.
It was good.
Okay, it actually pertains like now.
Oh,
it's like catching up now.
Crazy thing is, I haven't even like finished season 2 yet. I was so hyped for season 2. I ended up waiting for the full thing to come out. I was pushing for Joe Lupo to watch season 2, and I didn't even finish it yet. And then he tells me next time I saw him, and he was like, "I watched season 2. It was one of the greatest things I've ever seen."
Dude, it's so good.
The style of that anime, Frankie, is called like an isekai anime. Isekai anime. Where the main character is transported to another world, and this world's like a total fantasy, magic, like kind of world. And this guy, I don't want to call him a loser because he's a cool guy, but he's a little bit of a loser. Subaru.
He's kind of like a deadbeat, but like he's a deadbeat that knows how to play video games. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and the twists and the turns are great. It kind of fleshes out. The show fleshes itself out more and more, kind of like Attack on Titan-esque, maybe. How do I explain this? Maybe Attack on Titan-esque isn't really the words that I should be using for it, because that's something else entirely. Man.
Yeah, that's a different breed.
But you every time this man goes back in his respawn points, you just learn more and more, and like you see so many different point of views of the same day at certain points.
That's cool.
You see bad endings, you see good endings. It's like
so like think of playing a video game, right? And you don't beat like the boss that you're supposed to go fighting against. So what do? You go do something else to level up an experience, right? So he does literally every single option that is out there, and he does it all. If he dies at that point, he just goes back and does something else. So like literally an octopus head that just has like tentacles that go out in every direction. And then once he reaches a point that works, that's the new octopus head, and it just goes out again.
I love that way of explaining it, man. That was awesome.
That's like if I had to wait, like thanks. That's literally the
interesting.
Best way to do it.
Okay.
Because like there's so many alternate endings to every solution that he finds. So yeah, it might work that way, but like think of fate, right? Like okay, so fine, like you did it this way, there's gonna be repercussions. Yeah. And you just have to find out which one is the least worst. And then he just goes on and keeps going.
All right.
I wouldn't say...
I like that. No, I like that a lot, actually.
I wouldn't say I suggest it to you, not because it's phenomenal. It's my number 2, you know? I don't know if it's your style, but I feel like you could get into it.
It sounds interesting. I think I would like it.
It's really good. Joe Lupo put me onto this one.
Okay.
Yeah, so this one's like... It's worth.
Shout out to Joe Lupo on the podcast.
Shout out to Joe Lupo.
I wish he was here right now.
Podcast.
Yeah, right?
Shout out to Joe Lupo on the podcast.
Oh man, that's really all I have to say. I'm not really trying to spoil anything.
Yeah, it's like without revealing too much, whatever we have revealed so far is the gist.
Yeah.
It's literally just like the skin of the body. Like there's so much more to this.
Gotcha. All right. I like it.
Yeah. Trust.
That's probably my number 3 on my watch list.
Perhaps watch it tonight.
Perhaps. Quite perhaps.
It's already midnight, but whatever.
Midnight, holy shit.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh shit! It is.
Frank, this is the longest.
We're moving.
Boys, congratulations! High five.
Let's fucking go.
Come over here, Joe.
It's honestly a pleasure.
Wow.
Yes.
It's crazy that we've done this.
All right, Hardy,
So
you're
it's
number 2.
My number 2? Okay.
I'm going to use the bathroom real quick.
Okay.
Frank,
I want to
can I get a
say
hit of
this
that real
actually
quick?
before you leave.
Thanks,
I want to
bud.
say this before you leave.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I know that you're a fan of
Thank
this
you.
one. My number 2, and the only reason it's my number 2 is because it hasn't continued so far, but I know where it is because this is the only manga that I've read to its extent, and it's Tower of God.
Oh my god, I just watched that. I just started watching that.
This dude's a veteran on his. I swear to God. You're
love
killing
that
me in the
first
list, I
season
swear.
of
Okay, yo, so the first
Let me see
season
this.
is amazing.
Yeah.
But it's literally like, I'm sorry, you've just been drinking decaf coffee the entire time. It's literally literally smoking CBD only for the majority of your life to this point.
Whoa.
Because where it goes and where the protagonist goes,
This looks badass.
I will promise you, like, he defeats every type of plot armor or like expectation you think of a main character. He goes so much further than you expect him to go, and then he breaks the barrier. He breaks the ceiling again.
That's like
How many episodes?
Isn't it?
How many episodes? It's only one season because I don't know why they stopped doing the anime, but the main writer of the manga, it goes like 400 something chapters, but something happened to his back where he stopped writing. So like
No way.
so weird.
Fuck.
He couldn't stand up and start writing or something. I don't know. I don't want to diss him and like his struggle. He's doing a fantastic job writing this manga.
Yeah.
But like this manga, it's in color by the way, webtoons. Like this is the one that I like literally would stay up and read every night because it was so good.
So, do you think that the manga matches the anime?
Yes, it does.
Or you get
Yes,
a little
it
bit
does.
more from the manga?
Like the first season of the anime doesn't even break the first chapter. Doesn't even
Oh,
not the
shit.
first chapter. Doesn't even break like the first like main part of what's going on. Like there's so much to talk about. Like
you think they could pick up the anime again, or?
I hope they do.
How long
I
has it
really
been?
hope they do. It's been I think maybe like 8 months.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
8 months
that
to a
long.
year.
I think they could do it.
I think they could do it.
Yeah,
I think they could do
totally
it.
could.
Yeah,
They
totally
could.
Totally.
It's just like, holy shit! Like what goes on and like where I am right now and where he is. So, you've seen it, right?
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, so you know, do you understand like the floors?
Mhm.
How like the tower works? The floors? How the tower works?
No.
Oh, have you seen it? You've seen it before, have you not?
Tower of God?
Yeah, Tower of God. We've talked about this. I think you told me before that you've seen this one. And, like you asked me, like you said you've watched the first season, and you were like we were wondering.
No.
No?
No.
Okay. So this is another one of those things, kind of like isekai, but it's in its own world a little bit. So there's floors, right? And they have to climb this tower. And like the legend is, if they climb this tower, they can have anything that they want. So he doesn't really care much about the tower, not at all. He's what's called like an irregular, and like that gets fulfilled if you. I mean, not fulfilled, but like those questions will answer if you watch the anime. Ban. Right. His name is the 25th Ban. Right, like whose name is the 25th Ban? Like whose name is the? So like that's just another question. And like the 25th what? Like what's a bomb? Whatever. If you read it, it really goes on further to explain who he is and like where he comes from, what his lineage is, why he's related to the main story, how he's related to the tower, and Jesus Christmas. I don't want to spoil too much, but this is definitely something of an anime that has potential to be one of the greatest animes if they just continue it.
So you're telling me they have to reach the top of this tower?
They don't have to, I mean, like, yeah, they have to reach the top of the tower, but like where they've progressed into the story, it's just so climactic at every corner.
Is there fighting?
Tons of it.
What kind of like fighting style is it?
Like to the point where it's like kind of like martial arts, really. Like it's like super, like he gets trained in a certain type, but like everyone has like their own special thing. Cause like, okay, so like not to spoil too much, but there's these people called like they're like the princesses of Jihad, right? And the Jihad is like technically like the king of the tower, right? And he has like these certain princesses he gives them like special swords, and like they have special swords per like every month of the year. So like there's like I think it's called like the Black April. Oh, no, it's Green April, right? There's Green April, and it has like a certain attribute, and it does like different things. And basically, these princes of Jihad are all trying to kill each other to become like Jihad's wife. But like, plot twist, he doesn't even want any of them. He just wants them to all kill themselves so he can give them new, what's it called? He wants them to be just different girls. He doesn't give a shit about those princesses at all. He just wants them to kill themselves, go crazy, trying to collect all these swords from each other, and then new princesses are born. He doesn't give a shit about them at all. So like that's just like one small thing out of the entire series.
So Bond's premise for climbing the tower is to chase the girl who was his childhood friend, right?
Okay, so that girl brought him out of the darkness, right? Because like he was like stuck in an area. He was literally just like staring at the ceiling, like, what the fuck am I doing here? And you'll find out why he's there, right? Because do you care?
Oh, you can say whatever.
Oh, okay. So so everyone that's in the tower is trying to like climb the tower, but his mom was part of the first people to actually defeat the tower. So his mom and Jihad were actually together. Jihad liked his mom, but his mom didn't like Jihad. So like there was like a whole like thing going on. So she was trying to escape the tower. So she was one of the only people to actually leave the tower, and that's how he got to where he is right now, like out of like in the nothing, but she left him there. So like he's trying to chase that one girl, but that one girl knows the truth about him. Yeah, and he's like, fuck him. He should not be the chosen one. I don't give a shit if he fucking dies. And the entire time she's putting on that fake act while he's trying to chase her and like wants to like basically fall in love with her the entire time. But she refuses.
Man just wants some love.
Yeah, he just wants some fucking
And this is
love.
just one part of the story.
This is just literally one part of the story.
I remember you telling me about this because I think I compared it to Judge Dredd, where he has to go to the top of the tower. I think I remember us talking about this.
Yeah,
but I didn't watch it yet. Yeah.
If you were to compare it to like animation style, what would you compare it to?
Oh man, it's like so like it's kind of unique in its own way. It's really kind of unique in its own way. The lines are very definitive.
It kind of when I looked it up, it kind of looks almost like Code Geass a little bit.
Ooh, Code Geass. Is it like that? Kind of, but not really.
Not really?
It really is its own. It really is its own
Okay.
art style. It's hard to like compare it to something else. It's really its own art style.
Okay.
So
It looks good. If
like aside from like the art and like if that's something that draws you in, that's great. The story is even greater.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
hard
for
stuff
some
number
reason,
two.
like the way that you described it, I think that might be like one of like the first ones that I think I'm gonna take on, like even before like Death Note.
If
or anything like that.
as far as
sounds
some,
good.
like the way we've been talking tonight, and I know that you're a reader, don't even fucking watch it yet. Read it.
Read it?
Read it
Okay.
first, and then because you're gonna watch it and be like, all right, now I have to read up to that point.
Right.
No, fuck that. Just read it and then watch it.
Okay.
Because
That sounds good.
the manga has been stopped for like about a year now,
Okay.
and like for like I don't know, health purposes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So read it, and then you can honestly watch it after like maybe like 50 chapters, and then because you'll get to that point, and then that's it.
Yeah, you got me hooked on that one.
Yeah, trust.
Check that one out.
Okay. My number one, don't even need to look at what it is. It is Attack on Titan.
Let's go.
Nice.
Mine
Let's
is-
go.
We might as well, you know.
So what's funny is you tried to guess what my top 5 was in order, and you basically had it down pat. Attack on Titan, it's my number 1 right now. It might be because of the hype. I could argue that it's just because of its story and it's just overall. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, just it's overall depth to it, and there's so many questions that need to be answered, and there's so many pathways of where things could go necessarily that you don't know where it's going to end up and where they're going to go in the next episode and shit like that. I walked into the series just thinking it was like a horror survival series.
Right.
And it ended up being way much more than that. Like, way more than that.
And you probably share the same opinion of, like, you know, a lot of people that started an anime for the first time. Like, when you first watched, like, the first couple episodes, were you like, what the fuck is this? Like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
Like, were you, like, kind of, like, you know, turned off in a way or like, freaked out almost? Or did you think that, like, you wouldn't have liked it as much as you do now when you first started watching it?
I've tried watching it before. Maybe like 2 or 3 episodes in, and I kept on falling asleep. So that was kind of like my signal. I was like, all right, maybe this isn't for me. But I've also realized that I can't watch a show while I'm in bed. Otherwise, I'll just fall asleep. I kind of have to like be sitting down in a chair and concentrating. So that was another thing. But no, I think I would have enjoyed it regardless, because I love the aspect of having the gear on the side of them, and they could swing around like Spider-Man. I thought that was a sick-ass concept that I absolutely love. I love that concept.
Now that you mentioned that, that's actually something that a lot of us dodged that we didn't mention. Their gear. We never actually mentioned their gear tonight.
Because that's something that Marlene's, they don't know what it is.
It actually blew their mind.
And it blew their mind.
What about the fact in the latest episode that I watched in Japanese, where one of the Marleyan civilians, or one of them, were like, they're going after the Titans like they're about to kill them.
They're
like,
charging at me. They're not afraid
what do they think
at
they're
all.
doing? Yeah, they're not afraid.
I'm a Titan. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like,
right.
You
and
should
they
be
call
scared of
they
me.
call themselves warriors and shit like that. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you honestly, like, look back to the scene where Zeke was in his Titan, and he picked up that one Titan that, like, I think his legs were broken or whatever. He was very injured. And he's like, what is that on you? And he couldn't even talk. He's like, oh, so you can't talk. Like, so let me just take this and I'll take it back.
Yeah.
But he's like, what is this gear? Like, what is this gadget? Like, that's the thing. Like, the Marlenes have no idea what the Scouts could do.
No idea.
And that's why I think that the Scouts are always gonna, like, surpass the Marlenes.
They're gonna prevail.
They're gonna prevail.
Yeah.
Because because the Scouts are literally and you know, Parody Island, they're the ones that had to always protect themselves from a Titan invasion.
Yeah.
Marley never had that issue because they're the ones that send out the fucking Titans.
Yeah. Right.
So they probably had no idea what kind of, like, skills the Scouts throughout the years picked up.
Yeah.
And then you see someone like fucking Levi, and that's why I love Levi, because Zeke is the type of guy, and like I said, he's literally like Thanos. He has a certain agenda that you guys will find out. Mm-hmm. He doesn't fear death. He doesn't fear anything. He's got his agenda. The one time that he sensed fear was when he came across Captain Levi.
This is true, yeah.
Yeah. That's the one time
that's
that
right.
he ever
when
felt
Levi went on a
scared of
fucking
someone.
rampage.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
You know, I feel like I'm going to say this and I'm going to stand by it. I think Attack on Titan is just one of the greatest pieces of fiction I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Ever seen.
It's just
and
so
that's why
out of its league.
that's why I stand by what I said before. If there is a time to watch anime, it's right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the ones from the past, you know, like Cowboy, you know, Inuyasha, Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter, like they'll always be great in their own right. But I honestly think that the animes that they're coming out with right now are literally, like, years from now, they're going to be all time.
Yeah. I could agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Attack on
yeah,
Titan's final
yeah.
season out right now. That could just say it alone right there.
This is like a new
Yeah.
era of animes that are staples. Like, this is like, okay, this is definitive of this time.
Yeah.
So this is so dope. So dope.
Yeah.
I could also say about it that Mikasa is actually my number one waifu.
Waifu? Mikasa is the number one waifu.
For me, at least.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what.
Oh.
Mikasa is my number 2 waifu.
Okay.
Ooh.
Number two.
Okay.
Did you say
Number
who
2.
your number one was?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay, all right.
Not yet.
I will say why she's my number one, because she just seems like someone that could just handle herself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, kind of deal. You know what I mean? Like,
in the beginning of the season, you know,
leave
Aaron
her alone.
wasn't the one that was scared, and the thing is that she will always have Aaron and Armin's back.
yeah.
She loves Aaron, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she loves Grisha, she loves, you know, the whole Jaeger family. They took her in like one of her own, but you know, at the end of the day, she always had the natural skill. She's an Ackerman.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's an Ackerman.
She's an Ackerman. So she will always have that Ackerman skill, and she stick true. Even though she might not agree with what Eren is doing right now, she's still behind him.
Right.
She still
because
has
she
the
did
skill
say it was
set.
like, kids died with just
Yeah,
after what
like,
he just
what
did
are you
and shit
doing,
like
man?
that. Yeah,
but,
right.
you know, he made his decision, and she's got to follow through with it.
Yeah. I mean, just the fact that she could kick so much
Anyone's
major
fucking
ass.
ass.
I love that.
anyone's
I
ass.
love
She
that.
destroy
The
anybody.
one thing that I would like them to dive between, Mikasa and Levi. I mean, we know that they're related. They're Ackermans, but they probably don't know, right?
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, we don't really like get into the Ackerman family that much, and I feel like that's something that's kind of like overlooked. I mean, us as viewers, we know that they're related somehow, but they don't really put two and together themselves, right?
Right.
But
And
you know, that's very small. So
yeah, right.
Yeah,
And you know what? Who knows if they'll even ever bring that up?
probably not.
Yeah, right. Who knows if they'll ever bring that up? Another great line is when Eren gets out of his Titan and the Warhammer Titan is about to whack fucking Eren. And a great line in this season so far is he's just like, now or never, Mikasa. And then you just hear the fucking you
hear the
just hear
ODM
the whole
like,
fucking come. Yeah, the whole squad fucking comes, and
Yeah.
you finally see him
Dude,
for the first
so
time in the
hype.
season.
That-
Like,
so hype.
fantastic.
Those episodes were I was making the craziest sound effects, dude. I
Yeah.
was holding on to dear life. I was like, jeez, what is going on, man? Like, these episodes,
Fantastic.
those episodes are unreal, and there's more to come too. So
Right.
I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with it. But so far, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is that's my number one. That's all I had to say
That's
for
your
it.
number one.
I am running to the bathroom.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
for it.
I'll definitely I'm gonna wait for Frank to get back for my number one.
I feel like our number ones are gonna collide.
I don't think so.
Really?
This is a real curveball.
Okay.
Real
I'm so
curveball.
curious, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
real curveball.
I don't think our number ones are gonna collide. We've been we've been saying like
mine already
opposites entire
collided
time. Yeah.
with Frankie, so I'm not even gonna talk about it.
Oh,
We talk
okay.
about Attack on Titan way too much.
I mean, Attack on Titan is just a no-brainer. I mean, it's not a matter of like mainstream or hype or whatever. It's just
It's just like so different in its
It's
own
just-
aspect.
yeah,
dude.
it's
Like,
different
just,
in its own
the
aspect.
Creativity,
It's
dude, like,
phenomenal.
the art for the intro for this one is just so
The
different.
soundtrack,
I didn't
by the
like
way,
it at all, but now it's grown on.
the
to me.
soundtrack,
It's just like
the
whoa.
outro for season 4 hits. Honestly,
oh my god, I love the intro and the outro.
the outros. I play the outro all the way through for the new season.
Damn.
All the way through.
Dedication.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
That
Wow.
intro, man, I might like that. It's crazy because I never thought I would say this, but I literally
Yeah. Like, yeah.
I might think this. I think this intro is better than Sasage or whatever it was.
Like the first
original
one.
the
Oh,
original,
what's the
which was
original
so
one?
Good.
You know what I wanted to be in honorary mention before, but it didn't make the list. I watched all 300 plus episodes, but as far as soundtrack, great soundtrack, Fairy Tail.
You finished Fairy Tail?
I finished Fairy Tail. Finished the entire thing.
I couldn't do it.
I
either.
couldn't do
It would, dude.
I
At one
tried.
point, I'm like, oh my god, all this friendship shit.
tried,
I'm about
dude.
to
It
go
was
join
like,
like a Boy Scout squad.
Drag
like,
Neil, where are you, Drag
dude,
Neil?
It's just like, oh, like the power of friendship. I'm like, like enough. Like I get it, you know.
Oh, I'd rather die.
I think Natsu is a great main character though.
Cool.
Yeah,
I think
he
he's
did a
great.
great
I think
job,
he
dude.
did a
Like,
great
he did a
job,
great
but
job.
the show itself, it had its moments. It had its moments where there was sick fighting scenes, but
They're good.
Who's that one guy? Oh man.
Which one? The
he
one
was
he's
so
like his clothes
cool.
would come off all the
He was
time?
like all mysterious.
Mistigan.
Mistigan.
But the
Yeah.
thing is that Mistigan was
Like from a different
Jalal.
world,
It was
right?
just
Oh,
the
yeah,
different world
yeah,
Jalal,
yeah.
and Jalal's a beast too in his
Yeah,
own
yeah.
right.
Do you remember when Michigan he fought what's his name the leader of the guild's grandson? I can't think of his name
Oh,
either.
fucking. Dude, that guy's a cunt.
He was a lightning guy, right?
Yeah,
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 he was
yeah,
a cunt.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He fucked him up.
I
Yeah.
was hyped up for
No,
that shit.
Mistigan was Mistigan and Jalal, since they're both counterparts, just different universe. They're both beasts.
Yeah.
Not to mention,
Animals.
Urza's like a supreme wife.
Oh my
dude,
God,
yeah.
Urza,
Urza's the supreme
Mira
wife,
Jane.
Oh, Mira
Dude,
Jane.
they're waifus.
Oh,
as far as like waifus go, like Fairy Tail, they have a couple of them.
Even Lucy has her moments.
Yeah, Lucy does.
Dude,
But
Mira
let me
Jane.
throw you for a loop here. My number one, my personal, I think is the best anime of all time is One Piece.
Okay.
Wow.
Absolute fucking.
Can you admit to me right now that you've seen every episode?
I am on episode 750.
You're a fucking loser.
I got about like 300 plus left. I got about 300 plus
crazy.
left. Yeah.
Yo, respect to you for that.
That's some big respect.
and I remember I mentioned this earlier. Is like you really gotta pick and choose your commitment here. I picked One Piece.
So you didn't watch Naruto?
Naruto.
Okay.
Haven't
so you picked
watched.
One Piece.
I watched. I don't want to get too deep into Bleach. I watched Bleach into a certain part. I watched it into the Bound arc, and I just couldn't watch it.
Which one is that one? Is that?
It was like right after Ichigo went into like the spirit realm.
Did he lose his like power?
No, he didn't. I think they persevered, but then it was like kind of like the bounce. It was like the vampire kind of guys that like suck your like ability out, or like they suck you.
He didn't go into like what's that like? They used like a Spanish word for this place. Oh fuck!
I forgot what it was, but that arc, once it popped up, I just kept on falling asleep and shit, and I'm like, all right, you know what? Like I got a lot of other stuff to watch here, so I'm probably gonna put this on hiatus. It's been like 2 years, but when it comes to like picking a long anime, you really gotta like do your research on what you want to commit to, because Naruto, like that's 700 plus.
Yeah, that's one
Dragon
thing.
Ball Z in its own right is like 500. Bleach 300. So I picked mine. It was One Piece. I'm on episode 700 and I'm still going strong. I think it's an absolute masterpiece. When it comes to One Piece, though, it's like we have these animes that are like small or like medium size, like Hunter x Hunter is like 130. That's still a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
Like the detail and the storytelling that go into One Piece is just like another like world. Like you're a part of like this journey with Luffy, and like any character that you meet hundreds of characters, different personalities, different like like voice styles. And you get their background story too, and it all ties into like a story. I really give hats off to the storytellers. The manga is still going. The episodes are still going. They're probably not going to stop for a while. I was watching One Piece when I was a kid too. That show came out in 1990, so I'm pretty sure it's on. It's like
shit.
It's like 22 years old, and it's still going strong.
Wow.
And and you know what? That show is the only show that made me cry 3 times.
Wow.
Not just once, 3 times.
Damn.
I think and going back to like anime duos like Monkey D. Luffy and Zoro, they're like, you'll know them even if you don't watch One Piece. You'll know who Luffy is.
Yeah.
You'll know who Zoro is. They're like 2 peas in a pod. They're a fantastic duo, captain, vice captain, and their story is just phenomenal. And the thing is that I watch it in a strategic way because their arcs are like 100 and like the last arc that I watched, Dressrosa, was like 140 episodes long. So I crushed through that whole thing, and it sets you off nicely to take a break, and then you could watch something else, and then come back to One Piece when you get the chance.
Yeah.
So that's how I watch
in
it.
That show? Are there,
A lot of fillers. A lot of fillers.
I bet, dude. It's
There's
like
a lot of fillers.
1,000 episodes.
Yeah. That's the one thing with that, is that you got to expect the fillers. There's going to be some episodes that are like, all right, I probably could have gone off without watching this. But once you hit an arc, you're going all the way through, and it's all content. So, phenomenal show. One Piece is my number one.
Fuck.
I think I'll get there one day when I watch a very long anime. But like you said, I will have to do my research on which one I want it to be.
You gotta pick one.
I think the top contenders, realistically, when it comes to like a super long anime, is definitely either One Piece, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z if you haven't watched it already. But those are definitely like, you either pick like one or the other, right?
So this brings me back to my point that I was trying to say before. Do we know anyone that's watched both Naruto and One Piece at the same time?
I know a couple of people, honestly.
You got a lot of fucking time on your hands if you do
man,
that, to be honest with you. I mean,
how could you do that?
That's hundreds of hours watched.
Time,
yeah,
that's a lot. It's a lot.
Right.
I've been watching One Piece for like 3 years already.
Wow.
It's time, dude.
It's
really,
man.
You really can't sit there and
You
watch
can't.
that
Yeah,
shit.
it's a lot.
I know.
It's a
It's a lot.
And like I said, like, an arc, you want to keep on going. You don't want to really like stop like mid arc.
Yeah.
You want to keep the whole flow. And when it comes to One Piece, it's like an arc is 100 episodes plus. So you just literally you bang out a whole arc and then you just take a break. Because if you're gonna get into a new one, you got another 100 episodes ahead of you.
Yeah, right.
But going back to waifu, my number one is definitely Nami. Nami from One Piece, absolute baddie. Baddie.
All right.
Is that the orange-haired girl?
Yeah, orange hair girl.
See, I watched 3 episodes of One Piece, and I thought it was phenomenal. Just the first 3 episodes, I thought it was great.
And the amazing thing is that it's 22 years old. Like, you can only imagine after each season, the animation just keeps on getting better and better.
Right.
You know, it was very staticky in the first season, but it was still a good watch. But you know, once you keep on going, you can watch it getting better, and it's great.
Yeah. All right. I mean,
Yeah,
listen,
I mean-
kudos to you for watching it. Like, right now, I don't think I'm prepared.
No, not at all.
Nah,
I don't think I'm
Nah,
prepared
don't
for
do it.
You
something
gotta
like
buy
that.
like new underwear, new socks.
Yeah, you gotta,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
gotta
me
really,
yeah.
yeah.
Need some water.
Probably gotta like delete Hinge and like all that stuff. Like, you know, you like, yeah. Just focus on the watch. Like, that's it. That has to be like your side job. It really is. It's
Gotcha.
intense. I love it though. I love it. It's great.
That's great.
It's like, you know what it is though. It just keeps on giving me content. Like, you know, we watch things that were like, I wish this never ended. Like, I want more, and the story just keeps on going on. The journey keeps on going on. It's about Luffy trying to be king of the pirates, and you know, he's just traveling all of the seas, meeting just different people, fighting different enemies, side stories here, little missions here. It's like an open world like video game. Like, you think it's not going to end, and you just keep on going through new stories and new characters, and
Right.
yeah, it's great.
Damn. All right, maybe I'll start that. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
We'll
Yeah,
see. We'll really see.
I committed, and I was like, this is tough, man. Like,
We'll
but
see.
no, it's a great journey.
All right. Joe, you're number one.
Skip me. It's Attack on Titan, baby.
Nice.
You know, like,
Yeah.
give me your input.
Yeah,
I don't want you to say nothing. I don't want you to say
Real
nothing.
quick, I
We're
guess
already
the only
here.
thing I'm gonna say, it's just gonna be really short. Like, I'm excited for the future of that show.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
Like, knowing what I know, we know. You know,
Did you fall deep down the rabbit hole of manga or?
A long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
A long time ago.
I just can't wait to see exactly how they're gonna animate what's about to happen.
Yeah, right. Did you read the most recent chapter?
Not the most recent. I stopped myself
You're
at a
messing up,
conservative level where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I need
Chapter
this.
You're at?
Oh shit. I don't want to say too much, but I'm at the chapter where we know.
Wait. I didn't know if you knew the number or not.
Not the number,
So,
not the number.
Maybe we should just.
Yeah, we should
cut
just
it off.
cut it off. Yeah, we'll
right.
side chat it.
Good. I'm glad you
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'm
Glad
glad
you
you
got
That's
it.
fucked up, you know what I'm
Fuck.
Yeah, you know, I'm super excited, man, and that show is special to me, and that manga was something special too, man. The manga, I think the manga's goddamn better. I'm gonna
Goddamn
be honest.
better, like I
And
said,
that's
like
the
you
best
know,
show I've ever seen
you
when
know
it
who,
comes
you
down
know, and I don't know if you could agree with what I said about Zeke. Like, he really is like Thanos almost.
Oh,
Like,
he's my favorite character. I can go
I mean,
on
he's a
that.
great. I can't tell if he's a villain or if he's good at this point. I personally think he's a villain, but phenomenal villain.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, so I have
phenomenal
like
villain.
high expectations.
Yeah, you should.
I definitely have
Yeah,
high
you should.
expectations
High
now too.
expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
Amazing.
Zeke, baby. All
yeah,
right.
Zeke, man.
That's crazy.
All right.
All right, so okay, so I just want to say, like, I'm glad, like, not a lot of our things overlapped. I'm glad that we all, like, threw different, like, things out there and said all different things. So my number one, and I'll literally die by this, and I'll ink this on my fucking body, is Yu Yu Hakusho.
Really.
That's my number one to the day I die. I absolutely love this anime. I'll watch it every single day. I don't care. I don't care. Like, you can torture me with this, and it's not really torture. I'll watch it every single day. I know absolutely everything about this. Yusuke Urameshi is by far the greatest protagonist ever.
That's a strong statement.
That's a strong statement.
Yeah.
And I know I personally have never watched Yu Yu Hakusho, but
me
I have the utmost respect just because, I mean, I've just seen the reviews and I've seen what people talk about it, and I've mentioned it a couple times of like the greats from like the past.
You've mentioned it so many times tonight that I thought it would be on your list. That's why I was like, wow, like, is he really gonna say Yu Yu Hakusho?
Yeah.
Is he gonna fuck me up tonight? No, he didn't.
I've done a little bit of research on it, like, you know, I saw what people liked about it, but just never watched it fully.
It's just so like, this kid's like literally a high school loser. Absolutely nobody. Does absolutely nothing. Not a benefit to society at all. He could literally die and nothing would happen, dude. Everything would be cool. And the thing is, he does die, right? He does die in the show, and people do miss him. And he actually has to like figure out how to get back into his body. He gets the second chance, but he becomes like not like a mystery person, but like he has to like kill demons and stuff like that, and it's just so good. It's one of those like 90s anime style animations that it's just I feel like it's just ahead of its time. I really feel like
How many episodes?
I think it has like 2-3 series arcs. I don't know the episode number.
Is it? I think it's like in the hundreds though, right? Just about.
I'd say maybe sub 100.
Okay.
Just shy.
Yeah.
Just shy. But it's totally worth the watch. Like,
Yeah.
It totally worth. There's like a whole like tournament scene. Like he finds out exactly what he is. Oh, dude, it's so good. It's so good.
My friend showed me a fight scene, I think, from the tournament that you were talking about.
Yeah.
It was very good.
Dude, like so he has like a high school rival, and he ends up being there too, and he has like a serious weapon too. It's crazy. It's absolutely incredible. Incredible. I don't want to spoil it because this is my favorite anime of all time. Of all time.
Listen, if you're speaking highly of it, it's another one added to the list.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been talking about it all night. I've heard great things.
Yeah, this is the one I would literally stay up and watch on Toonami because it was like, what the fuck is that thing? Like, why can't he shoot that out of his hand? That's literally why I want to watch it. Incredible.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's your number one, right?
That's
there?
That's your number one?
Absolutely, hands down.
No competition.
No
nothing with
competition,
nothing.
dude. Oh, and like to bring it back to waifus, my waifu's in this fucking show. Her name is Keiko, and she's Yusuke's like, so quote unquote like girlfriend, but not really.
Like spirit girlfriend or like girlfriend?
No. Like she's like she like they're like best friends kind of, but he like messes with her.
Okay.
So it's like totally. She's dope.
Like a fucking light and fucking.
She's like
Misa
she's what
situation?
keeps him grounded in the world.
Oh,
and
okay,
he's like
okay.
as much
So no.
as like as much as like he's like a dick to society. He's like that one piece of like earth that he has inside of himself that keeps him to the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. There is one thing I wanted to ask the crowd, right? There was one thing I wanted to ask the crowd, and I wanted to know if there was like one article or novelty item that you would want to get from your favorite anime or from one anime. Right, so like I know how you have like the Death Note. So like if there was another
Right, but
something that you
I
could
wouldn't
take
even
out.
consider that a number
Right.
one.
So I just wanted to ask you, what would it be? Like it could be like a team jacket or like something like that, or you could literally take like Midoriya's like outfit, something like
Nah, fuck it. I want the
Fuck
fucking
his
gear
fucking
that
outfit,
that the
dude.
fucking Attack on Titan guys
The
have.
ODM gear?
I want
Yeah.
the ODM
Yeah,
gear, bro.
yeah,
yeah.
I want to be swinging around and shit like that. Hell yeah, that would be it.
that. Okay,
that would
what
be
you
it.
pick?
What would I pick?
Yeah.
Fuck. That's a hard one.
I know, right? Like it could
Um,
be literally anything. Like it doesn't have to be something serious like that. It could just be like a jacket.
That's a tough one. You know what I'm gonna go with, just because I'm a huge fan of One Piece. Probably gonna go with Nami's weather wand.
Oh wow.
So Nami has this fucking wand, right? That Usopp, the pretty much like the weapons guy, right?
Yeah.
He's the biggest coward out of the entire squad, but he makes like pretty cool gadgets, right? Nami's thing is she's the navigator, so she's an expert with the weather, right? She has this one wand that Usopp made for her, right? It's like big blue, like pole, almost like metal pole that has like different settings. So she'll be like in a fight and she'll do like cloud mode or something, and her wand will like produce like fucking clouds like right above like the person that she's fighting, black clouds, and then she'll switch it to another setting and it'll send like an electricity shock to the cloud and produce lightning, and then like send something else to it, and then just fucking electrocute like the person that she's fighting.
Wow.
So she, with that one wand, she like pretty much like controls weather. She can make like lightning, make it rain, make it snow.
That's cool.
She can make fire. She has like elements in like one wand.
Okay.
And it's so dope.
I like that.
So fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What would you choose?
Well, you said one thing, so I can't pick the seven.
It's got to be one thing. I mean, that counts.
Nah,
That counts.
I don't even want to say that.
You can have one Dragon Ball.
From Fate Zero, the sword in the scabbard, Excalibur.
Okay.
Gives the main character all types of hacks, I would say. More so like enhanced regeneration, and I don't know if it's King Arthur herself, Queen Arthur, whatever the hell you want to call her, that like brings out the power of the sword, but that sword is friggin' something else, man. Friggin' destroying friggin', I don't know. It's just a sword.
It's just a sword, man.
Hell yeah.
If there was one thing that I could take out of any anime I've seen, it would be a hunter license.
What a fucking good one.
Yeah, I would want
what a good one.
a hunter license.
Hell yeah.
I think. Okay, so you've never seen Hunter x Hunter,
No.
right? Okay, so the hunter license literally gives you access to everything.
Everything, dude.
Everything.
You pull up McDonald's, like, oh, sir, that would be, yeah. Throw the license. I would be like, all right,
It's
take it.
I want the
you
hunter
get
meal
everything,
for
dude.
free,
Everything. You
but
get like
you-
unlimited access to
Yeah.
countries, like
Yeah,
free
countries.
flights.
Absolutely anything.
You know, access to like every single like aspect of the internet. Like you get resources up the ass when it
Dude,
comes
like
to
the
hunter
dark
license.
web is your
Okay.
Google.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Wow.
It's
All right.
it's dope.
Cool.
That's fire.
Yeah, the hunter license would be my thing.
It's a great one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we're gonna end it there. I will say this was one hell of a ride of an episode
This
for
was
sure.
Definitely a trip.
Yeah, this was a trip.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, I'm glad with everything that we talked about. I think we talked about a lot as far as animes wise. We delved into animes, not just about our top fives, but just everything about anime in general. So Harty, thank you for being here, my man. I
pleasure.
appreciate you. Josue, thank you for being here.
It's a pleasure.
Appreciate
Thank
it
you
as
for
well.
having me.
Joe, thank you for being the cameraman as always and bringing in your input as always. And that'll do it for us. If you like this episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And also follow us on Instagram at Podcast with Frank. I'll be putting clips of the podcast and my gaming series on there for you to watch. And with that being said, we'll see you next time for our 63rd episode. Peace out.
Later.
All right.
Peace.
I think the most important thing to always remember if you see yourself going too far right or too far left is that we're both looking for the same type of goal. We're just trying to make the world a better place and to make it work best for everybody.
Like, sometimes I feel like people don't think about that. They forget that and they just
they don't think about it
I
at
gotta
all.
be so left or I gotta be so
Yeah,
right.
they don't. I don't think they think about that at all.
Yeah.
You know, and social media doesn't help with that. We all know this now. Is like Facebook listens to you and shit like that. You know, it listens to your conversations, all that kind of stuff.
Censorship and all that.
Yeah. Them doing that, and without them, they probably didn't realize this would happen. As far as politics wise, it just divides people more and more away from each other because you're looking at a certain post for so long because you're either agreeing with it or you're just interested in it, or they're hearing you talking about a certain thing about politics, and that's all you'll see on your feed. And all of a sudden, you don't see the other side anymore on social media and shit
it's
like
crazy.
that. You know, and you're stuck on your I guess you're stuck on your side necessarily.
And
you
it's
know what
fucked
I mean?
up because it's like low key. They're driving those algorithms to make it like that.
Yeah.
Like you like to be left, we'll keep you with all the Democratic left shit. So when you see somebody Republican, you can't stand their guts. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
how it is, and vice versa. Like.